Death Ball comes too strong, but this Twitch is free firing in the backline. Good Death trying to stall time for his AD carry, but in a 1v4, when you're already routed and they're already on top of you, they make it look easy.
With CLB taking a massive victory in the second game and this series, it seemed like the casters had gone to Hogwarts because every single time they were casting and made predictions, they just put a caster curse down on poor Big Bongo Boys.
The series is taken by Clarity Black.
And that was Risen Unstoppable for the night. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Risen Recap. Today we're looking towards Risen Unstoppable, and the stream started off with a bang, Quicksand asleep.
It's the first game of Unstoppable Risen Pramade. Come on, get up, come on,
I gotta say, he was smooth once he rolled into it. And our first series was Big Bongo Boys playing up against Clarity Black. For the first 20 minutes of the game, it was a bit of fighting in the top lane, but not much happened besides that.
Oh, but the engage coming out from Sejuani, but it's trading back, and Maokai actually regenerated a lot more health than I would expected there.
For Boxer Squirrel, just really those kind of impacts making a huge difference in the gold.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to call them Triple B, BBB, or Big Bongo Boys, because they're not all same solos.
Then there was a mega turnaround fight for the Big Bongo Boys after they made a big dragon attempt, but then they got challenged again for the dragon attempt, which Big Bongo Boys won the fight towards.
On this side, and there's a 3 on the other side, but I can't cut to it, and I can't cut to it. But Boxer Squirrel in the midst of it all, unable to get too much out, but finds the Q before his last dies, and Chicken Fried Rice to escape with good depth does not unfortunately have the W enough up to heal him. And they call comes back in the circuit, but finds one. Can she find two? No, she gets shut down, and the exchange applies is so insane. Can Maokai find the damage to Tribal back? And he does, but unfortunately, it is the ace on the side of CLB that allows them to get this dragon.
Much later in the game, Big Bongo Boys chased Akali down in the bot lane, meaning that Clarity Black had so much freedom to take that first Baron, and from that Baron, they spiraled away from a teamfight and took the victory.
The higher ranked Clarity Black, and honestly, still performing extremely well.
Oh, and she can't get out simply, tries to ulti over the wall, but that's crucial. 4 members sent down. This is the freest Baron I've seen, and it's incredibly hard to siege anything. As we're talking about that, the dragon does in fact fall.
This will be a very important fight. Dragon Soul on the line. Let's see.
This is so easy, and the onslaught of shadows into all of the members. We talk about Wombo on one side, we talk about Wombo on the other side, but the whole time is not correctly pinned on enough members to make it worth it and to make it so they can make this comeback. And unfortunately, at the end, CLB take the game, and they look to take the game.
And then as we rolled into game 2, Maokai was picked again.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring
Maokai, the Twisted Treant.
Maokai is a support tank hybrid.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Bold move.
Overall,
normally Darius is only reserved for those counter picks, and it looks like they're just going to respond with Maokai.
And the team was entirely green, so they kind of had the aesthetic advantage for the Big Bongo Boys. For the first 22 minutes, I kind of got distracted watching the LCS. 100 Thieves did win, to a big surprise of all the casters, and then we moved back into the game, where Baron and Soulpoint were both hit here by CLB.
Towards this dragon, we do have good death running up from base. Let's see if we can get here in time.
And this dragon is down to 9k HP. They opt to pull it out, so the potential steal is has a lot less potential to happen. The Maokai ulti for the engage. They want to make this happen. The Wombo combo, but the bullet time is just barely out of range, but it's not going to matter in the end. The Death Ball comes too strong, but this Twitch is free firing in the backline. Good Death trying to stall time for his AD carry, but in a 1v4, when you're already routed and they're already on top of you, they make it look easy.
With CLB taking a massive victory in the second game and this series, it seemed like the casters had gone to Hogwarts because every single time they were casting and made predictions, they just put a caster curse down on poor Big Bongo Boys.
The series is taken by Clarity Black.
And that was Risen Unstoppable for the night. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Risen Recap. Today we're looking towards Risen Unstoppable, and the stream started off with a bang, Quicksand asleep.
It's the first game of Unstoppable Risen Pramade. Come on, get up,
I gotta say, he was smooth once he rolled into it. And our first series was Big Bongo Boys playing up against Clarity Black. For the first 20 minutes of the game, it was a bit of fighting in the top lane, but not much happened besides that.
Oh, but the engage coming out from Sejuani, but it's trading back, and Maokai actually regenerated a lot more health than I would expected there.
For Boxer Squirrel, just really those kind of impacts making a huge difference in the gold.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to call them Triple B, BBB, or Big Bongo Boys, because they're not all same solos.
Then there was a mega turnaround fight for the Big Bongo Boys after they made a big dragon attempt, but then they got challenged again for the dragon attempt, which Big Bongo Boys won the fight towards.
On this side, and there's a 3 on the other side, but I can't punch to it, and I can't cut to it. But Boxer Pro in the midst of all, unable to get too much out, but finds the Q before his class dies. And Chicken Fried Rice to escape with good depth does not unfortunately have the W enough up to heal him. And then Kong comes back in the circuit, flip finds one. Can she find two? No, she gets shut down, and the exchange of lives is so insane. Can Maokai find the damage retrieval back? And he does, but unfortunately, it is the ace on the side of CLB that allows them to get this dragon.
Much later in the game, Big Bongo Boys chased Akali down in the bot lane, meaning that Clarity Black had so much freedom to take that first Baron, and from that Baron, they spiraled away from a teamfight and took the victory.
The higher ranked Clarity Black, and honestly,
They
still
find
performing
Akali.
extremely well.
Oh, and she can't get out, simply tries to ulti over the wall, but that's crucial. 4 members sent down. This is the freest Baron I've seen, and it's incredibly hard to siege anything. As we're talking about that, the dragon does in fact fall.
This will be a very important fight. Dragon Soul on the line. Let's see.
This is so easy, and the onslaught of shadows into all of the members. We talk about Wombo on one side, we talk about Wombo on the other side, but the whole time is not correctly pinned on enough members to make it worth it and to make it so they can make this comeback. And unfortunately, at the end, CLB take the
don't.
and they look to take the game.
And then as we rolled into game 2, Maokai was picked again.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring
Maokai, the Twisted Treant.
Maokai is a support tank hybrid.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Bold move.
Overall,
Normally Darius is only reserved for those counter picks, and it looks like they're just going to respond with Maokai.
And the team was entirely green, so they kind of had the aesthetic advantage for the Big Bongo Boys. For the first 22 minutes, I kind of got distracted watching the LCS. 100 Thieves did win, to a big surprise of all the casters, and then we moved back into the game, where Baron and Soulpoint were both hit here by CLB.
Towards this dragon, we do have good depth running up from base. Let's see if we can get here in time.
and this dragon is down to 9k HP. They opt to pull it out, so the potential steal is has a lot less potential to happen. The Maokai ulti for the engage. They want to make this happen. The Wombo combo, but the bullet time is just barely out of range, but it's not going to matter in the end. The Deathball comes too strong, but this Twitch is free firing in the backline. Field Death trying to stall time for his 80 carry, but in a 1v4, when you're already routed and they're already on top of you, they make it look easy.
With CLB taking a massive victory in the second game and this series. It seemed like the casters had gone to Hogwarts, because every single time they were casting and made predictions, they just put a caster curse down on poor Big Bongo Boys.
The series is taken by Clarity Black.
And that was Risen Unstoppable for the night. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Risen Recap. Today we're looking towards Risen Unstoppable, and the stream started off with a
Wake
bang,
up!
Quicksand asleep.
It's the first game of Unstoppable Risen Pramade. Come on, get up.
But
Come on,
I
come
gotta
on.
say, he was
Go.
smooth once he rolled into it. And our first series was Big Bongo Boys playing up against Clarity Black. For the first 20 minutes of the game, it was a bit of fighting in the top lane, but not much happened besides that.
Oh, but the engage coming out from Sejuani, but it's trading back, and Maokai actually regenerated a lot more health than I would expected there.
For Boxer Squirrel, just really those kind of impacts making a huge difference in the gold.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to call them Triple B, BBB, or Big Bongo Boys, because they're all, actually, they're not all same solo.
Big
Then there was a mega turnaround fight for the Big Bongo Boys after they made a big dragon attempt, but then they got challenged again for the dragon attempt, which Big Bongo Boys won the fight towards.
On this side, and there's a 3 on the other side, but I can't punch to it, and I can't cut to it. But Boxer Pro in the midst of all, unable to get too much out, but finds the Q before his class dies, and Chicken Fried Rice to escape with good depth does not unfortunately have the W enough up to heal him. And then Kong comes back in the circuit, flip finds one. Can she find two? No, she gets shut down, and the exchange of lives is so insane. Can Maokai find the damage retrieval back? And he does, but unfortunately, it is the ace on the side of CLB that allows them to get this dragon.
Much later in the game, Big Bongo Boys chased Akali down in the bot lane, meaning that Clarity Black had so much freedom to take that first Baron, and from that Baron, they spiraled away from a teamfight and took the victory.
The higher ranked Clarity Black, and honestly, still
find
performing
Akali.
extremely well.
Oh, and she can't get out, simply tries to ulti over the wall, but that's crucial. 4 members sent down. This is the freest Baron I've seen, and it's incredibly hard to siege anything. As we're talking about that, the dragon does in fact fall.
This will be a very important fight. Dragon Soul on the line. Let's see.
This is so easy, and the onslaught of shadows into all of the members. We talk about Wombo on one side, we talk about Wombo on the other side, but the whole time is not correctly pinned on enough members to make it worth it and to make it so they can make this comeback. And unfortunately, at the end, CLB take the lead, and they look to take the game.
And then as we rolled into game 2, Maokai was picked again.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring
Maokai, the Twisted Treant.
Maokai is a support tank hybrid.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Bold move.
Overall,
Normally Darius is only reserved for those counter picks, and it looks like they're just going to respond with Maokai.
And the team was entirely green, so they kind of had the aesthetic advantage for the Big Bongo boys. For the first 22 minutes, I kind of got distracted watching the LCS. 100 Thieves did win, to a big surprise of all the casters, and then we moved back into the game, where Baron and Soulpoint were both hit here by CLB.
Hello everybody, welcome to the semifinals of Risen Pre-Made Dominant. My name's Matt. I'm here with PhD in mid lane and Freak. How are we doing today?
I'm doing so good. Ready to get into the semifinals. The game is looking so excited. The players are active and ready. How we doing, Freak, too?
Man, I've got two good things going for me right now. One, DRX are the world champions. Deft finally got his trophy. And second, I'm pretty sure the Detroit Lions are about to win their game, for those of you NFL people in the chat. So, I'm feeling good. Both my teams are winning. It's all good in the hood. Let's get into League of Legends now.
So tonight we have Team Fried Chicken and the winning formula. Team Fried Chicken last week beat out WLS. I know PhD is a little bit sad about that since he is the mid laner on that team. And then also the winning formula beat out Backdraft Esports last week. How do you think the game went last week, PhD? Was it stomps? I honestly didn't tune in, so I have no idea.
Oh, you just had to bring it up, I guess. It was honestly, it was a really good series. It went all the way to game 5. Team Fried Chicken was just the better man, I suppose. But honestly, super incredible series. Not too sad about it at all. Looking to see this team make it all the way, but I do know some people on the winning formula as well. So it's kind of like I'm rooting for both teams somewhat. So I'm a little bit crossed, if you will.
Okay. All right. I know that the teams are starting to get ready to be in a draft. We were just waiting on a player, but it seems like they're here now. Just while we're waiting, do you guys expect? I know that Freak, you had time to scout the teams a little bit. What do you think about comps? What do you think about bans? What do you anticipate to see?
So, by the looks of what I'm seeing, which team did I pick first? I'm pretty sure I don't know where anything is anymore. So Team Fried Chicken is the one I head up first. It looks like they'd like to do a lot of like beefy frontline comms, especially. I was like, their top laner loves to play things like Urgot, Mundo, Scion even, and it's like, wow, okay, so they want to like force their opponents to play front to back from what it seems, and funnel a lot of gold in their AD carry, who is basically a Jin one trick based off the name, and he plays a lot of Jinx too, and likes to spice it up with the Heimer pick. That is something that actually surprised me. And then on the other side, we have teams are blanking me, the winning formula. And from there, it looks like that they like to play more of an aggressive style. I saw some like carry top laners coming in, carry junglers coming in, and more like supportive-ish mid laners. So kind of funneling a lot of gold in the top jungle area. And I briefly looked over the AD carry, and they like to play scaling AD carries. So they like to play hard early and then like play really like into the late. So that's something that will be very interesting to see how those two styles match up as the series progresses.
Okay, I also see Hedge in the chat. I know that Hedge knows that unfortunately we can't do channel predictions on this channel, so we're gonna do predictions in the chat once everything gets up and running in terms of draft, which I'm anticipating should be starting in a few seconds. PhD, talking about the game last week. What do you anticipate to see maybe gone or picked on the side of TWF? You played against TWF? No.
Played against Team Fried
TFT,
Chicken.
yes. What do you anticipate to see on that?
Freak was dead on about all the play styles. I will add one thing. They picked Yuumi Sivir bot lane like 4 out of the 5 games last week. And so it's, dude, Yuumi Sivir is not fun to play against, especially 4 games in a row. It's kind of driving Earl himself crazy, he told me. But so no surprises there if they do pick up Yuumi on that first rotation. Yuumi Sivir, be it that. So that was just kind of the main thing that stuck out. Their mid plays a lot of these safe control mages as well. Their whole team played very slow, scaling scaling. So I think we might be looking at some interesting games if the winning formula is as aggressive as Freak says they are.
Okay. In your game against the winning, no, you guys didn't play against winning formula because you're in two different groups. Have you had the chance to watch back any of the VODs, or are you just agreeing with Freak on all fronts on that side?
I have not played against the winning formula. I'm just going off of free. I do know their players a little bit. I used to play with Perky the Parrot back on a team in the day as well. So he's a friend as well. I don't know what their playstyle has been like. I know he loved to play Lucian in the past. I don't know if that's what he goes for now, that Lucian Nami maybe, but looks like we're heading into draft.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
see draft is slowly underway, so we'll get switched over to there. They are getting bans in pretty quick, so we'll chat with you after that.
See you later, Matt. We are hopping into draft here. Freak, bring us in. Break it down for us. What do we got?
Yes, sir. Did I do something funky and click on the wrong thing? I certainly hope not. So I'm going to click again and pretend that I've had this completely right the whole time. And we have already 5 bans coming in. No, I'm not scuffing all this. We have Caitlyn, Maokai, and Jinx, followed by the Aatrox and Fiora. Definitely agree with Team Fried Chicken banning those 2 top laners because Aatrox, as we saw yesterday in watching Worlds, was absolutely ridiculous. Kingan played out of his mind, and so did Zeus when he got it, and I think in game 2. But goodness gracious, that pick is insane, really strong, and we're gonna have the Zillion ban coming out, and the insta lock on the Yuumi. Wow. Okay, so winning formula gonna stick onto that Yuumi that you guys were talking about, and that's kind of crazy. Actually, no, I lied. Earl was the one playing Yuumi, so they're actually taking it away from Team Fried Chicken. So my mistake on that one. Okay, that's good. So that kind of shows that they're aiming for more of the long con in terms of like what they're planning on doing for their comp. Now, naturally, this could also mean like a really hard engaged comp with the Yuumi on top of someone, adding onto that, because Jarvan Yuumi is really disgusting. I don't think that's what we'll see, because I think Jarvan was like more on the lower end of the draft, not the draft, but the pick list for the winning formula jungler. But we have Graves locked in for TFC. And what will they pick second? You have some options you can pair with it. Generally, you can probably pick a tank top laner here. Ornn's still open. I did see Ornn on a couple of the lists. And it looks like they're going to go with the Seraphine instead. Okay, very interesting that start we're going so far. So Seraphine, naturally a flex pick, as we all know. Can either be the support position, APC position, or the mid lane. We'll have to wait and see as the draft rounds out. And will they have an answer on the side of the winning formula? We'll just have to wait and see. So, yep, Sivir, as expected. Sivir Yuumi, disgusting. I can hear
Sivir Yuumi giving me flashbacks, man. It is a steal away from TFC for sure. I like the Seraphine pick too. Got that little bit of a flex going. Can just bring a bot into Yuumi to play that slow nullified lane that Yuumi Sivir want, right? They can take it slow. Expect not be seeing a whole lot of action down there. Oh man, this comp is nuts. Yuumi Hecarim.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting. Yuumi Hecarim is probably one of the most disgusting combinations in the game per se. Hecarim runs in, he presses R, and it's just I just cannot believe just what power that they're drafting so far. And Miss Fortune will come out to round it out, so that will most likely be a Seraphine support to lay around the snare with the Make It Rain. And now we go to the second phase of bans. All right, what do we got here? So from here on, it looks like you could focus definitely just mid lane and top lane bans here for either side. They'll probably focus more top lane bans towards the winning formula, from Fried Chicken towards the winning formula, and then maybe more of the tankier ones on the other side. Well, counting down, looks like we have a LeBlanc. Okay, we're pinching the mid lane pool. We're definitely pinching the mid lane pool with LeBlanc and Silas being banned right instantly. You love to see that. Okay. I kind of wonder if like the whole plan is like, okay, like we know both of these mid laners are really good, so we want to like pinch their pool as much as we can to force them into something that makes them uncomfortable, and pretty much try to like get an advantage off that purely. But if there's anything I know about like solo queue, like you typically try to have like a deep mid lane, a deep champion pool in general. And, there's the Ornn band coming in really good. So that way, they can't get those Ornn items, especially with the Ornn ult, the Hecarim ult, the Yuumi ult, and the Sivir ult on top of each other is just gross. So to round out the final ban here, it is going to be... What you gonna do? What you gonna do? There's still maybe one way 80 carry ban. I don't see why not. You're already this far in. Got 2 banned. Ban the Jhin. Why not? Just for the meme. Just for the meme. Ban the Jhin. Oh, okay, they're banning Tejuani. Okay, I like that. I like that. Sejuani's actually a really good ban here, and I'm content with that. She's really powerful in the top lane, and they don't want to like I think the winning formula is like, we don't want that strong of a pick. Because I will admit, it was in Draft League this past weekend, we had a Sejuani versus Aatrox coming in, and she kept winning every single trade, like every trade. No, it was against Darius. She won every single trade just because of how strong that E damage is. But Team Fried Chicken going to lock in the Victor, a really good control mage here, so that confirms that Seraphine will be in the support role. And from here, it looks like they're going to say they're kind of at the top lane. So if let's say you're the top laner of Team Fried Chicken, like what are you looking at in terms of like what should we do here as for like a top lane pick?
So it looks like they have a really nice team fighting comp as of now, right? Seraphim, Misfortune, Victor all can go crazy in team fights, but they absolutely lack a front line. They don't have Maokai, Sejuani picks available, so it's a little tough. And they don't have those kind of dueling picks as well, like Aatrox Fiora, because they're just so pitched out. The pool is really, really small, for being honest. There's not a whole lot of things you could pick. You kind of have to go with something really tanky. You mentioned that they like to play the tankier things, like even a Dr. Mundo. I don't think Mundo would be good here specifically, but honestly, I'm not too sure considering how deep the pool is. There's going to be Orianna, Olaf. I got to tell you, Freak, the comp of the winning formula looks like they've absolutely found their formula. They're team fighting. They're hitting the engage with this bald Hecarim. It's going to go crazy, but we are going to see the top lane pick right here.
And I just wanted to also highlight is there are a lot of squishies on the side of Team Fried Chicken. So that Olaf pick with the Yumi attached to him, he would just be running at your back line and just murdering them. So that's something for Team Fried Chicken to be terrified about. And the Mundo does provide a little bit of agency, like from keeping Olaf from getting to your back line, and also provides a little bit of front line. Not a little bit, but a lot of it, because Mundo is just really ridiculous in terms of what he can do. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the engage area, you really are. Looks like they're really relying on the Seraphine engage for the Team Fried Chicken here. So they're gonna have to land that in order to get the fight that they want. So this is gonna be very difficult when the 5v5 start for Team Fried Chicken. But I'm really looking forward to how either of these teams will execute their comp. For team winning formula, it's pretty simple: run in with Olaf or Hecarim. Literally, run in, press R or UBR, and just win the fight. So this is gonna be gross.
Yeah. Their comp is so nasty, right? I feel like the matchup top line isn't even that good, right? For having that red 5th pick, Dr. Mundo, I don't think does very well into Olaf. Olaf just ignores his slows and beats him down so quick. I think the winning formula have like even bot and mid and then a winning top, so the draft's looking pretty good for them. I love their draft so much, man. I'm not gonna lie. They managed to take away the Sivir Yumi from TFC.
Yeah.
Seraphine Misfortune is pretty good into Sivir Yumi, right? But I mean, look at Misfortune into the enemy team, right? You stand still for 1 second with that bullet time, and you have an Olaf and Heck on top of you, and you're not going to be having a very fun time.
Now, definitely these two junglers, they're gonna meet at some point, obviously, in the first like 3 to 5 minutes. Probably over one of the scuttles, let's be real. But I think Graves is definitely gonna try to push a tempo so that way he can get some of these lanes ahead. Because if it gets to a point where the winning formula kind of scales into the game, I honestly think it's kind of doomed for them. But again, it's just the lack of engage coming in from Team Fried Chicken, and all they have really is the Seraphine. And I guess you have Mundo Cleavers that will help provide some slows, but really the only hard CC they have is the Seraphine in reality. So this could be very interesting to see as the game goes on. But I'm expecting pretty much objective control probably for the first 5 to 10 minutes coming in for the winning formula. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, we really will. I mean, it's weird, right? Because both of these mid laners, they have these slow control mage. We haven't seen a lot of Orianna in terms of like pro play and Worlds and all that. She had a pretty low presence at Worlds this year as compared to Victor, who kind of just does it all as a control mage. He gets lane prio early. He scales into a monster. He has not really self-peel, but he's got like his W and his speed ups for just a little bit. Kind of does what all other control mages do, but just a little bit better. So that's probably why they blind picked him, right? There's only so many things you could do to beat that. And I think that both team comps want to scale, right? I mean, you have Victor and then Misfortune Lake Game doing so much damage, but then the other team has Sivir Olaf and Orianna, excuse me, not Olaf. It feels like it's going to be a long, drawn out battle. Would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Olaf is going to be pretty obnoxious early game, but late game he will start to fall off a little bit unless he gets way too far ahead, which I have seen before, and have had the displeasure of going up against an Olaf top that completely ran me down. It's one of the most unlucky things. But if they can potentially control the Olaf, then he won't be as much of a threat. But the Hecarim with the Yuumi on top of him is going to always be that big backline threat, especially if there's an Orianna ball on top of him, then all of your squishies are going to get wiped. So I'm excited. This is going to be a really fun game one. I hope that we can get a pretty spicy banger of a best of 5 series here, as we are here for the dominant semifinals. So the teams are rounding out the draft in the client right now, so it's almost time. How do you feel?
Oh, how do I feel? I feel, honestly, I look at TWF's draft. I look at TFC's draft. I look back and forth. And the only thing I really see it keeps sticking out to me is a really sad misfortune. I think it's going to be really hard for her to play the game. And I think that's going to play a lot into these team fights. But in terms of like me and how I'm feeling going into this game, dude, I think we're going to have a banger series. We know for a fact both of these teams are crazy good. They both want to take it slow. So we're going to get maybe hopefully a little more Worlds-esque games, right? These slower pace, big team fights with Victor Misfortune, Orianna Hecarim. It's just, I think it's beautiful. We're off to a beautiful series, and I maybe this is too aggressive to say this early, but I hope it goes to game 5.
I'm right there with you. It'll be like Worlds never ended yesterday for us, so we get some extra spicy Worlds action coming in. Who cares if it's just NA versus NA? The NA crowd showed why we're the better region to have Worlds at. We should host it at NA every year. Now, just kidding. It's not fair to the other regions. But
true.
I'm excited. This is gonna be fun. And yeah, I think with that, maybe we should simmer down a little bit.
I think we should, and I think we can go relax, and we'll even get the input of our very own Matt. So we'll hop over to the analyst desk just real quick, and we'll see if Matt has any last insights for us in this wonderful, wonderful game we're heading into. Now, I don't know for sure when we're showing up, but Matt, what are we thinking?
Like I said before the game, I don't play League that much, so I don't have a lot of input. I was listening to what y'all were saying, and I think it makes sense. Just from watching some of the players and some of the people on the team, and knowing Earl, I know that Earl probably fuming that he doesn't have his Yumi this game, and it's being played against him. So I know that Hedge in the chat is pretty happy that Earl got banned out, or picked out in that case. Just going through the chat really quick, I see that people were super stoked if Earl's playing Seraphine. They were saying that Vlad would have been a good pick here, actually. Grant, who normally is the analyst for Dominant, but was unfortunately has no voice today, which is why y'all are here. He's saying that Vlad would have been a good pick. What do you guys think about that? Just because it's something to chat about.
On which side, out of curiosity?
TFC.
Okay. I could see that. Yeah, I mean, it's still a really good backline threat. Either way, I mean, it's one of those, I can just run in, press R, have Yuumi on top of me, and still ult while she's on me. So that would have been pretty nasty. So I think that's not a bad idea. That would have been a pretty decent pick. Good for you. Honestly, good catch there, Grant.
So in the chat, real quick, while they finish talking, throw in your predictions. I know I can't start predictions, unfortunately, because this channel is not the goated channel, and we're saving Risen 1 for Rampage in about an hour and a half. So throw your predictions in the chat. But what were you gonna say before I cut you off, PhD?
The bod kill on Team Fried Chicken, he actually plays a lot of Vlad. He's not in a Vlad one trick, but he plays it a lot. So that thrown into the mix, I do think it would have been a really good pick due to his comfortability on the champion. Also, the winning formula, I think they have a lot of movement. I think they have the speed with Yuumi, Sivir, Hecarim, right? They're flying. Olaf slows. They have a lot of ways to get out of Vlad's way. So I actually don't think it would have been that good of a pick to actually counter Grant a little bit. I think it doesn't work too well.
Okay. Well, with that, I see that Speculate is finished. So we're going to send it to a quick break, get our casters and production all synced up, and we'll be back with the game in just a few.
To the Risen recap. Today we're looking towards Risen Unstoppable, and the stream started off with a bang. Quicksand asleep.
It's the first game of Unstoppable Risen Pramade. Come on, get up.
I gotta say, he was smooth once he rolled into it. And our first series was Big Bongo Boys playing up against Clarity Black. For the first 20 minutes of the game, it was a bit of fighting in the top lane, but not much happened besides that.
Oh, but the engage coming out from Sejuani, but it's trading back, and Maokai actually regenerated a lot more health than I would expected there.
For Boxer Squirrel, just really those kind of impacts making a huge difference in the gold.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to call them Triple B, BBB, or Big Bongo Boys, because they're not all same solo.
Then there was a mega turnaround fight for the Big Bongo Boys after they made a big dragon attempt, but then they got challenged again for the dragon attempt, which Big Bongo Boys won the fight towards.
On this side, and there's a 350 on the other side, but I can't punch to it, and I can't cut to it. But Boxer Squirrel in the midst of all, unable to get too much out, but finds the Q before his last dies, and Chicken Fried Rice to escape with good depth does not unfortunately have the W enough up to heal him, and they call comes back in the circuit, flip finds one. Can she find two? No, she gets shut down, and the exchange of lives is so insane. Can Maokai find the damage to Treble back? And he does, but unfortunately, it is the ace on the side of CLB that allows them to get this dragon.
Much later in the game, Big Bongo Boys chased Akali down in the bot lane, meaning that Clarity Black had so much freedom to take that first Baron, and from that Baron, they spiraled away from a teamfight and took the victory.
The higher ranked Clarity Black, and honestly,
They
still
find
performing
Akali.
extremely well.
Oh, and she can't get out, simply tries to ulti over the wall, but that's crucial. 4 members sent down. This is the freest Baron I've seen, and it's incredibly hard to siege anything. As we're talking about that, the dragon does in fact fall.
This will be a very important fight. Dragon Soul on the line. Let's see.
This is so easy, and the onslaught of shadows into all of the members. We talk about Wombo on one side, we talk about Wombo on the other side, but the whole time is not correctly pinned on enough members to make it worth it and to make it so they can make this comeback. And unfortunately, at the end, CLB take the game, and they look to take the game.
And then as we rolled into game 2, Maokai was picked again.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring
Maokai, the Twisted Treant.
Maokai is a support tank hybrid.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Bold move.
Overall,
Normally Darius is only reserved for those counter picks, and it looks like they're just going to respond with Maokai.
And the team was entirely green, so they kind of had the aesthetic advantage for the Big Bongo Boys. For the first 22 minutes, I kind of got distracted watching the LCS. 100 Thieves did win, to a big surprise of all the casters, and then we moved back into the game, where Baron and Soulpoint were both hit here by CLB.
Towards this dragon, we do have good depth running up from base. Let's see if we can get here in time.
And this dragon is down to 9k HP. They opt to pull it out, so the potential steal is a lot.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with a very, very exciting series. Just as a reminder, this is a best of 5. Both these teams looking to make their way into the finals for Dom Prix, and this series determines who's making it. And they got to play the other side of the bracket still, so we don't know who they're playing against just quite yet. But Freak, we're hopping into this game. What are we looking at so far?
Louis Mama, we're in a good old classic 5-point stance, but definitely a 5-point stance coming in for the fried chicken. Good lord, TFC. I guess I'm just hungry. Damn. And then we have a 4.5-point stance coming in from the winning formula. And then Yumi is kind of awkwardly not at a point, but Sivir was looking into the river, probably trying to get a vantage point on where Misfortune might be. But pretty classic coming in. We got 2 wards dropped in the middle of the river, 1 in the brush and 1 at the entrance of the red jungle. So this should be pretty interesting coming in. But I don't expect anything cheeky because neither of these level 1s are really worth raving about. So we'll just go ahead. Junglers will get their starts at their red buffs. And we have opposite starting sides. So I wonder if Jackie Chan here is going to go for a nice little cheeky invade. Olaf is waiting in the brush. He's probably going to catch Mundo when he walks by. Let's see what happens here.
About to bring that up. He's creeping up. They're looking to take this fight. Olaf has flash and ignite and ghost wailing on the Mundo already. Can't ignore the slows, Mr. Mundo. Not gonna matter for now. Sonic wailing on him. Getting a nice trade here. That's pretty huge for Olaf. I mean, right? Mundo can't walk up in lane now as he continues to walk up just a little bit more. But
yeah,
look at this dominance from Sign Me Up. Oh, but Graves. We got Jackie Chan coming up on the bottom side. It goes pop from both of them. Sign Me Up's got a long ways to run. Slow misses from Mundo. Looking to just walk this one out. Jackie Chan not quite able to find him. Dodges every cleaver. Well played from Sign Me Up, costing nothing but a ghost.
Ooh, yeah, we got two ghosts burned basically at the same time. Looks like I kind of figured this was going to happen. Graves is going to go invade the top side of Hecarim's jungle. I had a hunch, like, the way he was starting, I was like, he's probably going to try to invade, split the map a little bit, and I think Hecarim is aware of that, going over towards the other blue buff on the blue side. So, good, not blue side, but blue side of the red jungle. So, good for him for recognizing that. Oh, no, he's coming for a gank, actually.
Bodkill gonna have to flash here, maybe does do so for the Hecarim charge, gets himself out of the way. Beautiful from Lee Sanders. Victor is now so vulnerable for the rest of this lane. He's got to be careful. Hecarim with a nice clear. Actually didn't take the blue buff on the side of TFC, but now looking towards bot side.
That's what it looks like. They're going to see him on this ward, though, so it really shouldn't be too much of anything that happens. They're going to see him back off here and just get a nice little reset from there now. Is he going to finally go into the blue jungle here and take the buff? Okay, he's finally going for it, but Graves is ganking in the mid lane.
Ooh. Yeah, Graves. Unfortunately, the wave is just too good for Orianna and Jackie Chan, not able to do a whole lot there. But they know Hecarim's looking on this blue. Could be on Scuttle as well, theoretically, but they're going to find out shortly enough. Smite available for both these junglers. It's going to spot it out, smites it away, except actually I'm a liar. Hecarim managed to grab it. Super good for Lee Sanders. Jackie Chan did not get it. Looks like the Scuttle, though, is going to head over to the side of TFC. Perky the Parrot taking a lot of damage there, buddy. Ghost Pop getting himself out. I think he's going to be more than okay down here.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and get out. Now, Hecarim is cheekily waiting in this bush, and he should get the Scuttle, especially with mid lane coming over. But we have Victor coming down also as well. Oh, goodness, they're going to keep fighting.
Yeah, we've got the double-layered sandwich going on here. Blue team now in a full frontal position, collapsing on all sides. They have to work their way out as a team here. Quality player draw. Bob kill, now the main target. Lee Sanders going in. No flash on this.
Good flash.
Remember, he's going to drop quick. Quality out of there. First blood goes over to Perky. Jackie Chan, now the main target. No ghost on him either. And Jinsel forced to flash maybe over that wall. Lee Sanders playing a very defensive position here for Graves, but the damage is coming out. Pizza bouncing around, but not enough damage. That's only one kill, but super good for this side, a team winning formula.
Yeah, that's a really good start for the side of winning formula. It's just the double sandwich came in from the bot lane and the mid lane, and just at that point it got into a weird point. It got into a weird point where they were like choked on both sides. It's like we either have to fight or run, and they chose to take the fight. Victor came in, unfortunately falls to the Sivir, which Sivir did a really good flash over the Gravitum.
Yeah,
really well done for her to avoid getting CC'd there and pick up the first blood for herself. And now they have over a 1k gold lead, especially with all of those assists going to pretty much everyone else. And
oh my god, sign me up on absolutely dominating. Now it looks like a 1-for-1 at first glance, right? But look at that wave crashing under tower. Ardru is missing so much up there. It's a really good dive from sign me up.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. I mean, I respect it. I got to admit, he definitely worth it for the trade in the end. And oh my goodness, Orianna's really low here.
This is classic playing from Bodkill. He's going to keep manipulating these waves, keep the pressure on, and Orianna now with no flash. Once Victor hits 6-2 with phase rush and ult, you're going to be able to run down Orianna, no problem. So keep your eyes on this minimap for the rest of this landing phase, ladies and gentlemen, because we should see a lot of fighting from the Bodkill and the great wave states that he creates.
Wow, okay. So that's interesting. I actually was not aware that that's something he'd do, but we got some fighting in the bot lane here.
Wow, this game I thought was going to be super calm, but that spell shield is going to block out the root, which is good. Perky, that's a big wave. You got to be careful there, man.
Oh,
he's got the Yumi, but Hecarim is here to help. Jinsel flashless, but the exhaust does drop. I don't know if they have the means to get this Hecarim off, and it's going to be a free kill, but they managed to take down Perky in the meantime, and it's not bad, a 1-for-1 across the board.
Yeah, looked like both kills going to both of the 80. No, I lied. I went to the Hecarim. So Misfortune getting some gold, and I think you're fine with that, especially as the Misfortune. Are they not done here?
They wanted to crash that wave all the way in, but Jackie Chan's here to support it. The cat not able to hop back on. She can any second now, and there it is. This Yumi Hecarim is gonna be a problem later in the game, man.
Yeah, for sure. So interesting. I was just getting. I had a thought that I was going to say about that play. Oh, I remember. So that 1-for-1, you take that as the MF. The kill goes over to the Hecarim and not to the Sivir, and it keeps her a little farther down because we all know the meme, the League of Legends meme, the 300 CS Sivir meme, where she needs 300 CS to actually be relevant in the game. It's less so the meme now, but still entertaining. So you don't want that snowball to happen on this Sivir, so she can just throw those boomerangs and shred your health bar later. But in the meantime, and the overall state of the game, they still have a 900 gold lead coming in for the winning formula. Hecarim finally upgrading that smite. Graves should do the same here on this next camp, I believe. I'm gonna click over and see. The answer is... What the heck? It doesn't tell me.
The answer is... That's A-okay. I think it is
it's one
more
Mao.
sign if you look over. Yeah, if you just look at his items right there. But if you guys also, while we're looking down at the scoreboard, look at the CS numbers across the board. We have a massive difference in the top lane and mid, and that's an absolute sign of the patterns going on in these wave states. Olaf just constantly crashing these big waves into the top tower, and Bodkill doing the same, but not quite the same way. Actually, I should retract that statement. Victor's just freezing these waves mid, creating a huge CS gap for himself. Graves a little unsure of that gank up there. This Olaf, I think, could just walk away if he does get ganked, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can. He has ult, and realistically, then the flip side is Olaf shouldn't be diving the Mundo, but they look like they're doing a little bit of shenanigans in the top lane here. But Direct Camel likes to stay up here, so I'm going to peek up there. Nope, nothing really happening anymore. There was a little bit of a trading, but not much. So, this Victor, yeah, I'm looking at what's going on here in the mid lane, and you were absolutely right. Bodkill is manipulating these waves so exceptionally well, kind of stacking them a little bit in his favor, so that way it forces it to stay on his side of the map to kind of like get some of that jungle pressure going and poking out this Orianna as much as he can, and it's really, really impressive. Hecarim and Graves are going to probably meet here in the river in a second over this scuttle.
Absolutely right. Hecarim thinks he has first Davis, but Jackie Chan's here to stop him. Bot lane has that move first. Watch your mini-maps, ladies and gentlemen. Jackie Chan is going to secure himself that scuttle for now, but Bodkill wants a little more, maybe? Well, that's okay. All he gets for now is drag presence, which, not necessarily a bad thing.
No. So, good for them. Get a little of that skill, get a little bit of extra load on that Graves. The Graves is... Oh, there's a fight here in the bot lane, actually.
Oh, they're hitting the go button. They have flashes available. This Hecarim Yuumi is insane. The movement speed, the exhaust dropping onto MF. There's just nothing you can do. I feel like this spells disaster for the rest of the game. We're going to see this theme over and over again.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Mundo is winning these trades against the Mundo now with these cleavers. But, I mean, I guess, quote-unquote winning the trades, because... the lower Olaf gets, the stronger he gets. So you kind of want to be careful there, because he will just instantly flip the switch and just start running you down. But it doesn't look like he's going to do that right now. Actually, I lied. Okay, he missed the axe, so he definitely won't do that.
Yeah, he's getting very aggressive. Arger looking to take him down, and it kind of looks like, sign me up, overestimated himself just a little bit there, huh?
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. He burns the Ignite to try to nullify the ultimate a little bit, but Mundo ultimate is pretty ridiculous, especially since he doesn't have really any other heal cut at the moment to stop that, which, what can you do? Which, I was also going to say that Graves instantly buying the Executioner's Calling, I immediately assume for this Yuumi, which the healing is going to be absolutely ridiculous. A free tower plate now, actually 2 tower plates will be going over to the Mundo. Jeez. And wow, the gold lead is still 1,000 over in favor of the winning formula. It was a little 800 now, but it's kind of irrelevant because it seems like it should be more in the favor of TWC, and I need to TFC. Too many T's. Why do all you teams have to have T's?
Right, there's a whole lot of teas going on, but that's okay because we're not drinking tea, we're drinking coffee because we're getting excited for this game. If you look at the scoreboard, the CS is the difference isn't as massive as it was earlier in the game. That might be a good reason that the gold isn't so split as it was earlier. But, obviously 5 kills to 3, TFC is going to have a little bit of a disadvantage there. And, despite Sign Me Up just kind of giving a kill over to Argru, he still has this dominance in lane, right? No. But speak of dominance, he has no ghost. Ragnarok is not available either. Graves going to have to get himself out of this one, and it's pretty much a free kill for Team Fried Chicken. Pretty good. Lee Sinner's getting a little aggressive here. Graves is above you, and he's going to have to run out. He has the ultimate to get himself out, but he's going to get out with the assistance of Quality Player instead. Maybe looking for a little bit more. He's just so aggressive. But they do have their bot lane moving up. Ghost popped on the Sivir as well. They're hitting the go button. They want Jackie Chan, and they want him now. No flash stun. Not going to land on the Hecarim either. Yuumi ult coming in huge. Rooting 2. Bodkill flashes to get himself out. But Perky's not done quite yet, buddy. They want him is right. And Perky finds himself another kill. I lied. It went over to Yuumi. But that is huge. I mean, look at them just hit this go button.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. They could just decide to engage whenever they want to. Hecarim was like, all right, let's go, pressed R and just went in. And they, as a result, it ends up being a 2-0. It looked a little dicey there because, the tower was on Yumi and another tower play going over to Mundo on the trade. And there we go.
Oh. Speaking of, you mentioned this, Freak, you mentioned Olaf just hitting the button when he wants to and running him down, and that's what we're seeing. Mundo has nowhere to run and nowhere to dodge to, except he does. He needs to hit this axe. Actually, doesn't kill. I'm very surprised he lives that. I'm not going to lie to you.
I am so surprised too. I mean, even though he had the ultimate and everything, it just you thought that he was going to get the kill. That also would have been a massive shutdown going over to the Olaf, which would have helped him finish. I assumed that's going to be the Gore Drinker coming in, but wow, I'm actually surprised he didn't get the kill there. That's so sad. But he has Ignite now this next time he tries to do something like that, and he should be able to take down that Mundo. But Mundo has finished the Athemus Chains.
Yeah.
That I will assume goes on to probably the Sivir or the Orianna here. That would make the most sense anyways. I'll have to
For
get
now,
checked on that.
it's got to go on Olaf for now, right? For this laning phase. That's what I would guess at least.
I think so too, yeah.
It just gives him so much more survivability in this lane, I would imagine. TP's only available for Mundo if we look at that. So Sign Me Up is looking to play for lane. They won't have the advantage in these dragon fights for that, so they'll have to play around it very, very well. He has to push in the waves and then walk down early. And speaking of walking down early, Graves doing something on the quality player. Flash available on him, but he's going to be okay for now. They're looking to knock down this tower. Only 15 seconds on those turret platings, though. Probably not going to be able to pick him up.
Okay, yep. I don't think anyone has gotten... No one's gotten the Herald yet. I'm actually surprised. We're 14 minutes into the game, basically, and no one's gotten the Herald. So I'm going to tick over and take a look at some of these gold leads. So we have an 800 gold lead coming in for the 80 carry of Perky. And from there, it's pretty even, more or less across the board. The Mundo being almost 1,000 gold up, which is, naturally, he's just been kind of winning every single trade. Like right now, like Olaf will not win a trade if he takes a fight. Yeah, he might just die here.
I think you might be onto something. He's going to have to dodge these cleavers, not able to do it, and Mundo takes him down. I said in Champ Select that I thought the matchup was completely Olaf-sided. Boy, was I wrong. Mundo is proving to be dominant in this lane just as soon as he's gotten one item.
Yeah, and I'm actually surprised he didn't try to greed for that tower there. I mean, there was no one there that's coming to stop him. This will be first tower going over to the Mundo very shortly, and this should even out the goal lead. Or he's
looking
dead.
to take him down, though. Not for free. He wants to pick up that cask on the floor, but Yumi ult not going to let him do it. Another kill, let alone a shutdown onto Lee Centers. This Hecarim is huge. They're okay giving up this dragon, though. Can you explain the breakdown of the dragon versus Herald decision here?
Yeah, I think in terms of TFC, they were like, okay, we see Hecarim in the top, so let's take the dragon, stop any potential stack that's coming in. So it's going to be a Hex Tech Soul. Definitely want to stop a potential Hex Tech Soul coming in for the side of the winning formula. You do not want them to have that, because any ability they land, you're instantly slowed, makes it ridiculous. And now that delays the soul for another 15 minutes, which you definitely are cool with seeing on the side of TFC. The Herald will be summoned here. Probably top tower will fall shortly after. But back to what you were saying. So the Herald past 14 minutes really isn't that big of a deal per se. It's just at this point used for breaking towers, which is exactly what it did. Quality's going to get dove here.
He has flash and ult to try to outplay it, but it's going to be difficult. Binds 2 with the shockwave, now running low on health. But Bodkill not going to drop thanks to his Seraphine, and that is a dead Orianna, unfortunately.
Is Hecarim dead?
Arthur finds it. Wait a minute, that is huge. Hecarim is the only one with gold on the side of the winning formula. Mundo just picked himself up a shutdown. Poor Olaf is going to have such a hard time in that top lane.
Oh man, that's actually unlucky. The Sunfire Cape should be... I think he should have enough gold for the finish of Sunfire Cape. Yeah, 1,000 gold. Yeah. Looks like he has almost all the parts for it. If he cleans up this wave, he should be able to get it. I think Gross should be able to get it here. I'll have to see in the next, 30 seconds or so. But wow, I thought... I have to admit, that was kind of greedy to go for the Mundo like that. I think if you had maybe your other two team members, you can dive that, but Mundo is so hard to dive. Especially when you don't have heal cut yet. Oof. The only one has it is Yumi, which it's assuming she lands any of her abilities to proc it. That's kind of crazy. Wow.
Yeah, very true. I look at the scoreboard right now. Mundo holds so much of the gold on the side of TFC, whereas Hecarim holds the gold on the side of the winning formula, except for Sivir down there does have a nice chunk of gold in her pocket, but it's going to come down to these all-out brawls with these team fights, right? When these frontline champions are so much stronger than the backlines, we're going to see the backlines being pretty much worthless, right? And it's going to come down to Mundo versus Hecarim. But does Hecarim win it when he's got a Yuumi on top of him? I would imagine so.
I don't think so. If Mundo pops ult, I actually don't think he wins that. Especially, I'm looking at the gold lead. Mundo has an over 2,300 gold lead on the Olaf, so Olaf just is pretty much out of the game. I mean, he's 1-4. But ooh, that is a beefy doctor. Oh, they're gonna engage on the Victor here.
Bod Kill has flash, but he's not going to even want to use it. At least Sinners just takes him down so easily. They stick to him like glue with the speed ups and the slows that they have in their comp. Berkey the Parrot, now the main target. Jincell running him down with that Seraphine. So much damage. I thought this game was going to be a lot more one-sided, but it's looking even all across the map, right? Look at the top of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Only 1,000 gold difference right now. I mean, that's nothing for 20 minutes into the game.
No, it's really not, and I'm actually really impressed with. Oh, they're engaging here on the good ult.
Not quite done. Chan drops. They managed to find him in the jungle. But Mundo TP's top. They want this fight. Earl has ult. Isn't going to pop it just quite yet. Jincell does have the bullet time as well. Mundo in the top. Looking to start a fight as well. Is this really where you want to be? He's got the heal cut applied to him. Exhaust drops as well. Trying to catch him down. Bullet time comes in to save him. These Sinners now cut off a little bit. But Arger is just not dying. They don't have the main Seraphine ult. Catches nobody. It was so close. But Arger, being an absolute brick wall to get through, is not going to fall. If that Seraphine hit, it would have been huge.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought that TP was kind of troll. It does open up Olaf for getting that bot lane turret. So I see the plan now. They wanted to call up the Mundo, be like, hey, we're gonna probably get in a fight here. He comes up. They try to dogpile onto Mundo, but he doesn't die. Wow, he literally had 4 people on him, and he just kind of walked it off like it was not. Almost died, but basically walked it off like it was nothing. The MF ult was huge to save him. That was crazy, and looks like Olaf might be run down here by the Victor. Victor is stronger than him.
Yeah, he tries to make a name for himself, saying, "Listen, come here, buddy, let me get you," and he might actually do it. Oh my gosh, I got scared there for a second. Bod Kill
almost did
dropping
it.
so low. He really did almost do it. How crazy would that have been? Oh my.
Wow. Okay, but I mean that just goes to show how far behind this this Olaf is. I'm actually surprised he went for the Stride Breaker instead of the Gore Drinker. I personally would have gone for the Gore Drinker here if I was playing, especially since you know you're going to be running into a lot of people all the time. So getting that massive healing off. And the only two people have anti-heal right now. That's the Graves and the Seraphine. But still, it's a rough game for Sign Me Up right now. Down 4 kills to the Mundo, 5 deaths. It's just... It feels bad. Now we have Dragon coming up here in 2 seconds, the first Hex Tech Drake of the game. I personally don't think you fight for this if you're the winning formula. You kind of let TFC have this and just give it up. But I don't know if they're going to do that. Oh, Yumi's dead.
You don't really... Oh my gosh, they picked Yuumi. If you look at the top there, ladies and gentlemen, Bod Kill. Picking up a kill onto the final ninja, that's going to be huge. Just as you were saying, Freak, they really kind of need to just give up this, right? Yuumi kind of didn't get that memo. And they pick up the Dragon as well as a Stray Cat.
Yeah, so more gold going over. They're still down 2K, but like, it doesn't feel like they're down to like 1,000 gold right now. It just jumped up as I said that, but it doesn't feel like they're down. I think it's the gold leads that are coming through on like some of these individual carries. Like it looks like, who's up? So Victor is up. Olaf is way far behind, like 2K gold. So that's where most of their gold lead is cut in half from, is from the Mundo. Just wow. And what's he building now? Looks like a Bork is going to be next on his list to build. I see that. That's interesting. I mean, it will help.
If you look at the gold too, right? Graves is down 3,000 gold. 2,000 gold on Hecarim there. He's just almost a bunch, but that's massive, and that's the reason why it doesn't feel so strong, right? But this Hecarim is everything. Trying to lock down Misfortune there with that Yuumi ult, not gonna find, and that is gonna be the shockwave
from the flank.
But Mundo didn't TP up, ladies and gentlemen. He walked his little legs all the way up there, but nothing's gonna happen, unfortunately. Olaf now left to farm a little bit in that bot lane, and he's more than happy to do so.
Yeah, wow. It's just these fights look like they're going to go heavily on one way, but the second they hear the Mundo's coming, they're like, nope, we're out. They back off. So it's like they have to fight with that Mundo. He's going to build the Tiamat next for a little bit of extra damage. Oh lord, this is gonna be much harder for the Olaf. So Olaf is gonna back off here in the top lane. They've gotta like just kind of back it off a little bit. Like gather yourselves, come up with a little bit of a new strategy over the course of this game, because what they're doing, like what the winning formula is doing is kind of working. It's just when Mundo gets into the mix, he throws a wrench in the whole plan. So they gotta like plan it around the Mundo, like honestly, like try to pick off anyone who looks like they might be too far, except the Mundo. You're probably not gonna kill him at this point until Sivir finishes her LDR, or whichever one she's going for. We'll have to wait and see. And Graves is here in the mid lane.
Yeah, they're looking for a play on Perky. They have Lee Sinners there to back him up. Now engaging on this Graves, looking to take him down quickly. Bullet time doing so much damage onto everybody's Seraphino combo.
Close.
Dropping low. Shockwave finds two. Not enough to do anything meaningful in the fight, though. Argru coming in hot. They're running out. This is their move speed coming into play here. Dodging quality player sacrifices himself for his team. And that's only one kill coming out there, but a huge fight for the side of TFC.
Yeah, not having the QSSs right now for the Seraphine ult is definitely hurting a couple of members. I honestly think, this, because Silver can only spell shield one thing, but the spell shield plus the QSS would definitely help her in that moment. Could have easily killed the Graves, but oh no, he's going into the Mundo. Oh yeah.
Oh, look at Olaf. Olaf flanking here onto Earl King, looking to take down this Seraphine. Flash is available, Encore is not, and that's a free kill for Olaf. Little gold in his pocket, now looking for Argru. I don't think that's worth chasing, buddy. That's a big corporate Mundo.
They're gonna turn to the Baron here, I guess. I mean, there is the off chance that it could be stolen here. They're gonna drop a ward, and they see it now. Your Orianna's not here. Her ultimate's not up yet, so this is possible for a steal. They're not gonna go for it.
It's so difficult. I mean, Orianna was late. They could maybe go for it now, and they are. Shockwave finds two. That's on a bot kill. Zonia's in the middle, and Argru dropping so low as well. Bot kill, and Mundo can take it down. Graves doing what he can from the backline.
Nice.
It's just not enough. They're steamrolling all over the side of TFC. Jackie Chan falls, and that's going to be all members dead except for Earl now, and they are going to turn onto that Baron now. Might be a little bit slow, but what a fight.
That was the 5v5 I was waiting. Well, it was actually 4v5, but that was the team fight I was waiting to see from the side of the winning formula. The all in. Everyone throws everything all at once. I think every single ultimate was popped at once during that fight, and that's what I wanted to see. Ooh, so they end up getting a delayed ace per se, because Seraphine was killed before that. Oh my goodness, Orianna might be dead here.
A little bit of squabbling in the mid. Earl getting aggressive on this Seraphine, but quality player maybe turning the tide, forces out Earl's flash, and that's pretty darn good there from quality player. That Seraphine is a free kill for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. And now they're gonna go ahead and reset for this Dragons. Gold lead just expands a little bit to 3K. They have to play exactly like that a few more times in order to make this game completely seal the deal for this game. At first, I'll admit, I was worried for a little bit on the side of the winning formula. They drafted exclusively for this 5v5 style of play for this game, but then they fell. They didn't fall behind in terms of goal, but they fell behind in terms of tempo in some places, and he's dead.
Olaf finds himself caught out. Ragnarok is going to be popped, trying to run out of there with the CC immunity. But on the top side of the map as well, if you look at your mini-maps, we have Jincell falling, and that's the 1-for-1 trade for Olaf. They get mid-tower out of it, though. So honestly, a win for the winning formula.
I agree. They're going to back off here. They're going to give up this Drake, just the advantage that they have in the mid lane, pushing in. Orianna's going to keep going. Titanic Hydra was also just finished for the Mundo. Oh boy, I just love it when Mundos build Titanic Hydra, because it's really stupid how much damage they do. Oh god. So
yeah,
in this case,
it's all based off of max health, right? It's that's how Titanic Hydra works. Could you break that down for me?
Yeah. So, Titanic Hydra, for those of you who don't know, you gain, obviously, extra attack damage, but it has a cleave, which is an on-hit passive, creating a shockwave that deals 164 extra physical damage to targets that are behind it. So, cleave shockwave does not trigger on structures, though, unfortunately. Did I read that word for word? You'll never know. All right.
It'd be really impressive if you didn't.
I wish I
just
was
off
that
the
cool.
top of the head.
Oh, no.
Perky popping Ghost, getting himself out of here. Argru 2 in a row, finding picks by just waiting in that bush. Has to dodge the cleaver. Not able to do so. Ult popping, though. But Argru does not care. Sign me up there to help him out. Got to block those cleavers for Perky. Now he's getting cutted out of his mind. Perky, look at the moves. Argru drops. You You can't get that aggressive, buddy. You are everything. And that's going to cause this on the other side of the map. Hagermo finds 2. Seraphine, the main target, dropping half health about now.
Seraphine,
So low, finds 2,
oh.
full time with the damage. Quality player saving him for now, and nobody drops just quite yet. Bodkill has ult in the back pocket. Dragon not up, so both teams are more than happy just backing away for now.
Woo, that was actually pretty spicy, and the Olaf coming in to block those cleavers so that way the Sivir doesn't die was absolutely clutch. Victor might be caught here.
Bodkill has no flash, only the ult, and he's gonna die before he even gets a chance to use a spell. They're so good at creating these advantages around this vision. Hecarim is playing like a monster in this jungle.
Yeah, the Divine Sunder is the only damage source he has, but he's still doing a lot of damage with it on top of the Yuumi. Or rather with the Yuumi on top of him, and it's great. So this Baron buff had just expired, and they got, I think, just 1 tower out of that. 2 towers, they got the mid lane tower too, so 2 towers out of it. You take that, it doesn't break open the base. The next Baron most likely will break open the base if TWF get it. They're going to push their advantage up towards the top side, push that wave in, maybe kind of tickle the tower a little bit. We'll have to wait and see what happens there.
Yeah, hopefully they manage to get onto this top tower. They're looking to extend this lead as much as they can, right? My goodness, Orianna's damage is insane. But,
okay.
I mean,
We're gonna get the
they
tower.
want the advantage, right? They are going to get it. Look at the gold advantage at the top now, up to 5,000. Drake's 2-2 as well. So these teams taking it slow is really, really good for the side of the winning formula.
So maybe the game plan all along was, yeah, we'll make it look like we'll fall behind, but in reality, our carries will just do all the rest of the work for us. And so far, that's exactly what's happened. Sivir, 700 gold bounty. Orianna has a 300, and Hecarim 6-1 with 150 gold bounty on himself too. And the Yuumi with a 15 kill participation. I'm gonna do some quick maths. Quick maths. I almost got the quick maths. Quick maths. 83% kill participation. We got it.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of kill participation. That just shows, I mean, that's the idea behind Yuumi Hecarim, right? At a certain point in the game, you kind of go, sorry, Sivir, I'm best friends with Hecarim now. Our relationship is over.
That's what I'm saying. Are you not entertained, Twitch chat? Are you not entertained? Is this better than DRX versus T1? Don't answer that.
No.
They're in a flake position. Hold on. Hecarim's in a flake position. So the second they show, they will engage right here, right now.
Here it is. Move speed and the fear landing onto one, followed up with that Yuumi root. I mean, Jincell can't do a thing about that, right? They're looking for even more, maybe. Perky the Parrot has that spell shoot for the Seraphine. Perfectly played. Encore? Absolutely not. We're shutting that down right now. Well played from Perky there. Now so strong on that Sivir. It's looking pretty disastrous for the side of TFC, if I'm being honest with you, Freak.
Yeah, it looked like they had a very good avenue into this game, but now Sivir has reached that forward and breakpoint. They're going to keep fighting. The Zhonya's has popped.
Leonis is pop, only going to delay his own death as the shockwave takes him down. That damage is huge, but they're not done quite yet. Jackie Chan, pretty tanky with that Gourd Drinker in his back pocket, is going to be enough to save him for now, but here comes Mundo. No way, get out there. But it's not over quite yet, ladies and gentlemen. Cleaver's not finding on a quality player. Maybe it is now. Argo has to run. Herky's just so fast on this Sivir, you can't do anything to get away. Okay, he really made it through that portal. Are you kidding me?
I didn't know. I thought when you take damage, it stops, but I'm just as shocked as you are. That was awesome. Okay, wow. I'm still processing that. I didn't know you could do that. But 20 seconds till the dragon is up. Oh no, they're gonna keep. Please don't stop fighting. Just get ready for the dragon. Oh, they're in a choke. Oh,
they're in a choke, but the bullet time is gonna do work here. Yuumi ult doing the same, but not enough. Hecarim does have the ult to get himself out of there. Hopefully, as you were saying, maybe now we'll get onto this dragon. 2-2 on dragon, so they can give this up, but it does give them soul point.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, they're like, we have no vision down here. Actually, they have a pink ward. I'm going to toggle my vision real quick. Yeah, all they have is that pink ward, and the dragon's gone before they can even think about approaching that direction. Unlucky, so soul point now for the winning formula, and they definitely have found the formula to winning this first game, I would say. This is going to be pretty spicy, so I in my eyes, I'd say, you know, we're pretty far down now. It's 9,000 gold. They've peaked with where they are in terms of like itemization and whatnot. Orianna can one-shot our backline, and you're just like, all right, game 2, what do we do? So I think depending on which side TFC gets on, I would argue so that way the Yuumi isn't threatened as the first pick. I think they ban it actually going into game 2. That's what I would do personally if I stay on red side. But Hecarim's walking into okay, never mind.
No. Wait, Bucky, oh, accidentally hits the plant. My game just crashed. Oh, I lied, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Sign me up is okay for now. I can't believe they managed to find Bodkill there, feared him away off that blast plant, and despite Hecarim accidentally hitting the plant, I think it was, knocking him over, they find Bodkill anyways. Flash available, not even a chance to use it, now turned on to this Baron.
That play was so cool it freaked out your computer. All right.
Yeah, right?
Mundo will get up tower on the top. They see this, but they're not going to go for the steal. He can't get over the wall. And that'll be it. So objective bounties are going to come active here for TFC. And Bali's going to be pushed up, but that'll be cleared instantly. Now, break open the base. That is the game plan here. I don't think they do a 1-3-1 kind of scenario here. I think you just clear the bot wave. Oriana will probably come up, or they kill Graves here. All right, that's cool. Goodbye, Graves.
That's so cool. This Hecarim Yuumi is an absolute problem. I mean, they're just wandering around the map doing what they want. I thought they were going to take a few minutes before they crack open this base, but I think they're going to look to do so right now through this mid lane. Looking to get some damage onto Perky, but Perky is only like, it probably has the money for full build in his back pocket. He's that strong. Hecarim, zero hesitation running onto that backline. Tries to find MF, but the cutting is just too strong. Dropping low. Bullet time coming through too.
They both die.
Drop center, as well as Yuumi. Perky dropping low from that tower as well. Sign me up now. The only front line they have can't be disabled for now, but they're looking to continue this chase maybe. Nothing to take on the map though, Freak.
Greedy. That's how I can come that down to. That was greedy as hell. They should have just waited for the next wave, break open the base, and then have to force them come to you before you take the inhibitor, and then you take the fight. That was so greedy, because Hecarim took like 3 tower shots for no reason there. Oh, I think they get a free tower off of that. Yeah, that'll give them the objective bounty on this tower. And, int. Bad. No. Stop it. Don't do that. That's my analytical opinion of that fight. Don't do that again.
That might be the most well-articulated sentence I've heard in a long, long time, Freak. I think you broke it down perfectly. Please don't do that again, TFC. Excuse me, not TFC, TWF. They have all the marbles in their back pocket, and they just spilled them all over the floor. Opening up that door, it is now, I would say, winnable for the side of TFC.
I would say it's winnable too. I for those of you in chat, I stole that from Double Lift. He would say winnable instead of, actually no, he would say winnable and comebackable. Unlike, because T1 says Tyler 1 for again. Tyler 1 says winnable. Double Lift says winnable or comebackable. So I like to say winnable. I don't know why. I just do memes. Anyways, as we get back into what's going on, so we're 34.5 minutes in. They're going to create a little bit of a ball in the brush here. Hecarim only having that Sunder is definitely showing, because he's not doing as much damage as he was earlier. Oh, he has Black Cleaver too, so never mind. I take it back. But it's still kind of showing that he's not doing as much damage as he used to. He's like fallen off just a little bit, if I would say, especially coming into the later stages of this game. We got Dragon in just over a minute. And I imagine you want to try to break open this tower.
I think
break open the tower.
Key, right? Hopefully they don't pull the trigger again, but there's that tower falling. They're running the 1-3-1 for now. Now that mid tower is open, it opens up so much more of that rotation through the map. Maybe looking onto this Olaf. Don't walk too far up there, buddy. You might get trapped by Victor. Stun not gonna land, but Bodkill wants to chase him down. He has slows and he's got speed ups of his own. Gonna force Sign Me Up to back here. Dragon up very, very shortly. And I think it's a matter of a waiting game until that spawns. They bounce between Inhib, Dragon, and just pressure both of them pretty equally.
That's where I'm thinking too. So we got pings onto the Dragon, 18 seconds. They're pinging into the mid lane. It looks like they're going to try to get a push in the mid lane going. They're kind of threatening it, but they actually see them. So Mundo's coming in from the flank on the other side, and we got something spicy coming our way here in the next few seconds. Sivir is going to go down to the Dragon, probably start that herself. And here we go. Then we have a fight brewing. Oh, Victor might get caught out here. Oh, no, he's not.
Sivir 6 items, so keep an eye on her in the back. Lucianer's getting a little too aggressive. TFC not afraid to walk in here. Dragon dropping down. Does go over to the winning formula. That's huge. Shockwave. Soul on the backs now. Hecarim running through the team. Perky in the back. Hitting onto Argur. He drops so fast. Bodkill shortly after. Jackie Chan now the one-man standing. Looks to do something. Tries to take down Perky. But he's got a Yuumi on top of him, buddy. You ain't doing nothing. There's the ace for TF. No, excuse me, TWF, and they're walking through bot lane looking to end this game.
Yeah, that should be the end of game one right there. There's that team fight comp we were talking about. They get the dragon, they instantly turn, and they end up wiping TFC off the rift. This should be the end of the game here. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be. They're just going to get a couple inhibitors for lulls. And yeah, TWF will take the series, not the series, we'll take the game. Take this, they'll take the game, go up.
You're not supposed to show the script.
Wait, they're trolling. Well, just hit lads, the Nexus.
Everything's fine.
Okay, 1-0. TWF takes this game.
What a beautiful game. It was back and forth for a little bit in the early game, but they executed that late game so well. They brought it together, and that Hecarim Yuumi was a force to be reckoned with in that late game.
I definitely agree, and that was exciting. Was that a spicy enough game for you, Matt? That was pretty fun for us.
I think it was spicy enough. I think that oh my god, I didn't know if my mic was picking me up. I wasn't expecting to come back on. There was no warning. I had stats pulled up. Yeah, at 22 minutes in, 324 gold difference, and it ended about 10 minutes later with a 12,000 gold difference. That's 10 minutes to take over at that point. Sivir damage by the end of it, not too bad. Hecarim, not too shabby as well.
Yeah, right there for sure. It looked a little dicey there at the beginning of game one. For the winning formula, it's like, oh, we're actually falling behind, and it's okay because like it's okay. We'll just come back, we'll scale, and just yeetily deed all over them as the game goes on. Olaf was actually down almost 3,000 gold at one point, but it didn't matter because his AD carry, his mid, and his jungler were so far ahead that it just nullified whatever lead Mundo had. And it was interesting to see. Now, game two, I would argue, if they stay on the same sides, I think you ban Yuumi here. I would say they're gonna ban Yuumi here because it will be such a highly contested pick, and you don't want Sivir Yuumi again to go over to the winning formula. They're gonna take it off the table and then force them to first pick something else. That's my take. What I think will happen.
The other option is they decide to switch sides and they force the winning formula to ban out the Yuumi, because otherwise Earl's gonna first pick it. That's another option at that point. Waste a ban and like take it away from them at the same time. So I don't know what we expect going into that, but I think that we should take a couple-minute break, give you guys a second to rest, get those draft links up, and chat about it after that.
Back to the Risen recap. Today we're looking towards Risen Unstoppable, and the stream started off with a bang. Quicksand asleep.
It's the first game of Unstoppable Risen pre-made. Come on, get up.
But I gotta say, he was smooth once he rolled into it. And our first series was Big Bongo Boys playing up against Clarity Black. For the first 20 minutes of the game, it was a bit of fighting in the top lane, but not much happened besides that.
Oh, but the engage coming out from Sejuani, but it's trading back, and Maokai actually regenerated a lot more health than I would expected there.
For Boxer Squirrel, just really those kind of impacts making a huge difference in the gold.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to call them Triple B, BBB, or Big Bongo Boys, because they're not all same solos.
Then there was a mega turnaround fight for the Big Bongo Boys after they made a big dragon attempt, but then they got challenged again for the dragon attempt, which Big Bongo Boys won the fight towards.
On this side, and there's a 3 on the other side, but I can't punch to it, and I can't cut to it. But Boxer Squirrel in the midst of it all, unable to get too much out, but finds the Q before his last dies, and Chicken Fried Rice to escape with good depth does not unfortunately have the W enough up to heal up, and they call comes back in the circuit, but finds one. Can she find two? No, she gets shut down, and the exchange of lives is so insane. Can Maokai find the damage retrieval back? And he does, but unfortunately, it is the ace on the side of CLB that allows them to get this dragon.
Much later in the game, Big Bongo Boys chased Akali down in the bot lane, meaning that Clarity Black had so much freedom to take that first Baron, and from that Baron, they spiraled away from a teamfight and took the victory.
The higher ranked Clarity Black, and honestly, still performing extremely well.
Oh, and she can't get out simply, tries to ulti over the wall, but that's crucial. 4 members sent down. This is the freest Baron I've seen, and it's incredibly hard to siege anything. As we're talking about that, the dragon does in fact spawn.
This will be a very important fight. Dragon Soul on the line. Let's see.
This is so easy, and the onslaught of shadows into all of the members. We talk about Wombo on one side, we talk about Wombo on the other side, but the whole time is not correctly pinned on enough members to make it worth it and to make it so they can make this comeback. And unfortunately, at the end, CLB take the lead, and they look to take the game.
And then as we rolled into game 2, Maokai was picked again.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring
Maokai, the Twisted Treant.
Maokai is a support tank hybrid.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Bold move.
Overall,
Normally Darius is only reserved for those counter picks, and it looks like they're just going to respond with Maokai.
And the team was entirely green, so they kind of had the aesthetic advantage for the Big Bongo boys. For the first 22 minutes, I kind of got distracted watching the LCS. 100 Thieves did win, to a big surprise of all the casters, and then we moved back into the game, where Baron and Soulpoint were both hit here by CLB.
Towards this dragon, we do have good depth running up from base. Let's see if we can get here in time.
And this dragon is down to 9k HP. They opt to pull it out, so the potential steal is has a lot less potential to happen. The Maokai ulti for the engage. They want to make this happen. The Wombo combo, but the bullet time is just barely out of range, but it's not going to matter in the end. The deathball comes too strong, but this Twitch is free firing in the backline. Good Death trying to stall time for his 80 carry, but in a 1v4, when you're already routed and they're already on top of you, they make it look easy.
With CLB taking a massive victory in the second game and this series, it seemed like the casters had gone to Hogwarts, because every single time they were casting and made predictions, they just put a caster curse down on poor Big Bongo boys.
The series is taken by Clarity Black.
And that was Risen Unstoppable for the night. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Risen recap. Today we're looking towards Risen Unstoppable, and the stream started off with a bang, Quicksand asleep.
It's the first game of Unstoppable Risen Pramade. Come on, get up,
But I gotta say, he was smooth once he rolled into it. And our first series was Big Bongo Boys playing up against Clarity Black. For the first 20 minutes of the game, it was a bit of fighting in the top lane, but not much happened besides that.
Oh, but the engage coming out from Sejuani, but it's trading back, and Maokai actually regenerated a lot more health than I would expected there.
For Boxer Squirrel, just really those kind of impacts making a huge difference in the gold.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to call them Triple B, BBB, or Big Bongo Boys, because they're not all same solos.
Then there was a mega turnaround fight for the Big Bongo Boys after they made a big dragon attempt, but then they got challenged again for the dragon attempt, which Big Bongo Boys won the fight towards.
On this side, and there's a 3v3 on the other side, but I can't punch to it, and I can't cut to it. But Boxer Squirrel in the midst of it all, unable to get too much out, but finds the Q before his last dies, and Chicken Fried Rice to escape with good depth does not unfortunately have the W enough up to heal him, and they call comes back in the circuit, but finds one. Can she find two? No, she gets shut down, and the exchange of lives is so insane. Can Maokai find the damage retrieval back? And he does, but unfortunately, it is the ace on the side of CLB that allows them to get this dragon.
Much later in the game, Big Bongo Boys chased Akali down in the bot lane, meaning that Clarity Black had so much freedom to take that first Baron, and from that Baron, they spiraled away from a team fight and took the victory.
The higher ranked Clarity Black, and honestly, still
find
performing
Akali
extremely well.
Oh, and she can't get out, simply tries to ulti over the wall, but that's crucial. 4 members sent down. This is the freest Baron I've seen, and it's incredibly hard to siege anything. As we're talking about that, the dragon does in fact spawn.
This will be a very important fight. Dragon Soul on the line. Let's see.
This is so easy, and the onslaught of shadows into all of the members. We talk about Wombo on one side, we talk about Wombo on the other side, but the whole time is not correctly pinned on enough members to make it worth it and to make it so they can make this comeback. And unfortunately, at the end, CLB take the lead, and they look to take the game.
And then as we rolled into game 2, Maokai was picked again.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring
Maokai, the Twisted Treant.
Maokai is a support tank hybrid.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Bold move.
Overall,
Normally Darius is only reserved for those counter picks, and it looks like they're just going to respond with Maokai.
And the team was entirely green, so they kind of had the aesthetic advantage for the Big Bongo boys. For the first 22 minutes, I kind of got distracted watching the LCS. 100 Thieves did win, to a big surprise of all the casters, and then we moved back into the game, where Baron and Soulpoint were both hit here by CLB.
Towards this dragon, we do have good depth.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I know I'm a little more centered than before. It's just a beautiful thing. But before we talk about anything, Freak, what do we see in the bans?
Immediately, the Yumi ban that I was saying. Team Fried Chicken immediately banned the Yumi. That should realistically change the entire comp coming in for Game 2 for TWF. And what will they first pick here after this final ban coming in? We have the Zillion ban, so it's pretty much the same bans. The only adaptation is the Yumi ban. Now, that also leaves the Aatrox open, so they might first pick the Aatrox here. Or, okay, I lied. We had a whole thing, we had a whole thing pre in the background. I was saying, yeah, they'll ban Yumi. They won't pick Hecarim. They picked the Hecarim.
I'm a bit surprised. I honestly, you said that off stream. You're like, if you ban the Yumi away, they don't pick the Hecarim. It changes the whole draft. I think you're totally right about that. I'm very surprised they pick up the Hecarim. I'm even more surprised that maybe no, because Fiora's banned too. Why do you not go Aatrox there, right? So TFC has got to go Aatrox, maybe.
And we have Zaya as the response coming in from Team Fried Chicken. I mean, if you really want to maximize the potential, I say lock in the Rakan here, personally. Zaya Rakan is still one of the best duos in the game. Oh, okay, they're going to stick with the Graves, which is very interesting. Very, very peculiar. I'm just kind of I think maybe it's just what it is the winning formula is jungler is just very comfortable on Hecarim, so they see it open, they're like, all right, let's just pick it again. Will it be as much of a problem as it was last game without that Yumi? I will have to wait and see. So we have second picks coming in right now, and yep, there's the Aatrox. Yep. Figured that would come in. It was left open. So, and funny enough, the Fiora counter matchup has actually been banned away by the Team Fried Chicken. Now, you guys aren't listening, Team Fried Chicken, but I'm gonna say this anyways. Yone is a counter pick. You know who played that yesterday? Zeus.
True. Zeus was crazy on that Yone. I would love to see a Yone this game. One other thing I want to kind of ask you about Zaya, right? They picked Zaya. We thought they would go Zaya Rakan. They didn't. Maybe they don't want the Rakan. If they don't, it's interesting. I was thinking Zaya was kind of troll, but then I thought it does such a good job at kind of negating Hecarim's engage. So maybe that's the logic behind the Zaya pick.
Wait for it. Wait this last second, and I think we're going to get the Rakan locked in. Zaya Rakan are the bot lane for Team Fried Chicken this game. I was low-key kind of hoping they would pick it because the combo is absolutely disgusting. You get the extra range coming in for Rakan when you have Zaya on the field, so that gets him that ability to be that annoying nuisance and to stop some of this like hard engage a little bit, and Jinx being really immobile is susceptible to the things that Rakan can do. And we have the Lulu ban. They were hovering on Mumu for a second. Okay, so we have the Lulu ban coming in for Team Fried Chicken. What will be the response ban in return? I imagine we'll probably get the same mid lane bans as last game. Maybe. I could be completely wrong, so we'll have to see what happens. Okay, well, they heard us talking and they banned Vladimir, so... Alright. So, Vladimir is taken off the table. I don't know if it really would have worked well for what TFC has in mind, unless they draft something exactly like this, and they're like, yoink, Vladimir as the focal point of the draft. But we'll have to wait and see how much that affects the later half. And we're 4 seconds away. Karma, getting some of those enchanters away from the Jinx. That little bit of protection that she gets. Still got Tom Kench open if they really want to be cheeky with the protection, with the protected supports. You got Leona too, and you got Thresh. So we'll have to wait and see what they decide to go for their final support pick for this game. And we go to the second phase. What do we got? Come on, Team Fried Chicken. You're keeping it a little spicy. We got double 80 carries. We can get a mid lane pick here. I would think maybe more of this is actually looking like a decent assassin mid laner angle if they play. Okay, Urgot. Okay. That's I like it. I was about to say I like that into the Aatrox. When he gets those shotgun knees, he pretty much wins every single trade if you can, get ahead and get those levels to max out those shotgun knees that just stay on the whole time, which is wild to me why they would do that. But the Renata potentially as the answer. Okay, we have Renata coming in, which the Berserk will be really good if Zaya and Vic. Oh well, they take away the Victor. Interesting. So do they pick up the Orianna then in response? You have a couple options of what you could do here in terms of mid lane matchups. You have quite a lot you could arguably do here. Ari, you have Akali, Ryze. I think one of them plays Ryze. I off the top of my head, I can't remember who. But there's some really good potential here. Swain is even a decent pick, I would say. Yep, and they lock it in. I like this. I actually like both drafts.
Yeah.
Nothing really sticks out as like funky, except the Hecker and pick, but nothing really sticks out as like completely funky to me. I like both drafts.
Yeah, I feel like TFC's draft is very like Zaya central, right? They have
Mm-hmm.
essentially Zaya in the back and then nothing but brick walls standing in front of her. Swain is so hard to kill, depending on the team comp. Urgot's pretty hard to kill, and then Rakan doing his thing in the front, dancing around, obviously. I think it's absolutely a protect Zaya comp coming out from TFC here. One thing about TWF's draft, they have great front line, great back line, but the Renata pick I think has so much value here. You get
Okay.
Renata ult onto Urgot and Graves, they're gonna kill each other just shooting at each other. I think it's gonna be so good if these Renata ults can play how they would textbook wise.
Yeah, and this is gonna come down to who gets those advantages where they need to be. In this case, you're looking at a hyperscaling AD carry on the side of the winning formula in that Jinx. You want her to get as ahead as she can. And on the other side, you again have that hard scaling AD carry in the Xayah. You want to get those leads where you go. So these jungle starts are definitely going to determine where this match could go. Swain's going to be able to hold his own. Same with Urgot. Realistically, there shouldn't be too much jungle attention to the mid and top lanes unless they decide to go up in that direction. I expect a lot of bot lane focus. It seemed that that's exactly what happened last game. No, well, Hecarim was kind of everywhere naturally, but we'll just have to wait and see like what we see when we get into game. But I'm okay with this. This should be a better game for Team Fried Chicken. They're drafting more comfort. I've noticed too with the Urgot here and the Swain. So it's just hype.
Yeah, hype indeed. I think the Swain match, too, as you touched on a little bit, as well as being comfort, is pretty good into that Victor. It does a lot of much better job at nullifying Victor, as we saw last game. Bod kill on the Victor, who is not on the Victor this game, but Victor has so much presence and control over the lane with the shields he can get. He can manipulate the wave, but Swain can negate it really well because they play similarly behind the minions. So we're going to see a lot more mid control coming from the anti-Victor side this game. So it could open the map up a little bit earlier and a little bit more to these mid lane players. I'm a big Swain guy. I just love Swain as a champion. I think he's wonderful in a lot of comps. But I think he gets taken down really quickly by champions like Jinx, these high DPS backline AD carries that can stand outside of his ult range. So I think he has a little bit of a tough time playing into that. So it's going to be up to Rakan to close that gap for him and hold down that Jinx while he, does whatever Swain does to AD carries.
For sure. Oh wow. I will admit I have seen some pretty nasty Renata plays coming in from the likes of like Carrier yesterday,
Oof.
and oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
But it's just with the way Carrier was like piloting that champion, and just giving it so much agency. It's like that's what you want out of your support is you want to force those advantages and force the enemy team to make mistakes. The biggest thing I can point out is it wasn't even a Renata game, but it was still Carrier on Lux when he spotted out the Viego in that brush. I think it was in game 3. That little pixel of the E, it looked troll that he was missing, but no, it was the game vision. And God, what's his name? Pioshik didn't think he was seen, but then Carrier immediately goes in, flashes onto him, and forces him to make a mistake. And that's the things like that is what you want your support to do. And I'm looking forward to seeing if either Final Ninja or Earl King can do exactly that. Make your opponents make a mistake. This should be good though. Just both these, I imagine both these support players are pretty well. I know I'm hyping up support a little bit right now. I think that's just the worlds in me that they did the same thing. But I'm looking forward to it. But in the meantime, as we round out this draft, I know a certain somebody who was on the desk with us who would be down to break down what he likes and dislikes about this draft. Isn't that right, Matt?
I don't know how many times I've really just stopped it, but we'll go with that. Oh, I'm good now. Okay. Apparently they were saying they can't hear me.
Beautiful.
But anyways, I do think you're right. I do think the Renata alt is going to be a nightmare if it's hit correctly. With the auto attack champions that they have, that's gonna be pretty brutal. I did ask chat for predictions. There's only one person that predicted. It seems like it was Earl King, possibly. But he says TWF wins in 26 minutes. Do we agree that TWF in general have the stronger draft here?
Okay, I think TWF's draft. Ooh, man, that is a tough
Yeah, it is a tough
question.
one.
I don't think their draft is stronger. I think this is honestly like such a dead even draft. Both teams kind of want to just do this engage death ball kind of thing. Swain
Mhm.
Urgot, and then Hecarim Aatrox. This very, very death ball-y team fighting comps. I think it's going to be explosive. I think 26 minutes is way earlier than the game is actually going to go. I think it's going to go late. Um, just because these team comps want to scale so much. Zaya Swain, Victor Jinx. I mean, oh my god, the damage late game is crazy. I don't think one draft is actually better than the other.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm right there with you.
you agree with him, Freak?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at they have a power pick in the top lane on the side of the winning from me and the Aatrox, but then it kind of like neutralizes itself with the Hecarim. Then you have a strong jungle on the other side with the Graves, and you have Uragod, who we don't see very often, but can be pretty ridiculous if he gets ahead. Swain is just broken. That professional analytical opinion about Swain broken, and then you have two hyper carries in the bot lane and really really good engaged supports coming in for both sides. So this could be a banger just like game one was, but
Oh yeah.
who the banger goes to, it just depends.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say I know that you guys talked about it a little bit, but I want to touch on a little bit more. Kind of when we were off stream, we were talking about the Yumi and the Hecarim combination, and we thought that the Hecarim wasn't going to be picked because of the fact that the Yumi obviously was going to get banned out. Do we think that that diamond difference, that juggle difference is going to be as big as last time, or do we anticipate that closing a little bit?
Oh,
I think it's
Hecarim
gonna be
won't
close.
have nearly as much presence as he did last game in this
Mhm.
game. The Yumi was on him like past the 15-minute mark the whole rest of the game.
Yeah.
Forgot about the Sivir entirely. I think Hecarim was maybe they felt like the Hecarim was the strong part, but from a spectator perspective, it absolutely seemed like Yumi was the one kind of doing so much of the heavy lifting.
Yeah,
Okay.
I definitely agree. Because without the Yumi, he can't just run into five people, get that extra ultimate on top, and you don't have that full run in comp like you did last game.
True, true. All right, spectator delay is finished. We are gonna give our casters and our production a chance to sync up their streams in order to be on time and call it for you out. So we will return in about 2 or 3 minutes and with some game two action.
Back to the Risen recap. Today we're looking towards Risen Unstoppable, and the stream started off with a
Wake
bang.
up!
Quicksand asleep,
It's the first game of Unstoppable Risen Pramade! Come on, get up, come
but
on,
I
come
gotta
on!
say, he was smooth once he rolled into it. And our first series was Big Bongo Boys playing up against Clarity Black. For the first 20 minutes of the game, it was a bit of fighting in the top lane, but not much happened besides that.
Oh, but the engage coming out from Sejuani, but it's trading back, and Maokai actually regenerated a lot more health than I would expected there.
For Boxer Squirrel, just really those kind of impacts making a huge difference in the gold.
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to call them Triple B, BBB, or Big Bongo Boys, because they're not all same solos.
Big
Then there was a mega turnaround fight for the Big Bongo Boys after they made a big dragon attempt, but then they got challenged again for the dragon attempt, which Big Bongo Boys won the fight towards.
On this side, and there's a 3 on the other side, but I can't punch to it, and I can't punch to it. But Boxer Pro in the midst of it all, unable to get too much out, but finds the Q before his last dies, and Chicken Fried Rice to escape with good depth does not unfortunately have the W enough up to heal him, and they call comes back in the circuit, but finds one. Can she find two? No, she gets shut down, and the exchange of lives is so insane. Can Maokai find the damage retrieval back? And he does, but unfortunately, it is the ace on the side of CLB that allows them to get this dragon.
Much later in the game, Big Bongo Boys chased Akali down in the bot lane, meaning that Clarity Black had so much freedom to take that first Baron, and from that Baron, they spiraled away from a teamfight and took the victory.
The higher ranked Clarity Black, and honestly, still
find
performing
Akali.
extremely well.
Oh, and she can't get out, simply tries to ulti over the wall, but that's crucial. 4 members sent down. This is the freest Baron I've seen, and it's incredibly hard to siege anything. As we're talking about that, the dragon does in fact spawn.
This will be a very important fight. Dragon Soul on the line. Let's see.
This is so easy, and the onslaught of shadows into all of the members. We talk about Wombo on one side, we talk about Wombo on the other.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we hop right into this game. Just a quick recap. We got TFC versus TWF. TWF took game one in a not dominating fashion, but a pretty stormful passion in the very first game. So best of 5 series. We're here, ready to go. Both teams looking to make their way into finals for this Dom Pre.
Yeah, we got a little bit of cheeky emoting happening here in the bot lane so far. Once again, we had our 5-point stop that we had. Everyone was trying to check and see what was going on. Rakan did manage to get a ward into the red buff. I don't think Hecarim is gonna start that side though. I don't think Hecarim even dropped anything in terms of like wardage. So they won't really. Okay, he's gonna go to that red buff. I take it back. I thought they were gonna try something cheeky, but he has the sweeper. He will most likely sweep out this ward that's there. I don't anticipate anything otherwise. Oh, okay, yeah, they see him. But they should know who was sitting on that side. They're gonna try to do a cheeky try-push thing here. What's going on here?
This could be interesting, right? I think Zyra Khan isn't terrible early game. They do have the exhaust advantage onto the Jinx Renata that we see, and we're gonna have a little skirmish. Hecarim's got to be on high alert. Here we go. Renata walking in first. Maybe just looking for the quick double knockup. Finds a lot of damage so far. Jinsel hitting for free in the back. Ignite drops early on to Ninja, and it's an absolute win for the side of the winning Team Fried Chicken so far. But they managed to get the no flashes actually from the side of Team Fried Chicken, so not bad at all. Health bar is looking pretty even.
Yeah, you can honestly take that. You get the flash out of the Renata so she can't make that cheeky flash handshake play when she ends up getting that. Looks like a little bit of trading happening here on the top side. My direct-to-camera decided top lane's not important. Never mind, we're back. Okay.
Yeah, that's some dominance right there. Very aggressive from Argo on that Urgot, but I think he can do that, right? In this matchup, he's basically ranged versus melee, right? Aatrox has an easier time than other melee champs, but Urgot going to be pretty dominant in that lane.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that was good. And he lands the... Oh my goodness, what is that thing called? I don't know ability names. Learn from me, everyone. That is the Nevermore. Oh, I lied. Death's Hand. Wait, what? What the heck? What am I doing?
Never move.
Oh, it is the Nevermore. I was right. See? You know what? If I ever get fired from this, it's because I don't know ability names. So learn from me, Twitch chat. Know ability names before you even think you know what you're talking about when it comes to a video game.
Hey, whatever works.
Ooh,
but we have an engage come here from bot lane. They can do this over and over, right? The Zyra Khan. Errol has so much range for the engage on this Rakan, and Jinx can't really move ever, right? She's got no mobility, so it's going to be free engages across the board. So keep an eye out for that, especially in these late game team fights. We also see Hecarim hovering topside so heavily.
Does he
here.
see him? Oh, no, he doesn't.
Popping Ghost, and here we go. Argru dropping low, has to flash out of that Aatrox W. Loses a lot of health and loses this wave position. Sign me up. Not quite able to hold it as Jackie Chan is there to help push it in.
Wow, and we got a Risa coming in from the bot lane. They got their other long sword coming in for the Xayah. Good old Jinsel trying to get started on that. Actually, good question. What are you going to build first? I think in this case, you're actually fine to build a Gale Force. You don't probably need to build Kraken Slayer. It could honestly go either way. I will say, I wouldn't be surprised about whichever war. We got a good hook onto the Victor, and good lord, that damage. Wow.
This is why I'm such a Swain player. I feel like these trades, they look even, right? Here we go. But Swain gets his stacks on his passive over and over, gaining more and more max health as the game goes on. And before you know it, he's an absolute monster. And the whole time you're thinking, why is he so strong? It's because of those short trades. So as a Swain player, I love to see it. The bot kill. Do me justice here, baby.
Out of curiosity, do you prefer Electrocute or Unconquer on him?
Oh, Conquer for sure. Those long extended fights with Conquer fully active is so good. But you got to be sure to weave in the auto attacks while you're weaving in, because you don't actually have that many ways to deal damage to stack Conquer quickly. So you got to weave autos between your abilities for those extra stacks.
Okay. Yeah, because most of the ones I've seen so far in all of the leagues, actually, we had a couple Swains in Draft League. We would see Electrocute as the most popular one. So just curious what your opinion was. And I like asking people when they're like a fan of a certain champion, like what their opinion is on like specific builds, rune pass, so on and so forth. Which actually brings me to my next one. What are you expecting build-wise? I feel like the play-by-play usually ask these questions, but like, what are you expecting build-wise from the Swain? I'm personally thinking Leandry's coming in with maybe Rylai's followed with a Zhonya's, or Leandry's Zhonya's Rylai's. Are you thinking something like that?
I think you nailed it. I think, yeah, that is the decision, right? Whether you want to go Rylai's or Zhonya's first. The general rule of thumb I follow is definitely Laundry's first. It's just too good on Swain, right? And then you want to go stopwatch. And if you can hold on to the stopwatch, you can
Ooh,
go
nice.
Rylai's first because you have it right. But hang on just a second. Bodkill does get
It's level
stunned up, and
6.
there's the Victor ult. 6 difference coming in big. But we got Jackie Chan standing right behind him. Quality player forced to pop Ghost. Probably just going to run out
There's
of this one. But
3
Earl's
people
gonna
here.
Stop him in his tracks. What can Hecarim do besides get knocked up? Swainer coming in too. Maybe Hecarim actually falls instead of quality player. He's so sad about this one. Two flashes finds him down. Quality player maybe getting a bit too aggressive. Bodkill popping ult now to walk it forward onto quality player. And there's 2 kills for the side of TWF. Or TFC, excuse me.
See, I told too many T's. But wow, that's actually really well done coming in from the side. The roam from Earl King especially was huge, and getting Atrix under this tower is big. If he was 6, he definitely kills him here. That's a free kill for the Urgot, but it's all good. But to highlight the roam coming in for Earl King to be there to match the Hecarim and just it's so nice. And the 2 kills going over. Well, you would have liked both kills to either go on to one of them to go to the graves, or both onto the Swain in this case, but you'll take it. First blood over to TFC, and they're in the races, especially with the almost 1.5K gold lead.
What a lead to start off the game, right? I mean, this time last game, it was a bit more even, but we didn't see a blowout 0-2 just quite like that. I like what you said about Earl there, Roman. I've got to give credit to where it's due. But back to what we were talking about build-wise. We'll get you to some questions here. So on the side of TWF, right, they have this Jinx in the backline. Do you think, is Jinx going Kraken Slayer, or can she go Gale Force this game, do you think?
I think for the sake of the Urgot and the Swain question mark, because Swain can get a little tanky as well, I think you go the Kraken Slayer here. Me personally, that's what I would do. Kraken Slayer into Phantom Dancer, then follow that into IE, for that really obnoxious power spike. We'll have to wait and see what she does. I wouldn't be upset if she goes Gale Force for the extra mobility, and good hook onto the Victor. Wow.
You love to see it. This is that Swain matchup I was talking about in Champsless, right? He has so much agency over Victor, which is so uncommon to see. Victor's just been like kind of that guy in mid for such a long time now because of his E, the cooldown and the range. But Swain does it a little bit better, minus the burst damage to follow himself up. Look at the minimap here. We got some jungle pressure around this dragon, yeah?
Yeah, we got a little bit coming on. I think they want to get this Mountain Drake get started on the potential whatever dragon so it will be. I like to do a little bit of a fun little guessing game when after second Drake falls, so we'll save that for a little bit later. I'm actually going to take over to the Swain. I know we're talking about a lot, but I'm going to take over to the Swain. He has 11 soul fragments right now and has 132 bonus health. And that... Okay. I don't know. I don't know how much more I can handle 80 carry stealing objectives, especially after yesterday. Just Guma Yushi was absolutely nuts.
Could you imagine we see that in some of today's games? We get a Jinx, Rocket, Dragon Steel, or Balance Steel. That'd be crazy. But oh my god, I would love to see it. I mean, it's Dom Pre, right? Kind of not anything can happen, but we got a lot of stuff going down.
You got a lot of stuff going down, and looks like Rakan's looking to threaten. He does have the quickness, so you have to be a little cautious here in terms of like the engage power that they have. Renata doesn't have 6 yet, which is why they're backing off. They don't want to. And we have a Rift Herald here happening on the top side, and Swain is just walking into them like, yeah, I'm fine, I can do this.
I mean, it's pretty aggressive, Mr. Bodkill. Popping Ghost to weave around as well. Gonna have to get these stacks going. Conquer fully proc through. This man's not gonna die, but at least Sinners will. Gets flipped back by Grow. Sign me up. Looking to take down Swain. Flash, not quite enough. He's so sad about that one, and it's just looking doomed for TWF as of now. Earl roamed up just as he did last time. Not there quite in time, though. Crazy fights going on this early in, Freak.
Wow, that was amazing. I actually thought that Bode Kill was kind of running it a little bit, just walking in there. But the Urgot and the Graves kind of come down and like, yep, we got your back. He pops the R. He sustains for so long. Yep, he's building the Leander. He's right there. He sustains for so long. It's pretty much all his health back, and Graves is looking to potentially steal. He doesn't have Smite, and I don't know if he knows. Okay. You know, he gets Smite. But the Rift Herald does go over to TWF. They're going to look to drop that. Most likely, if you want to get the Jinx ahead, I think they would drop it bot lane. That's just me personally. You drop it bot lane, get a couple of kills down there, secure that dragon, go on and so on and so forth. But a tower plate will fall over to TFC. And they're maintaining this gold lead of just over 1,000. I'm cool with that. They're going to get to almost 2K right now with these tower plates falling all over the map. This is a much better start. You hit the nail on the head saying this is a much better start than the last game, and I'm really looking forward to this. And Hecarim is gonna look to most likely gank this Swain, who's way further up than he needs to, especially with no vision, no flash, and yeah, he's just gonna kind of die here.
Yeah, no ult as well. You said it right. He's got nothing in his pocket. He's up way too far. And that's something to grasp onto if you're TWF, right? You take the little wins where you can get them. Oh, this is perfect too. They got Herald, right?
Yeah, they got Herald, so I think they'll just drop it here, break open some tower plates. It won't kill the tower naturally, but they'll get at least 2 plates off of it. Boom! Actually, almost 3. That was actually kind of random. Actually, I lied. I looked back. Yeah, it was almost 3. But that's good. They'll break open that tower, and they'll just walk away, get that gold. They split among 3 people and just walk away. So it looks like there are 2 tower plates left. I know there was like barely the first plate still there, so I think that went. I think all 3 went down. So a lot of gold going into all 3 of their pockets. But Swain has finished the boots of sorcery, and that could be a little obnoxious for some of this magic pen that he's going to try to do over the course of this game. I'm kind of terrified of this Swain. And what is? I actually pause. Urgot, what do you use? Urgot building? Does Urgot build Eclipse now? I actually don't know what he builds anymore because it's been honestly so long since I've seen him.
I'd be so surprised if he built Eclipse. Maybe it's just for laning phase and then you build it into something else later. But he finds the flip into the ult and sign me up. Drops like nothing ever happened. Literally, if you blinked your eyes at home, you missed that one. That was a great little flip there from Argru.
Yeah, he outplayed the crap out of him. I don't think he was expecting the flip under tower. He flips him, presses R, gets the extra damage from the tower shot, melts him a little bit more, and boom, dead. Really good kill onto the Urgot, and sign me up as once again struggling just like he was last game. But this time it's in an arguably a much harder matchup, I would say. I would say that Urgot into Aatrox definitely goes more heavily in Urgot's favor, unlike, the flip side, which was Olaf Mundo. That was just unlucky, I think, just mild disrespect to Mundo's damage from the last game, but this time around, we have the plated steel caps fitting finish for the Urgot, so Urgot's in a good spot. He's pretty comfortable with where he is. We got some moves coming down to the bot lane. The mid laners are going to meet in the river, actually. Graves is coming around, and they're going to cut off the Victor. Okay, or not. Man, they were thinking about it for a moment there.
They were. The thought definitely crossed their mind. They wanted him, but they're more than happy to just take the pressure for now. I feel like I had deja vu of last game. They just want this dragon pressure, and they're going to do so, but with a little bit of aggression mixed in there early. Said, listen, Necrom, back it up, buddy. This is my jungler's red buff. You can go elsewhere, and we're going to take Dragon 2 while we're at it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
I actually really like the respect that's being given over from from the Urgot. He's not walking too far up. He's letting the lane push into them. Earl King kind of in a weird spot. Oh, this is going to be some juicy damage.
Yeah, but Swain now making the all-in. Both ghosts pop, both flashes available as well. Light Swain, no flash, so he is going to get out of there safe and sound. Quality player. Well done. It's an even trade. Swain did use ult for... quality player did use flash and ult as well. Now he has nothing on the table. And they give Dragon over as well. We missed your little game. I think it is going to be the Infernal Soul. Why can I not tell right now? Am I crazy?
Yes, the Infernal Soul.
Okay. Nailed that. All right, well... Yeah, so big plays there. They know quality player has no flash, no ghost now, so he is going to be a target for sure from this Graves. We're going to have to see how they play around that. But I like what you said about respect, right? They're okay taking it a little slower. They know they have weaker early games with this Victor and Jinx, so they're looking to take this game long if they can while maintaining that gold lead, not gold lead, minimal gold difference that they have going on right there.
For sure, and the gold league isn't as big now as it was. It's just barely under 1,000 gold coming in. As we're about 14 minutes in the game, tower plates have fallen, and no towers have fallen at the moment, and we got some potential posturing happening for a fight here in the bot lane. But overall, they're going to keep farming. Jinx has gone the Kraken Slayer, which I figured would happen. Xayah went the Gale Force, which I actually like that. I like Gale Force on did I say Kaisa or Xayah? Xayah, either way, Xayah. I like Gale Force on Xayah more than I do Kraken Slayer in this instance. You really don't have to worry about being too mobile when you have the ultimate that can dodge pretty much anything from, that's hard to engage on their side. We got a little bit of cheekiness happening on the top side of the river, and Aatrox is coming down and is aware of this. They're going to collapse onto these two members.
Yeah, they need to get out. Not sure they must be aware the Aatrox are coming. They have Earl on the Rakan rotating up as well, maxed by Final Ninja, but no fights happening for now. One thing I want to touch on as Earl smacks Renata around just a little bit. Look at the CS difference in topside. We were giving Argro props to this good matchup and that kill he got, but he's down 50 CS.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was down that far. That's just giving over maybe potentially too much respect to the Aatrox, because he doesn't want to die to the Aatrox to let him be obnoxious. He's waiting to, I imagine, max those shotgun knees, which he does have them maxed out. So I think that's what he was waiting on, was something like that to be able to take these extended trades against Aatrox. Because you have to wait for Aatrox to realistically miss one of his Qs before you can even like fathom trying to trade with him, because that third Q does so much damage. But the Herald will be taken by Team Fried Chicken, and they will take that probably. They can really put it anywhere they want. The only logical option is probably the mid lane. That's 2600 health. Actually, bot lane's at 2000 health, so that's a good target for breaking open and getting Zion on the map and anywhere else on the map. I'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Time.
I'd love to see them move Zaya off the map. She is very strong with that Gale Force completed. A lot of CS in her pocket as well. She's going to be kind of a monster and the main damage dealer of TFC later in this game. Rotating bot lane, Jinx especially out of this bot now is going to be crucial. They're trying to break out of the laning phase as soon as possible. Get the CS. If you look at your scoreboard once again, ladies and gentlemen, CS difference in mid is pretty big too. Bod kill going up pretty heavily on quality player. And that's just how that matchup goes. But they want to break Victor out of that ASAP so he can get some money in his back pocket.
They're gonna rotate some vision down towards the bot side. Victor has gone down to the bot side, and Swain will match that. Or he's just gonna push a lane and back. Probably the Seeker's Arm Guard is on. He's gonna get his boots, 1300 gold. Finish either one. Or he's gonna get a needlessly large rod and immediately ignore finishing his boots. You know, I respect it. To get that Shadow Flame early so you can blow up some of these squishy members. As we've seen, Victor, when he gets his items, can be very, very, very threatening, especially to the Zaya and arguably Rakan too. Go ahead.
Yeah.
There's some vision on the other side. And oh, sorry. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh, that's okay. I was going to touch on what you said. I like it. Victor, he's trying to finish that Shadow Flame before this Dragon fight, if he can. Not sure how much gold he has in his pocket. I lied. Nope, not enough. Probably not going to finish it before the Drag fight, but that rod is going to be crucial for him, blowing up Zaya and Rakan the best he can. Because those are kind of the main targets, right? Not necessarily Rakan, but the Zaya is going to be crucial. And Graves, Urgot as well. Urgot is so weak, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have his mythic right now, and I don't think either of them will be coming up for this. They're gonna fight over the scuttle and lose the scuttle because he smited early. 3 HP, wow. That's actually so unlucky. I have a friend who I play games with pretty regularly. He tells me, and I quote, all junglers know how to do is lose 50-50s. And sometimes I agree with him. We gotta fight here in the mid lane, though.
Yeah, great swing grab into this Hecarim. They have no way to heal up off of that unless you go take a camp somewhere, so that drag pressure is heavily favored towards the side of TFC. Rift Herald dropped, though, for TFC. If they're looking to take it mid, gonna have to walk it in. They have a lot of support for it with Zaya Rakan. They can create a lot of space, but a Ghost from quality player is gonna start off our fight as we have Aatrox in the flank, but he's going to hop over that wall. They've now gained drag pressure, but we got Lee Sanders dropping low to the side of Jackie Chan. Earl looking to find him, finds a charm, and he will drop. Earl finds that first kill, starting us off. Sign me up as well, doing so much damage, but if you look at the top side, we got dominance coming from TFC all across the board. Jackie Chan looking to get taken down, will maybe eventually finally do so. That's a kill for Perky. Even a 2 for 2, I do believe, but the drag pressure is a bit mixed still, no?
Critically, 2 kills go over to the Jinx. Like, the fight was so split. That's the weird part of this whole thing. Oh, we're flashing onto her.
Holy smokes, Andrew flashes in and takes Jinx down in just a second. You blink and you miss it twice now. That's 2 kills he's gotten that quick. Sign me up says it's my turn to blow somebody up, and he's not able to do so. Just quite actually takes down Argro. Lives, but the Renata passive takes him down, and he is going to fall to bot kill. Renata now the last man standing. Swain looking to take him down. Has flash for the flash, never moved. Not going to need it, though, I imagine, as Final Ninja does not have boots completed. Time will tell for this one. We might have a bit of a walk down as we see Hecarim is making his way down. There's that seeing eye, going to find that slow. Look at Hecarim on the top side, not able to do so. Earl, good on you for being there. Oh my goodness. Big fight for TFC, I believe.
Right as I was getting ready to say too, Jinx critically got 2 kills over the course of that, so she's got her 2 items, while Xayah does not. So Jinx reaching one of those critical points, all she needs is the IE, and then she's immediately a threat to the entire lead that TFC has. The gold is still about 2K in favor of Team Fried Chicken, so I'll give him that credit. And Earl is in a weird spot. All right, don't be there, Bucko.
Earl can play it however he wants, man. It's like he's got dasher, he's got move speed, he's got Xayah to jump back to, and he's got a quality player to jump on. There's the never move coming after the Bracan CC. That is a dead Victor. No flash, no ghost. You can't be up that far, buddy.
Yeah, he was definitely way too far off, and man, you can't be doing that, dog. I'm gonna go Randy on you from American Idol. Come on, dog. You can't be doing that. Hecarim also in a weird spot, but they're doing the Baron in the process. They don't know, but they're gonna see this with the Renata. I don't think you even do this unless they get a pick here.
Final Ninja gets caught. Bodkill being the front man, center of attention. Big Renata finds a lot of damage, not enough to kill anybody quite. Final Ninja drops low. Look at that old snipe from downtown finds Final Ninja. And that's going to be that Baron fight that they wanted, not necessarily resulting in the Baron, but they picked up some kills, but it's not over quite yet. Knockup barely misses onto Lee Sanders, now looking for the re-engage, coming from a 3-man fear on the huge. Rocky coming big, walk Perky in the back, ladies and gentlemen, damage coming out. Kraken Slayer proccing our group drops, now getting excited, looking to take down Earl as well. He's 1 HP, but the Zap not able to get there. Only 1 kill. What a fight. TWF making a name.
Sweet. Oh, I guess they're just gonna keep fighting here.
They don't care what they're doing. Bodkill finds a zone. It's gonna be big, but Jin still dropping low. Victor, quality player, doing so much.
Oh no,
but Perky gets run and drops. This fight's all over the place.
How do you even break down what happened there? I mean, we'll start at the beginning. So it looked like that Team Fried Chicken wanted to go to the Baron, just wanted to, I think the goal here was to force them to come to them, and they were successful. They get the pick onto the Renata with the success of landing of the Urgot ultimate, which is a little tilting, especially with you thought you were out and Urgot's like, yeah, psych, and then you just died. But after that was weird. Oh, they're engaging.
They're just not hesitant at all to hit the go button. Earl especially is just so excited to get in. Bodkill too following up a little bit late, but isn't enough. Just gonna pop the ult. Quality player drops. God has to get that kill to revive. No, sir. That Rylai's makes it impossible to get away. Bodkill finds another 2 kills. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the scoreboard. Look at how many kills Bodkill has. He's 8-1.
Oh, wow. Now that right there should be the Baron. I was getting ready to also talk about, how the flip side of that other fight, but Swain with those 2 items, the Leandries, the Rylai's, just instant slows, but they're going to try and fight for this still. Jinx is really strong, so a 3v4 or the potential 3v5 is possible. I just don't think they're going to... this is going to be really close.
They're going for it. Augur ult misses, unfortunately. Earl in the back peeling, but Jackie Chan is the main focus. Sign me up, drops low. Augur ult did not miss. I'm a liar. Will drop, and that fear is going to be disaster for the side of TFC.
Hecarim's leaving. Oh, this is free. They just get this then. Ooh, okay. That was close. Okay, the Baron does go over, but Jinx is here, and they're all low. They could potentially, fight this.
Argro is high health, but the blue team is back and ready to go. Argro is going to drop. They have to get out of there. He stopped a quality player with a flash.
They stopped the recall!
And he's going to find himself a kill. Earl gets out, but his Jin Cell AD carry does fall.
Oh, that was so chaotic. I mean, you get the Baron, you're being pinched off on 2 sides, and I guess they're not done because Hecarim's dead here.
They never are done. Bodkill is so aggressive in these fights, but he's a monster. He can do whatever he wants. Rylai's makes it so hard to get away. Takes down Ninja on the Renata, and that's it. Jackie Chan flashing after quality player on the bot side. No flash, no ghost on that. Victor does get taken down before that's done. Pop. Perky, now the 1-man standing, but wait, there's an Aatrox right on top of Bodkill. Earl's here to help him out with a flash. Not to he does Jinx with the ult from across the map. This game is insane. Jackie Chan, nice snipe with the ult. I'm losing it, freak.
I am honestly losing it too. This is so cool. I honestly could not, I cannot believe just how intense this game has gotten, and they're going to try to clean up the Aatrox here, won't be able to do that. The Baron buff should break open this tower, and they're going to set up for this next dragon, which is the Infernal Soul. I did say in 15 minutes that the Soul will be important, and here we are. at probably around 25, 40 something is when we will have that dragon up. Ah, man, this game has gotten way too out of control for TWM. They lost track of like how strong Swain has gotten, which who has a Magi's now. He's BMing the enemy team by building a Magi's, and the Zonias is done too. So Swain's a monster. I don't know how else to put it. Just broken, just like I said in draft.
That's all there is to say, man. He's actually a wild animal on this rift. 10-1? Are you kidding me? You never build Medjai's on Swain. It's too risky because you're the center of attention. You're the one being focused. But Bodkill does not give us a damn. But
Okay.
Earl probably should get himself out of there. Well done, Bodkill. Not afraid to walk forward at all, Argru. Bringing up this wave. They got to wait for it, or they can back off for this dragon.
Nice.
As you
Just
said, Soul
wait
is
for the
important.
dragon.
Finds and never move on to Jinx. And that's all she wrote. Ladies and gentlemen, Earl with a two-man charm as well. Bodkill far under tower. Does not care. Never move. And the eyeball takes him. Look at Bodkill go. But also look at Lee Sanders in the back. Dropping low. Not quite enough. Dragon trying to help out as well. Not taking him down. And it's over.
Yeah, I mean, Swain literally ran in 1v4, gets 2 kills. Well, he doesn't get 2 because we helped secure 2 of those kills. I mean, on the flip side, you have Victor Split pushing, trying to get some gold back into his team. Uragut is going to stop this unless he gets the tower in time.
Hops goes to try to get it, finds himself out of that sun, but quality player dropping so quick, dude. I mean, he got the tower, right? I guess that's all he was up there for. He's not worth much gold. Honestly, worth, I think.
That's kind of worth. I would definitely say that's worth, but it looks like we're about to have another death here as Renata's just getting melted. If he had Demonic Embrace, she just kind of dies there. Bro, you cannot 1v5 this.
He has ult in a couple seconds. I think he is, and I think he's going to try for it. Finding a lot of healing. Conquer, fully proc, tries to find Perk. He does so. Finds Lee Sinners as well. Sign me up, you're next, baby. Swain is full health after taking down 2 members. He could do 3 more, no problem. Although his ult did end, they waited it out properly. But Inhib now will fall for it, as well as the mid tower. Freak is it? Oh my god.
Teammates be damned. He literally walked in 1v3, kills 2 by himself. That's just how strong he is. And he still has the Zanyas. I just have to take over and see how much AP he has. He's only 400 AP, but it feels like he's sweating so much harder. He's melting through these health bars. Broken. Swain, broke. Riot, fix it. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm with you right there. This character is absolutely taking over the game. He's doing whatever he wants. He has so many tools in his back pocket to delay his own death, and his team can be there in no time at all, thanks to Earl. But they're engaging on a Jackie Chan. Going for the last fight. It's the final stand, ladies and gentlemen. They take down Lee Sanders.
Oh my
Jackie
God.
Chan still full HP, by the way. Swain has ult back up from 2 seconds ago. Is going to pop it, finds 3, explodes with the ult proc, and they fall like flies all dead. A triple kill for body kill.
Okay, just that actually gave me memories of like when Showmaker played it in Gen G series. That's exactly what that reminded me of. But they're going to take game 2. We now have a series on our hands. It's tied 1-1. That's exciting. I'm excited. We are in for a banger series. I'm looking forward to this so much. Goodness gracious. I don't know.
Very
how to
different
take
than
that.
game 1 at this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely different game 1, completely different. And this was like it was like the other game was like close for a while, but this was like a stomp.
Yeah.
Absolute stomp. Wow, that was nuts. And I hope we get 3 more of those.
We shall see. I'm wondering if it's the Yumi diff at that point, right? I don't know. I don't
would
know if
think
getting
so.
that out made a big difference. But also, just a little news from the other series. SDC Death Cards did 3-0 OE in order
Whoa.
to check their mark in the finals of Dominant for next week. So whoever wins this will be going up against SDC Death Cards for next week.
Okay, nice. You hear that either team here? I mean, you're gonna probably watch the bot, but you hear that?
That's huge.
That's what
I
your
mean,
date is. Yeah, I know, right?
Dude, a 3-0 in semis? Holy smokes.
Yeah, but the Team Fried Chicken showed why they are the first seed with as much agency as Bodkill was giving throughout the entirety of that game. And I was absolutely amazed with like how hard he would go into like 1v2s, 1v3s, even a 1v4 at one point and lived. That one death was like at the beginning of the game. And from there he's just like, yep, I'm not dying anymore, and just takes over. It's just absolute insanity. Well done by Boat Kill.
I am just gonna. I think we're gonna throw it to
I
a quick
mean-
break because teams are getting ready. We can chat about it after. I know I cut off PhD. I think his internet's a little bit laggy still, but we'll throw it to a quick break. Before that, I am just gonna say Risen One is streaming pre-made Rampage finals on that channel as well. So have both streams up side by side if you want. But in the meantime, while the teams are getting ready, we'll cut to a quick break. We'll come back in about a minute or two and break it down a little bit further before we get into draft.
Choked on both sides. It's like we either have to fight or run, and they chose to take the fight. Victor came in, unfortunately falls to the Sivir, which Sivir did a really good flash over the Gravitum.
Yeah.
Really well done for her to avoid getting CC'd there and pick up the first blood for herself. And now they have over a 1k gold lead, especially with all of those assists going to pretty much everyone else. And
Oh my god.
look at some of these gold leads. So we have an 800 gold lead coming in for the 80 carry of Perky. And from there, it's pretty even, more or less across the board. The Mundo being almost 1,000 gold up, which is, you know, naturally. He's just been kind of winning every single trade. Like right now, like Olaf will not win a trade if he takes a fight. Yeah, he might just die here.
I think you might be onto something. He's gonna have to
Give a deal per se. It's just at this point used for breaking towers, which is exactly what it did. Quality's gonna get dove here.
He has flash and ult to try to outplay it, but it's going to be difficult. Finds 2 with the shockwave, now running low on health. But Bodkill not going to drop thanks to his Seraphine, and that is a dead Orianna, unfortunately.
Is Hecarim dead?
Arthur finds it. Wait a minute, that is huge.
Wow, he literally had 4 people on him, and he just kind of walked it off like it was not. Almost died, but basically walked it off like it was nothing. The MF ult was huge to save him. That was crazy, and looks like Olaf might be run down here by the Victor. Victor is stronger than him.
Yeah, he tries to make a name for himself, saying, "Listen, come here, buddy, let me get you," and he might actually do it. Oh my god.
We'll have to wait and see. And Graves is here in the mid lane.
Yeah, they're looking for a play on Perky. They have Lee Sinners there to back him up. Now engaging on this Graves, looking to take him down quickly. Bullet time doing so much damage onto everybody's Seraphine combo.
Close.
Dropping low. Shockwave finds 2. Not enough to do anything meaningful in the fight, though. Argru coming in hot. They're running out. This is their move speed coming into play here. Dodging quality players.
They're going to drop a ward, and they see it now. Your Orianna's not here. Her ultimate's not up yet, so this is possible for a steal. They're not going to go for it.
It's so difficult. I mean, Orianna was late. They could maybe go for it now, and they are. Shockwave finds 2. That's on a bot kill. Zone is in the middle, and Argru dropping so low as well. Bot kill and Mundo can take it down. Graves doing what he can from the back line.
Nice.
It's just not enough. There's steam rolling all over the side.
We start that herself, and here we go. Then we have a fight brewing. Oh, Victor might get caught out here. Oh, no, he's not.
Sivir 6 items, so keep an eye on her in the back. Lee Sanders getting a little too aggressive. TFC not afraid to walk in here. Dragon dropping down. Does go over to the winning formula. That's 2. Shockwave. Soul on the backs now. Hecarim running through the team. Perky in the back. Hitting onto Argru. He drops so fast. Wild kill. Gets stunned up, and there's the Victor ult. 6 difference coming in big. But we got Jackie Chan standing right behind him. Quality player forced to pop Ghost. Probably just going to run out of this one.
There's 3 people here.
Stop him in his tracks. What can Hecarim do besides get knocked up? Swander coming in too. Maybe Hecarim actually falls instead of quality player. He's so sad about this one. 2 flashes, finds him down. Quality player maybe getting a bit too aggressive. Bot kill popping ult now. So walk it forward onto quality player. And there's space. But a Ghost from quality player is going to start off our fight as we have Aatrox in the flank. But he's going to hop over that wall. They've now gained drag pressure, but we got Lee Sanders dropping low to the side of Jackie Chan. King looking to find him, finds a charm, and he will drop. King finds that first kill, starting us off. Sign me up as well, doing so much damage, but if you look at the top side, we got dominance coming from TFC all across the board. Jackie Chan looking to get taken down, will maybe eventually finally do so. Is a bit mixed still, no?
Critically, 2 kills go over to the Jinx. Like, the fight was so split. That's the weird part of this whole thing. Oh, we're flashing onto her.
Holy smokes, Argru flashes in and takes Jinx down in just a second. You blink and you miss it twice now. That's 2 kills he's gotten that quick. Sign me up says it's my turn to blow somebody up, and he's not able to do so. Just Queen actually takes down Argru. Lives, but the do so. Just Queen actually takes down Argru. Lives, but the Renata passive takes him down, and he is going to fall to bot kill. Renata now the last man standing. Swain looking to take him down. Has flash for the flash, never moved. Not going to need it, though, I imagine, as Final Ninja does not have boots completed. Time will tell for this one. We might have a bit of a walk down as we see Hecarim is making his way down. There's that seeing eye. Going to find that slow. Look at Hecarim on the top side.
throw a Randy on you from American Idol. Come on, dog. You can't be doing that. And Hecarim also in a weird spot, but they're doing the Baron in the process.
Welcome back to the semifinals of Risen Pre-Made Dominant with a score of 1-1 with TFC taking that game.
You have a
Teams are
cat.
just I do have a cat. He decided to jump up and instead of knocking down everything off my desk, I decided to just grab him, said he can't do that, and now he's just chilling. But very different game this time. I know that teams are just remaking draft as we speak because there's a little issue. What do we anticipate seeing this time? What do we think picks and bans? Because that was a completely different game.
Very much really different game, and I hate to cut you off, but they just started draft as you said that, so...
There we go. We'll go over there then, and DBZ can talk about it as they're banning.
Yes. All right. So far we have a couple of the same bands coming in. You know, the Fiora has never been available, neither has the Maokai, nor the Caitlyn. So those have not changed at all. I expect the same bands to come across. Now, will they adapt and ban Yumi and Swain this time? No, they're actually not going to. Oh, TWF has banned Swain.
Ah.
Oh, okay. I imagine the Yumi will also stay on the ban table as they don't want them to have that as well. And yep, there it goes. So adaptations coming in. So this time it leaves the Silas open. They insta-lock the Jinx. I mean, it wasn't bad last game. It was actually being played pretty well. It's just the Swain was being Swain, and he just ran her over. So I'm fine with that as a first pick coming in. In terms of what TFC is going to do to adapt to that, now the Silas is open, so that could open that up potentially to come in for Bodekill. They're going to stick onto this Graves. It looks like I'm actually surprised. Like, it hasn't been doing bad, but I would prefer to see something else personally. But I'm not the coach or their draft master, so I will just let them, do whatever they please. In this case, we are going to now see what their next pick is going to be. And what is it going to be? Come on, TFC. What you going to do? What you going to do? Okay, they're going to probably stick with the Rakan. Okay, they lock in the Rakan. The Rakan was very pivotal to their success in that last game, so I'm actually pretty content with them seeing that. Now, what do you have for an answer? You have all of the enchanters still open. Yeah, I could definitely see that. A good counter pick into the Rakan, so that way, Polymorph when he does something stupid, and they're going to go ahead and pick that up. Will they stick with the same 80 carry? We'll have to see. And TWF will round out the draft by picking the Aatrox again. Now, do you pick the Urgot again? Because it played pretty well into the Aatrox, I will say.
Oh.
That really nutty tower dive that happened. They're hovering Syndra because of a meme. Prod said in client chat. Will they actually lock it in? I doubt it. They could prove me wrong, actually. But I would like to see the Syndra pick. Would you like to see the Syndra pick, PhD? Oh, no, they baited us.
I think the Aatrox pick was so smart, I think, because they have Graves Rakan, right? They pick Aatrox. So last time they ran the Urgot into Aatrox, so they want to get themselves that nice counter pick. But if they pick Urgot, that means that TWF can ban the Xayah, which breaks up the Xayah Rakan. I think the Aatrox pick there was absolutely genius. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I think they ban Urgot here, and it kind of forces you into another matchup that goes into the Aatrox, which there aren't that many per se. As I'm looking over the champions right now, I guess you could pick Jax. Jax is a pretty good pick. Mordekaiser, maybe. Less than Mordekaiser. But I do expect to find the Urgot band to come in here. If not, then they must be Yep, there it is. I am not surprised if once that goes through. Okay. So Urgot comes off the table, so it forces you to pick something else. I'm kind of mentally going over what's left. I mean, you could go, like I said, mention Jax, Mordekaiser. Shen is still open. I do like Shen. I would not pick Gwen. Gwen is horrible, but we did see from Kingen play the Camille, and I think Camille would be a good pick here, especially with how immobile Lulu and Jinx are. You want someone to get on top of them. I'd be completely down with that as a pick, and we'll just have to find out if that's what they decide to go for here. So we have Wukong Viego banned on the other side for Team Fried Chicken. And what are we going to do for our final ban here? What you gonna do? Maybe they pick another power pick that they've had all series. There's really not much else actually they can ban. They already banned everything from the last game, so yeah, Ornn will be the final ban. What do they decide to counterpick for here? So we have the first pick of the second phase of picks going over to Team Fried Chicken. As you can notice, in all three games, sides have not changed. Sides have not changed. No. That's up to them. I mean, they decide, like, hey, we don't care which side we pick. We'll get the counter pick somewhere. And Gnar is actually a good answer into the Aatrox. Didn't interestingly see that much Gnar over the course of the end of the knockout stage for Worlds, which I find that to be very interesting because he has that range advantage. He's just all around, just really real good pick, good engage with the Mega Gnar ultimate, and you top that with the Rakan and just deal out mega deeps coming in. But TWF, what is going to be your mid lane pick or jungle pick here? Do you stick to the Hecarim? I mean, the Hecarim wasn't a bad pick. I would argue that it was pretty good. Cassiopeia to stop any form of mobility. Okay, I like that. And Fiddle potentially being the pick here in the jungle. Is it potentially because they like to hover? Okay, so this will round out the comp for the winning formula. I'm down with it. I actually really like Cassiopeia as the counter pick to a lot of this mobility. Miasma is just way too good. But now here they go hovering the Cinder again. Are they actually gonna do it? Uh, uh, uh. They're baiting us. They're baiting us.
Oh,
We're waiting with bated breath. They have 2 seconds to decide. Are you going to do the Syndra? Yeah, they're gonna do it. Okay, so they lock in the Syndra.
Oh, wow.
That will round out the comp here. So, interesting.
I actually really like the Cinder pick. I think it
Yeah,
does
I
well
like
in the
it too.
Cassio. The self peel with the E, is
Scatter
actually
Weave.
great. It nullifies Cassiopeia as an aggressive laner. I think that's great.
I just blinked out really bad because I'm like analyzing the draft right now, and I'm like, okay. So my apologies. I'm my ADHD brain. So we back. I do like the both of these, and definitely some more adaptations coming in. They kind of stick with the AD carries being the same. They both did had a pretty decent showing. Jinx obviously a better showing than the Zaya did. I think Zaya didn't get her first kill until like almost the last minute of the game, but she was able to set up some of the CC to keep them, which you kind of want that. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But on the back end, we have someone watching on the side who goes by the name of Matt. Let's get you back up in here and see what the dealio is with this draft.
Honestly, I don't even know what the draft is. Draft diff right now to me. The other stream was starting up, so I was just making sure everything was okay. Talk to me a little bit about it because I missed it, and I'm sure some people in chat definitely missed it as well.
For sure. So on the side of the winning formula, they draft Aatrox first, followed by the Fiddle in the jungle. Then you have Cassiopeia in the mid lane, and then the bot lane, the Jinx, Lulu. On the other side, you have Gnar in the top lane to counter the Aatrox, Graves in the jungle, the Cinder in the mid lane, and Zaya Rakan in the bot lane.
I just realized that I don't actually have the draft link, so that's probably also didn't help me. All right. So thinking about what you just said for draft, what do you anticipate happening? I see Fiddle is either a hit or miss whenever I see it, right? The Fiddle, if you're in vision, kind of screws you up in general.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the Rakan and the Zaya worked right last time. So, I mean, it wasn't the people that carry the game, but it also wasn't the worst. So I think, I mean, just being honest, just from what I see. But yeah, I think both games as well was a pretty big top lane diff. So what do you think about the Gnar going into Aatrox?
Me personally, I really like the Gnar into the Aatrox. It gives you that range advantage, and Gnar has this thing I didn't even know where his attack range scales with levels, so he kind of automatically will always have the range advantage over the Aatrox the entirety of the game when he decides to go to that split push angle. Now it kind of depends on who obviously gets the upper hand. Fiddle is not the best at ganking per se. Graves is just much better with how mobile he is. So this could be a kind of a lopsided jungle game for a little bit, but Fiddle's really good in the team fight aspect, which we highlight all the time at the beginning of these games of just how much these teams like to team fight with each other and set themselves up for really good team fights. And just the way that these teams have drafted, this could be very, very interesting.
I think that wards are definitely going to be very big, of course, goes without saying, right? The Fiddle needs
Mhm.
to be seen anytime, TFC really needs to get that vision score up, really needs to be able to see them. I think that that's going to be a game changer for them if they want to take the series up 2-1, but we'll see how it goes in that point. What do you think, PhD?
Fiddlesticks is a very interesting character, right? As you said, he's not really he doesn't have the same gank potential as Graves does. He just doesn't have any like gap closers or anything like that unless he's able to get that ult off, and that kind of spells the whole champion out for me at least. That character can do like nothing the whole game and get one big 4 to 5 man off and just wipe a team fight. It'll be insane. I think he's very, very hard to make work in these types of higher competitive environments because players ward so much better than say your solo queue game. So I think that's why you don't normally see Fiddlesticks. But if they can make it work, this game can be an absolute blowout. They have a lot of follow up with it, with Lulu speed ups and Aatrox running in there with ult. It can be really, really, really good. And Zaya ult can't react to Fiddlesticks ult, right? So you kind of there's no skill demonstration there. So it's a big dice roll, honestly, in my eyes, for the Fiddlesticks pick.
Yeah, definitely. I think I don't remember what league it was in, but Fiddle was seen last week, I think twice in one of our leagues. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I feel like
draft league, and he was played in the mid lane. Actually,
it was draft mid, and he popped off, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Not last week, but the week before.
The week before.
It was crazy.
But you're right. It was mid lane both times. So Fiddle jungle, I think of it as like a few seasons ago, right? Before Fiddle got reworked. I haven't really seen it in my games anytime recently. But like you said, in the team environment, it'd be completely different than playing in solo queue.
Yeah, for sure. It obviously more communication happening. You could pull off some of these really cheeky picks in the competitive environment. But there's really nothing here that's like really cheeky. So like Inspired would play it in the LCS, and I think with the communication of his team, that's kind of what helped him be able to like be very proactive on that champion. So we could see the same thing here potentially of them being proactive due to their communication. So I imagine these players are yapping away the entirety of the game, especially during like fights and whatnot. But once again, I'm going to highlight a very big importance for Team Fried Chicken. They have to have vision at all times for the Fiddle. Otherwise, they will lose every single fight. That's pretty much the sum of how this game's going to go.
Absolutely. I don't know how the vision scores were the last few games. Were they pretty good, or do they really have to step it up coming into this one? If you even notice that, it's not a stat that a lot of people usually look at, but
I will keep an eye on it this game for sure. I think it was pretty all right coming in for both of the supports mainly. I didn't really check for anyone else, but it's like, five.
I did see game one, mid opposing Victor was very, very low warding score. A lot of the mid laners can be very versatile in their warding scores, right? Because if you don't have the agency to walk up as a mid laner, you can't put wards anywhere meaningful, so your vision score is going to suffer. So I think you have to watch out for Syndra versus Cassio. It's an even-ish lane, but if Syndra falls behind, her vision score will too, which kind of spells disaster when Fiddlesticks is on the map.
Right.
absolutely. I think that it's gonna definitely be a banger of a game. I know that we're about how far out from Speculate. Actually, Speculate
going
just
off now,
finished
yeah.
now. Very convenient that I just look over.
Boom.
So we'll take a quick break, get our production and our casters to be all lined up in client, and we should be back with you in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes with Game 3 of the semifinals of Dominant.
Choked on both sides. It's like we either have to fight or run, and they chose to take the fight. Victor came in, unfortunately falls to the Sivir, which Sivir did a really good flash over the Gravitum.
Yeah.
Really well done for her to avoid getting CC'd there and pick up the first blood for herself. And now they have over a 1k gold lead, especially with all of those assists going to pretty much everyone else. And
oh my god.
Look at some of these gold leads. So we have an 800 gold lead coming in for the 80 carry of Perky. And from there, it's pretty even, more or less across the board. The Mundo being almost 1,000 gold up, which is, naturally, he's just been kind of winning every single trade. Like right now, like Olaf will not win a trade if he takes a fight. Yeah, he might just die here.
I think you might be onto something. He's gonna have to
give a deal per se. It's just at this point used for breaking towers, which is exactly what it did. Quality's gonna get dove here.
He has flash and ult to try to outplay it, but it's going to be difficult. Finds two with the shockwave, now running low on health. But Vodkill not going to drop thanks to his Seraphine, and that is a dead Orianna, unfortunately.
Is Hecarim dead?
Finds it. Wait a minute, that is huge.
Wow, he literally had 4 people on him, and he just kind of walked it off like it was not. Almost died, but basically walked it off like it was nothing. The MF ult was huge to save him. That was crazy, and looks like Olaf might be run down here by the Victor. Victor is stronger than him.
Yeah, he tries to make a name for himself, saying, "Listen, come here, buddy, let me get you," and he might actually do it. Oh my god.
We'll have to wait and see. And Graves is here in the mid lane.
Yeah, they're looking for a play on Perk. They have Lee Sinners there to back him up. Now engaging on this Graves, looking to take him down quickly. Bullet time doing so much damage onto everybody's Serafino combo.
Close.
Dropping low. Shockwave finds 2. Not enough to do anything meaningful in the fight, though. Our group coming in hot. They're running out. This is their move speed coming into play here. Dodging quality players.
They're going to drop a ward, and they see it now. Your Orianna's not here. Her ultimate's not up yet, so this is possible for a steal. They're not going to go for it.
It's so difficult. I mean, Orianna was late. They could maybe go for it now, and they are. Shockwave finds 2. That's on a bot kill. Zonia's in the middle, and Ardru dropping so low as well. Bot kill, and Mundo can take it down. Graves doing what he can from the back line.
Nice.
It's just not enough. There's steam rolling all over the side.
We start that herself, and here we go. Then we have a fight brewing. Oh, Victory might get caught out here. Oh, no, he's not.
Sivir 6 items, so keep an eye on her in the back. Lee Sanders getting a little too aggressive. TFC not afraid to walk in here. Dragon dropping down. Does go over to the winning formula. That's huge. Shockwave. Soul on the backs now. Hecarim running through the team. Perky in the back. Hitting onto Argur. He drops so fast. Bot kill. Gets stunned up in the... Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here 1-1 with TWF versus TFC. Nothing unusual to start off this game, except for the drafts. We got Syndra, which I know our production is very excited about, and Fiddlesticks. If you're a viewer in this game, you're thinking, oh my god, Fiddlesticks? No one plays Fiddlesticks, so you're going to want to keep your eyes on it the entire game. Watch the vision, watch over those walls, because he's going to be leaping.
I wonder if, Team Fried Chicken is going to try the same thing they tried last game with that whole cheeky invade. So I expect maybe that little bit of an adaptation to come in from the winning formula and be like, yeah, they're probably going to try something cheeky in this bush again. And we could get a potential spicy level 1 coming in. Nothing right now, but they're going to see them walk over this. They're actually going for a late invade. That's actually kind of nuts.
That is a little interesting. The Fiddlesticks, they don't know it, obviously, but the Fiddlesticks clone will spot them out. Pings on them right there, and Sign Me Up walks straight into a Gnar. Aatrox is level 1, can be dominant, just as you saw right there. Gnar, despite having that range advantage, falls just a little bit short when Aatrox is slamming.
I don't really anticipate anything like of a cheeky level 2 to come in from the Graves. They're gonna walk over a ward in that try, and Graves is gonna successfully invade. He's gonna go for the Raptors next. He's gonna take away a lot of these resources from the Fiddle. Fiddle, unfortunately, does camps very, very slow. And that's kind of why I was wondering, how well would this pick kind of do? Got trading happening in the middle lane. She should proc that. Oh, she has Conquer. Okay, she's not didn't take base rest. Oh, good knockup onto the Jinx, but don't think anything will come from that.
Yeah, a lot of repeats this game.
Except Graves
coming mid. So early, the smoke screen not available yet. Flash autos a minion. That is unfortunate, but does get the flash of quality player. Not too shabby there. That can now make that repeat gank so easily.
Yeah, Graves is going to go do his topside jungle now, and a little bit of more trading. Uh-oh, Syndra's in a really dangerous spot here.
Yeah, bot kill caught up, but drops quality player solo. The fear saves him for now. Auto attack does get him the first blood, but it is going to be a 1-for-1. Lee Sanders picks up that. I lied, it went over to Quality. Quality not even too upset about that kill. Not at all.
No, I wouldn't be upset of it. You get that mana crystal coming in, and you take that 1-for-1 trade. The gold does slightly go in favor of TWF because of the assist going over to the Fiddle. You take that easy peasy, but he will go to the actually Graves is aware that he's up there. I'm gonna pan up here and see what he tries to do about it. But Graves is aware this is happening, and Fiddle is forced to back out, and the bot lane is even like, yep, get out of this jungle, and he won't get anything for it. He's actually gonna stick around. My assumption is for the scuttle. Oh nope, they're gonna spot him out. That's actually kind of nuts. Really, really smart gameplay coming in to know that the Fiddle will try to cheekily invade after losing all of his resources. Syndra is going to get a good scatter of the week, and I don't think anything else will follow from that. Nice! So good defensive play coming in for the side of Team Fried Chicken, and that is easy peasy lemon squeezy for me. Gnar still taking some really unlucky trades coming in. Just has to get a little bit of damage, and then he'll be able to take care of himself in this lane. Got the fleet footwork to be able to sustain a little bit into this matchup. Jinx will clear this minion wave pretty quickly. Oh, okay, good scatter of the week, followed by the Q. WQ actually was what that is. Actually, I'm surprised she doesn't have electrocute. That's what I'm used to seeing more.
On Syndra, First Strike is pretty good if you can initiate those fights. I think you're not really looking to initiate the fights on Syndra just because your character plays so well to disengage, right? Cassio has to walk at you in a straight line. You have the easiest scat of the week ever. So it's pretty
Right.
simple that way. It's aggressive going for the first plays, but I think it's okay nonetheless. We've also seen this Aatrox up in CS 2 games in a row. I mean, look at this damage. Oh my goodness. Aatrox, 2 games in a row up in CS despite being in a bad matchup. It kind of just goes to show 2 things. A, how Sign Me Up is just such a good player. And B, Aatrox as a champion is so hard to hold down, right? Even in these, quote, counter matchups, he can do
Okay.
so well for himself. But we got a lot of damage coming out from quality player in the mid lane. She wins every time in these extended fights. Cassiopeia is
Yikes.
so good. Just like that. Bot kill, you got to be careful of the poison. Watch out, buddy. These fights going long, spell disaster for you.
Yeah, I definitely have to say that it looked like for a moment that like Syndra was gonna try to cheekily go for a kill, but she's not level 6, and that's what stopped her from getting that kill. If she was level 6, I argue she probably solos the cast there, but Graves is gonna just come here, push the wave in. Has his top side been up the whole time? He hasn't done his top side at all. Okay, Graves, I see you.
That's pretty crazy. They're trying to get this wave in, and they do manage to sort of do so. Pretty good for Bod Killer as quality player has to take a reset. One thing I want to touch on is Fiddlesticks, right, as a champion. They need to get him behind as much as possible, but hold that thought because we have not really a fight going on in the bot lane, or a little bit cut off, but that's okay. Fiddlesticks has to do well in these early game fights, has to keep his farm up if he wants to make an impact, because if he's worthless and down in gold, he ults in, he does nothing, right? He's just like, okay, just kill the scarecrows, no big deal. So I think they have to get him ahead. DBZ, how do you think they can get Fiddlesticks ahead, right? They need to do that.
Well, he has to speed run to 6, first of all. I think that's going to be one of the big things here. That assist actually on the first blood helped a lot in getting him some of that extra bit of damage that he's going to need later in these fights. But 6 is that critical point. Kind of like Fiddle, I would argue Fiddle 1 to 5 is like Evelyn. Kind of useless until you hit that break point of getting your ultimate. Because, you know, Evelyn gets the invisibility and she can kind of just be anywhere on the map she wants to. Fiddle hit 6, he can just be anywhere on the map, ult, and just fear your whole team. So this is something you got to think about. But here he is here in the bot lane for a bush gank. I don't think they're going to drop a ward here, but they're going to engage, and here he comes.
That was so unlucky he got spotted out, but the silence on Earl is going to hold him down for now, but that's where Kanzai you're dealing with. The disengage range is absolutely incredible. It was a bit unfortunate he got rooted right as he walked out of the bush there.
Yeah.
If that goes differently, then maybe the fight as a whole does too.
I agree, and Jinx, the only thing Jinx burns is the heal, but you get all the summoners out of the Rakan and the flash from the Xayah. That's not really all that good for there, but, you know, I'm going to try and stop some of these wards. Graves is going into the jungle, going to try to be really, really cheeky and take this red buff, and we are not panned down for this.
Oh my god, the smoke screen holds off and blocks Fiddlesticks' vision that Zyrakan is there, so he's forced to flash out. Because he had no idea that there was also a bot lane standing behind Graves. But just as we talked about, Fiddlesticks needs to be ahead early, right? It's almost as if TFC knows that. And they need to get this Fiddlesticks behind as much as possible. And I think Jackie Chan is doing a wonderful job at trying to make that happen.
I definitely agree with you. He's up a few camps right now. Fiddle is almost about to hit, so he just hit 6 just now. Graves should get his Gromp and hit 6 to himself. So now Fiddlesticks is a champion, I would say. And he's actually gonna almost pull ahead in the farm game after he does his blue, but oh no, Nara is going over. No way!
Yoink! That he stole the blue, just like that. Fiddlesticks is so sad as you're giving him props for taking both camps at once. It's just so unfortunate. You hate to see it.
I would be tilted out of my mind if that happened. That's so unlucky because he smited. It was at 100-something health. The suck didn't finish it. He just boomerang, boom. That's my blue buff now, and that keeps that Fiddle down. He's down 2 camps right now to the Graves, about 2.5 camps, I think. But they're gonna try to do something here in the mid lane. Fiddle is walking over, which I think he's gonna try to ult this.
Oh, big fear onto the bot kill. He drops so quick. Erping bleeding out as well. Quality player popping Ghost wants to go forward, but not gonna do so. That Grave is just a little bit too scary. But they do find a kill. Great ult there coming out from Lee Sanders on that Fiddlesticks.
Yeah, as expected, as you see from the Fiddle, he's going to be over the wall. Rakan might be dead here because he's in a really bad position.
Yeah, Lulu, not quite enough damage to take him down. No ignite, but I don't even think that's enough. Gonna get out of there scot-free, and Bodkill TP's back to lane.
Okay, so you have the Cinder at 1 and 2 now, and you like to see that. You don't want her blowing up your backline here in the game. Gnar is... Oh, that was unlucky. Bad trade in there. He ends up losing the ultimate, but not like that matters, because neither of them have mana, but he's dangerously low into this tower. I argue that the... Oh, never mind, Graves is here, so he's going to try to get the trade kill. And, yep, just like that.
Does so in the blink of an eye, almost killing Jackie Chan while he's at it, drops low quite himself. But that's it. I mean, what a dive. That was, he almost healed off of that tower dive. That was honestly incredible. Look at Aatrox's items, by the way. He bought Lucidity boots.
Oh, yeah. More Qs. He's going to get
Wait,
this
he's
kill
not
too,
done, though.
Oh, good
He
flash.
wants to 1 HP.
Oh,
Auto
the
the minions
minion!
to heal it. Oh, God, he's trying to
Yes!
No. But we have the fights continuing. Lee Sanders caught a little bit. Bodkill doing a great job. Flashes forward with the scout of the week.
Oh, the
Excuse me, not
stopwatch.
scout of the week. Willpower does take him down very soon. Jackie Chan gets there, provides him the extra healing,
Nice.
snags that kill for himself. Earl a little bit caught out, but that's A-okay because his dash ranges an entire screen. An aggressive ult from
going for
Jincel.
this.
Exhaust drops onto him to stop that aggressive positioning. But watch those feathers in the back. Not quite doing enough. Only finds one as they did time out. Earl, just the rocket, just barely. Living with a little bit of HP. Zap dodges as well. Earl E probably coming back up very soon. They're not quite able to catch him. These fights are sporadic and exotic. I love it.
Wow, that was nuts. And we have a fight also on the top side. Looks like Cassiopeia is running down the Syndra. I don't expect her to get out. Actually, I lied. There's 2 teammates headed her way. She has flash, so she should be able to get out of this or even just walk out regardless.
Oh, the turn. Quality player wants in on the fight, finds a kill actually, manages to grab the shutdown onto Jackie Chan, and what a nice little turn play, honestly worth, didn't have to expend flash, and got herself a shutdown. Nicely done.
I was about to say, too, that should finish the Leandries, and that's exactly what it does. So Cassiopeia getting that really annoying item advantage with the Leandries, just that burn plus the poison. I wouldn't be surprised that after she finishes the Muramana here that she goes demonic for that even more extra burn, because why need more? I also just noticed it is 11.5 minutes and Dragon is still up. No one has taken the Infernal Drake. This is going to be a very long Dragon game if this ends up going the way I think it will. Ooh, get a little bit of damage onto the not onto the Gnar, but onto the Aatrox. Okay,
Yeah, it's
never
a
mind.
common theme in these games. I mean, they both just love to pick for these scaling comps, and it is A-okay because the games go so slowly. Also, wait, Gnar went Merc Treads, which is a little interesting, into Aatrox, right? No wonder Aatrox went Lucidity Boots. He's going to be railing onto this Gnar.
I think it's because for the Fiddle and the Cassiopeia, and the Lulu Polymorph, arguably.
Definitely.
So I think that's what it's for. It's not really for the laning phase. It's more for the long con, big brain nonsense that's to come later in the game from these comps. But the first dragon does finally fall 12 minutes in. It's going to be a Hextech Drake next. And all right, let's play my favorite game. What soul do you think it's going to be after this Hextech Drake is taken?
I really hope it's not Ocean because both these teams already have so much survivability. But we got a Fiddle finding the fear onto Jin. Still cleanse. He flashes away from the Fiddle. Well played. But Earl drops so low as a counter. Thank you, Direct Kamen, for taking me mid. That's okay. Death Rocket misses onto Earl. And he gets out of there scot-free. Great cleanse from Jinseo. Gets himself out of that sticky situation.
Yeah, that was going to be really bad if he didn't have the cleanse there. He burns both summoners. He gets out. We got trading in the top lane. Actually, it might be death in the top lane.
Arger up a little too far there, buddy. Sign me up. Trying to close that gap, but Nar's got a little bit of movement speed on him. The W does land. Gonna have to slip out. No, sir, you're not going anywhere. Sign him up for death.
Wow. I actually thought for a minute there that Nar might get out, but then the Infernal Chains, which is like the instant, yeah, you're not getting out of this. And we got, oh no, oh no, oh!
Oh, the gaze finds its mark and Cinder drops. No problem. It's those kinds of interactions that make or break the mid lane matchup. If Syndra gets the first pick with the Scout of the Week onto Cassio, Cassio dies instantly, and likewise for Cassio, if she lands that ult, Bodkill drops in a blink of an eye. Honestly, really well played. Vision is such an important part of this game.
Yeah, you can see where the vision is currently. I'll go ahead. We'll toggle over the vision to the red side vision. And you see they don't have very many deep wards anywhere. They have them like over bushes at certain points. Like right now, like, they cannot see like where Fiddle is. And they just don't have any adequate vision to know where Fiddlesticks is coming from or where Cassiopeia is lying in wait, because she can basically do the same thing. But just how you have to start like getting these extra advantages in so you can get some of this vision. Now the vision is also not great on blue side. I think I ticked over and saw one ward on blue side. Yeah, all over bot lane. But other than that, just it's like I said, these Scuttle wards have to be crucial. Lulu has a 21 vision score at the moment and the highest in the game. And she ain't even warding for the Fiddle. She's warding to make sure that the Graves isn't coming down. Anything cheeky just in case like they try to do like a 4-man play with a Cinder coming down. And it's just the vision game is being won currently by the winning formula. We got 3 people headed in the top lane for this Aatrox. But we also have a fight in the bot lane.
Aatrox has a pretty tough target to take down up here, but oh my gosh, he's got 2 levels on Gnar. This guy's a monster. He's
comes Fiddle.
almost 40 CS as well, but there's Fiddle with the Crow Storm finding onto the bot lane. I missed that one. Apologies. Earl now running for his life, trying to get out of there, but Jinx Lulu is pretty good at chasing with the zaps. Earl's going to drag this one out. They have 4 members on the map running towards him. He might be able to get an execute here, honestly, unless the zap lands. Not going to do so. You might be better off just leaving him at this point. You're not going to catch him, boys. Except the dead rocket does. I should bite my tongue. What a shot from Perky the Parrot.
Oh my goodness. So 15 minutes in, we're at a 2k gold lead for the winning formula. I'm really impressed with how well they've actually played this. I mean, we said it in draft that both drafts are going to look really good, like for depending on how they execute them, and they're executing their draft very good. The Fiddle is getting into these areas where you can't see me. Else over, you just die. That's happened 3 times now. You got all the summoners in the bot lane earlier, and what led to these kills that just happened now. But wow, I'm just very impressive with how well that the winning formula is playing. Now, Team Fried Chicken on the other side, they've got to understand, like, okay, we're falling behind. They probably have an idea. It's like a couple thousand gold down because, objective bunnies aren't in. But they see that, like, we need to calm it down. We need to start getting vision in places so that will prevent the Fiddlesticks from being able to get as much agency as he's currently getting. And you just have to get the extra coverage. Now, Hextech Drink is coming up in 57 seconds. I imagine both teams will fight for this as we have the 80 carry coming in the mid lane in the Jinx. Lulu's here too, and Fiddle once again, look where he is. He's just over the wall. He's chilling in the darkness. You don't see him right now. He's going to clear out a ward, but like, everyone's here else, and his Aatrox is here, so there's going to be a 5v5 here in the next like 30 seconds for this Drake. Unless, Rakan gets caught here, which is entirely possible. Nope, never mind. Okay.
Yeah, the Gnar has TP, so you gotta watch out for that. He's more than happy knocking on this top tower because he can TP down. Syndra opting to TP down to this bot lane as well. As you said, they want to be in there in position for this bot lane dragon. We have TWF absolutely in position for this dragon. They have to make sure their waves are okay, and then they can walk in as a unit. But giving TWF the position on this dragon first is so scary because of Fiddlesticks, right? The vision from right now on the side of TFC is nothing. That jungle is dark. You cannot walk in to that jungle, and they respect it and just give up that dragon nice and calm.
Yep, I was literally about to say, just like, if you toggled over the vision, you would see nothing. Jinx getting some good poke damage on, but you would have seen nothing in the river for TFC. Like, it was completely pitch black, and you just don't want to walk into that. So they'll give up the Drake. It is a Mountain Soul for this game. I was gonna say Cloud Soul, but we were both wrong today on this day, but that's okay. It happens. We're human.
We are indeed, and that's as good as it gets from us sometimes. Caster Curse, maybe potentially a thing, but, we don't have to talk about that. The more you talk about it, the worse it gets. Now, right now, what we do need to talk about is what TWF needs to do to secure their win into this game. They're up just a tiny bit, only 1,000 gold, but Freak, what do you think they need to do to secure their win in this game?
Keep doing what they're doing. They're doing everything right that they need to do. Getting those crucial picks in the fog of war. They keep that vision game up, like, in their side of the map. Just if TWF does all of these things that they've been doing correctly so far, and let that Jinx even scale further into the game. I'm looking at the items for Cassiopeia. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a demonic embrace. When that finishes, they're going to drop the Herald here. This should break open the tower. Ooh, nice little bit of damage. Fiddle's going to be over the wall here very shortly, and Oh, okay, that was good. That was good. He just has to walk up and smite it now.
Ooh.
Oh, never mind.
Forcing the Fiddle ult onto the Graves finds that fear, but the TP counter does force him to back
The counter
out.
engage.
Now here, Earl not quite close enough to make that counter engage happen, and that's going to be all she wrote. They did get the Herald charge, so they did knock down that tower, which is A-okay for the side of TFC. Oh, but
Yeah.
Aatrox is in a bit of a weird spot. They don't
This
know.
might be a bait, actually.
Oh, the plant is his getaway, and is he going to be able to do it? Yes, he is. Very well executed from TWF. They brought their whole team to support him. Very well done there.
Yeah, they don't have the Fiddle ult, so they're not really going to look to engage here. Syndra pushing on the bot side with the TP coming out from the Aatrox. She should know this and leave, or she's going to die here.
She didn't see the TP, and she used her E on the minion wave, but more importantly, Aatrox saw that she used E on the minion wave, so he knew it was a go button. He popped ult and just walked her down. Syndra without E is a sitting duck. Nothing she can do to get you off of her.
Yeah. So you see Pigs coming in from the Fiddle as he's marking when his ultimate is going to be up, which is that is their go button. Fiddle on top of the Cassiopeia ult is going to be like the go button for their team winning formula. They're going to do it right now.
Speak of go buttons, there's the fear onto 2. Earl drops so quick to low HP. Not going to die, and the rocket does not kill him, but the red buff does. Perky gets his way in now, gets rooted up under tower, and will not fall because
No, he didn't.
Very well done. Directed camera, thank you for messing that one up, but that's okay. Little scuffle in the top lane too. Cassiopeia used ult. Argru is chilling up there. These Merc Shreds proving to be useful. Quality player. Knows he's in the area, but not quite enough.
Wait,
Beautiful
no way.
dive there from TWF.
He actually got out. That's crazy. I for a minute there, I was like, nah, there's no way. Then you're just like, psych, leaves. All right, so how much gold does the Cassiopeia have? She has 2,000 gold. This should be either the finishing of either Leandri's or Demonic Embrace. Okay, she finishes the Leandri's right now. She's gonna go towards that Muramana as we speak. Yep, there we go. Another blasting wand. Just good lord, this champion is so strong. This is also a lethality Graves build. I do not think Jackie Chan did that the last game.
Yeah, definitely not. Duskblade is so aggressive. Normally you see the Gore Drinker, I think is what we saw on him on last game. That is crazy. He's looking to dish out damage and be a big heavy hitter on the side of TFC, I believe. Maybe just trying to one-shot Fiddle as he jumps in is the only way you're going to be able to deal with him, perhaps.
The only problem with that, though, is he's not that far ahead. I think Fiddle is even ahead right now. Fiddle's... Oh, well, this is awkward. They're just kind of looking at each other.
Sign me up. Didn't see him at first, but Earl dropping the moves, gets himself out of that W, and the stun from Syndra is going to secure him a way out of that situation.
They have to know the rest of the team's coming. Why are they still here?
Yeah, there is nowhere to run to as that tower is gone. Bodkill getting a little aggressive there, buddy. Lee Sanders over that wall with ult is going to look for it, and there it lands. Banshees dodges the fear, but not the silence, buddy. Is going to get locked up and dead to Fiddlesticks. Lee Sanders a monster on this Fiddle. They're playing Division so well, freak.
Yeah, it's just like I said. They have to keep everything warded. This will also open up the angle for the Mountain Drake, because Cinder will be dead for it. And I think... Oh, good all... Oh, wow.
Quality player playing that pretty well. Good snare indeed. The fear is going to stop Rakan in his tracks. Not able to do much. Dragon has spawned. Both teams looking to set up for that. TWF definitely has the upper hand as of now, as they did last time. Better vision, Fiddlesticks ult being a thing, although it is on cooldown. They could look to make a move, but without your mid laner, it is doomed, and they will hand over that Dragon. Now 2-1 on this Mountain Drake map.
I was gonna say too, just once again, we toggle over the vision. There's only that one ward in the bush, but it's completely pitch black. They just don't see anything. They also don't have like the agency to be able to get anywhere on the map, because they push up. Who's there? Fiddle. Surprise. This would be really funny if this was Surprise Party Fiddle right now. That'd be really funny. But he just goes in. They're all there. They're like, oh, we're just dead, and then everyone dies. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, and they just kill. More kills, more gold. It's a 4,000 gold lead, and the kills are actually going everywhere they need to. Everyone has a bounty on the other side.
Wow, that's crazy. I hadn't even noticed that. So much gold on the board. Bodkill is having such a rough game. They have to TP to try to get him out of the situation. Argru, sign me up, is not faltering. Wants these kills, but gets blown up instantly with that chain CC. And that's a kill. Not too bad. I was about to say, Bodkill's having a rough game for himself, but that helps a little bit.
Yeah, that definitely helps. Looks like no, there's not really much to happen off that. They're kind of pinging. Actually, with Cassiopeia with her 2 items, they can't do this. So this is really big if they do this. But we got pings coming in from Jackie Chan. They know this is happening, and they're gonna try to get here as fast as they can. They get the TP out of the mid laner. There's no way. It's like they know they're doing it. Okay, I think with Jinx there, they pretty much melt it. But I think you just kind of give it a shot anyways. They actually, with Cassiopeia having only 2 items, that did a lot of damage, a lot more than I thought it would. I'm impressed. So, no Baron to take this time. They get the TP out of the Syndra, which is a good consolation prize. But I think just one fight, just one really good fight that comes in from the side of TWF, this game is pretty much over. Like, they'll get the Baron, they'll look to end, and we'll probably end up going to a Game 4. Well, we're going to go to a Game 4 regardless, but they'll probably take the game series lead here.
Yeah, the game's looking so good for them. They're just playing so well as a team. They seem to always have the upper hand. Although if you glance at the minimap right now, TFC's got a lot of wards on this Baron pit, so they're ready for Fiddle.
right?
They're going to know where he is for just a little bit, but if they can clear those out as before Dragon spawns, they'll be A-okay because there's nothing to flip the map with, so it's not going to be as much as important as it would be later in.
For sure. They're kind of trying to do something cheeky here against the Cassiopeia. I think they're going to, oh, he missed. They're definitely going to go for it. Cassiopeia.
Ghost is
and that's
popped, yeah. And that's all she wrote for that one, A-okay. And now this Baron is the name of the game. No TP on Gnar. If TWF knows this, they can play around it heavily because Aatrox has TP. So you'll have to watch out for that as well, as we can see Gnar positioning to rotate, forced to give up that wave a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Vision game. We've been talking about it all game. I'm going to point out some Vision scores coming in. They're actually going to break open the mid lane tower, and Jinx is going to just walk forward.
The fear stops Gnar from ulting. That was
the fear.
He had it. He had the 3-man ult, the picture perfect play, but it's just not there. That Fiddle fear was so clutch, and they're able to knock that mid tower down for free. They have Fiddlesticks positioned in this team fight. He can ult under this tower if he really wants. Jin's still dropping so low. Keep your eye on Fiddlesticks in the back there, but stun lands on a quality player. Now bot kills up way too far. From downtown, flashes in. Earl trying to make something of this fight with those charms, but not able to do so. Lee Sinners with a beautiful engage, but Sign Me Up is not done. He wants in on this fight. Earl with a nice knockup.
No, he's dead.
Takes him down. What are you doing, buddy? Perky walks up way too far. Heal. Gonna save him for now. But Jackie Chan will fall. Not before not taking out Perky. Perky manages to live. And we have a pause. Freak, can you break it down what just happened for us?
All right, so that actually looked really spicy, and it looked like it was going to be a huge fight for Team Fried Chicken, but the fear, I think he got rooted also by the traps, and I can't remember if there was a polymorph in there as well. Just everything just stopped him from being able to get in there and throw those fingers in the wall, and that would have been an easily won fight for Team Fried Chicken. But we do have a DC coming in from this pause, so when that's all said and done, we'll be back in. But wow, that was crazy. I cannot believe just how crazy that was. So, pretty much. So the fight gets started with that, and we got a couple ultimates burned, but then Fiddle once again over the wall. He got a fear off onto two members, and then just all of the DPS just followed in with the Cassiopeia and the Jinx, and they laid out so much damage that they ended up just murking everybody. And then Aatrox comes in, it's a kill away because Lamau, I guess, we're so far ahead we can do whatever we want. But it ends up being a 3-for-1 trade. They're not going to go for Baron; they're all too low. But wow, just the way that they are team fighting this game is just immaculate. They're up 5K. It seems like it's not that much, but it feels like it's much more with how strong Cassiopeia is, especially with her 3 items right now.
It absolutely does. She's doing so much damage in these team fights. Don't disregard Perky either on that Jinx. The 2.5 items, soon to be 3 with that Infinity Edge. He's going to hit so hard, especially with Lulu standing behind him. I mean, all members are doing so much damage, right? The Aatrox was a little bit disconnected in the back of that fight, but that Fiddle damage too. Before Earl could even really make the disengage happen, he was dead, right? His backline had already died. Cinderella was long gone. Zaya nowhere even near the fight to start that out. So it's just so tough. Also, it was really satisfying watching Lee Sinners clear on that Fiddlesticks, clear all that distance so quick from the bush beneath the tower, ults, and then flashes in, still not even needing the Fury, getting off all that damage. They're playing as a unit. I like it a lot. They're pretty confident in what they want to do, and it's just looking like the game is completely in their hands, now up 9 kills.
Yep. So, player came back. Players are saying ready. We're gonna wait for the spectator to get caught up, and then the game will start back shortly. I expect pretty much this to happen for the rest of the game for the terms of the winning formula. It's like they did in game one where they just drafted a great team fighting comp and just rolled over. Not really rolled over. It started out pretty bad, but then they ended up rolling over fried chicken when they got their items. And this time it just started out as a rollover. Like Cassiopeia getting that kill, it was just crucial. But looks like the game has started back up. So we're gonna go ahead and get back into game very shortly, and we're back into game. By that I mean we were probably like 5 seconds ago, but whatever. But
Hey, that
next
is
dragon will
okay.
be up. Yeah, we're a-okay. Next dragon will be up in about a minute's time, and we will have to wait and see. Just like, what do you do? Like, what do you do? Like TFC, like, what do you have to do? You got to understand. Syndra has almost reached that breaking point. She almost has her death cap. So once she gets that, she'll be a threat. She's a threat, sort of, right now. The Benji skill does kind of like turk that away a little bit. But in terms of just in terms of just being, this is gonna sound really toxic, but this game is a hella mid gap. Like just the gap between quality right now and the bod kill is just absolutely wide. Just the way he's been playing this Cassiopeia has been so good. Deep dealing out the damage. Like he has 3 items. I don't know what that 4th item's gonna be with the Aegis right there. Just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And they're gonna probably give up this Drake as well on the side of Team Fried Chicken. I do not expect them to fight for this. Once again, I'm gonna toggle my vision and just none. Absolutely none. You can't go in there and like they're gonna try to get some wards, and Rakan's dead as a result of it.
Yeah, they're paying the price for the lack of vision like that. That's going to happen nonstop. He dies within the fear. It's so tragic. He does not have QSS for that Fiddle Fear, so there's nothing he can do. Getting this dragon will put them at soul point. There's, unfortunately, for the 3rd time in a row, just nothing TFC can do to get themselves in a fighting position for this dragon. It's not even a matter of can they actually win the fight. It's can they get into the fight before Fiddlesticks kills them all.
Mm-hmm. Jinx will pick up another kill, 7-0. She has her 3 items and going towards that Guardian Angel next. Objective bounties will now come up as they are down just under 6k. I just don't know what you do in this instance. And Nar's probably going to get run down here. We have the Lulu behind him. Nope, never mind. He's going to just hop out of there. And that'll be it. So, oh, I lied. He might now. Oh, no.
Sign me up once this fight absolutely Gnar forced to ult to get himself out of there is going to be okay for now. Shirelia's pop for that move speed. They're bringing up all the members. We got a 3v3 for now. Arger just has to live off for a little bit longer, but there's the death rocket. Perky, have you missed a rocket this game, man? My goodness.
Oh, yes, just one. And after that, he was like, I'm not missing again. And then just hit the rest of them. So this should be the Baron going over. I don't think you try and fight this without your Gnar. I mean, you never know. Anything could happen. But they're going to play defense with the Cassiopeia. The TP coming in for the Syndra, and Rakan is out. But this Baron is long gone. Ooh.
Yeah, stun doesn't land from bod kill. Now Quality's making a move, ghosting forward, creating so much space for his team. Fiddlestick still has ult. Stun finds one onto Jackie Chan, trying to get himself out of there. Quality player not dying thanks to that Aegis. Blue team does take Baron. That's big for the side of TWF. Jackie Chan, now the first member to drop on the side of TFC. Perky into the Syndra is so dangerous. Has to pop the Zonius to get himself out of that sticky situation. Zap does not land. Checking this bush is so terrifying. But now, no scat of the week. Probably going to look to secure this kill. Vision secured. There's that kill. And excited Jinx walks away proud.
Yeah, this Jinx is very, very strong. She will have the gold for that GA. She has 2,500 right now. So this is, yeah, I think you're looking to game 4. It's like, wow, that Cassiopeia and Fiddle kind of stopped us. And once again, over the wall.
Fiddle Fear, it's all she wrote. The Fear lands, the style lands. You don't even need to hit it off the ult. He's got the move speed from Lulu to back it up. Arver, no flash. That's all she wrote. They're looking to make these plays over and over. Their team fighting is just so synchronous and in unison. It's a beautiful thing to watch. Look at Cassiopeia's inventory.
Oh, and Gargoyle Stoneplate, that's what she was building. She's looking to not die. That's actually really funny. I've never seen that. Shadow Flame coming in for the Fiddle. I think that was done a little bit earlier. I'm going to find out. Oh no, just a little bit ago. So Shadow Flame for the Fiddle, he is looking to absolutely annihilate everyone because obviously Nara when he's in mini form is squishy. It's pretty much 5 squishies on the side of TFC. If Fiddle can land the most disgusting ultimate I've ever seen on this side of the Mississippi, this would be really gross, and the game will just end instantly. You're looking to get some priority though. Areas in the jungle.
Yeah. Look at these pings, right? They know exactly
Oh
where they want to
no.
put them, and there's the ult charge. Doesn't find the fear, but there's the flash to drop them. The damage is insane. Zaya gets him out of that rocket as well, but Lee Sanders does drop. That's
that's a good
A-okay,
shot,
but
though.
Jinx melting that tower, doing so much damage. Jackie Tan,
Oh
this
my
guy's
god.
attack speed's got to be over the moon right now with Lulu standing behind him. He's excited. He's got tempo. Perky the Parrot is the man with the plan right now. Lulu's got to get out of there. A-okay from there, too. They can
Oh,
make these
no.
aggressive plays. They can keep walking forward as quality players showing us right now.
Oh, the
Fears
ults!
nothing. Jinx just hitting the tower behind. Now excited. Watch Jinx right here. Another ult misses into the inhib. Perky is going to hit for free, dealing so much damage. Inhib still standing. Zap finds on it. Jincell has to flash out, but it's not going to be enough. Jinx is still excited into his own spawn pool. Is Jackie Chan safe? No, sir. Perky takes him down.
Wow, and there's just no damage left. This wave will come in, they'll break the inhibitor. This should be the end of the game here, or maybe not. I mean, it's just the Rakan. Actually, Jinx is low, so she's CA, so it's fine. Yeah, they'll kill the Rakan here. This will definitely be all she wrote for game 3. They're going to end it right here. Who's coming up? Okay, Syndra's up in 12, but this will be the end of the game before she even comes up. And so, team winning formula, I don't know, I like the team name, will take the lead in this series 2-1. It puts them on match point, and TFC has got to come up with a game plan for the next game.
What a game freak. I mean, that was an absolute flip of what we saw last game. Last game,
Yeah.
Bodkill had his fun on that Swain, going crazy, but quality player was having none of it. He stuck it back to him. And also, Perky on this Jinx, not making a single mistake. The man went deathless on the game, 8-0 and 11. What a game from Perky. Now, Matt, did you catch that game? And if so, what did you think? Oh my goodness.
I definitely caught a lot of it. I think that, like you said, you kind of summed it up really nice. It was a huge, like, game 1 pretty even. Game 2 went right towards TFC. Game 3, the winning formula came in and basically swept it. Like, the vision scores is the thing that we were talking about. The vision scores on TFC weren't that bad. Like, wasn't Lulu at like 70 or 80 or something by the end of the game? I know that when
I think she was at 7.
yeah, like for clearing their wards, it's fine. I think it was just complete domination on the side of the winning formula. Honestly, like there's nothing more to say than that. I don't think anything on TFC is worth.
Like it makes me wonder. I mean, I think they're gonna stick to the same sides the next game, which makes me wonder. Like, so do you have a game plan for that Fiddle? Do you take it off the board instantly, or are you confident in Lee Sinners to maybe play it himself? I'm gonna be honest. I kind of want Lee Sinners to get off of this Graves, or is it Jackie Chan? Jackie Chan, sorry. I really want Jackie Chan to get off of this Graves. That's really what I want. I want him to play something else. It's like sure, it's been like hit or miss, but like the Hecarim was phenomenal in the first game. Obviously less so because you know who existed, Swain. And then on the other side, you have this game. You have, nice. You have Fiddle into the Graves, and Fiddle just wipes the floor with him. Like just picks up. Maybe it's a comfort pick, I'm sure, but pick something else. I know it's probably slight flaming, but please pick something else.
I mean, I don't think it's flaming. It's just expressing your opinion on what you think went wrong. I think that everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? You think that that's what's going wrong, switch it up. Maybe something will happen. They might be tuned in. They might be listening. They might be like, nah, Freak is an idiot. Let's not listen to him at all. But
Go player, BB.
you're still allowed to chat about it. I do want to give you guys a quick break in order to rest your voice before we get captains ready for draft on game 4. Before we do go to break really quick though, before draft happens, because we've been going straight into draft pretty much right away and haven't had time to talk more after just because of timing. Do you think, based on what you've seen so far, that it's going to go to a game 5 or for Silver Scrapes, or do you think that it's just TWF is going to finish it this time?
Oh my. Okay, I'll start this one off. I think it absolutely can. It's a big mental battle. We saw Vodkill disconnect from the game in that last one. It was some joking in chat. They said, did he slam his desk? If the mental is there, we can go to game 5 100%. But these back and forth games are draining. I think I'll say it. I think TWF, they're looking strong. I think they can cut it on game 4.
What do you think, Freak?
I will probably actually, honest to God, hold my opinion until after this next draft. But in terms of like, will we go to a potential game 5? It's just you have to pick a different jungler. Please pick a different jungler than Graves. That's really all I can say.
Okay, Freak really doesn't want to see the Graves going into game 4, but we'll take a quick break, give our casters a little rest, and we should be back for draft after that.
Choked on both sides. It's like we either have to fight or run, and they chose to take the fight. Victor came in, unfortunately falls to the Sivir, which Sivir did a really good flash over the Gravitum.
Yeah.
Really well done for her to avoid getting CC'd there and pick up the first blood for herself. And now they have over a 1k gold lead, especially with all of those assists going to pretty much everyone else. And
oh my god.
Look at some of these gold leads. So we have an 800 gold lead coming in for the 80 carry of Perky. And from there, it's pretty even, more or less across the board. The Mundo being almost 1,000 gold up, which is, you know, naturally. He's just been kind of winning every single trade. Like right now, like Olaf will not win a trade if he takes a fight. Yeah, he might just die here.
I think you might be onto something. He's gonna have to
Of a deal per se. It's just at this point used for breaking towers, which is exactly what it did. Quality is going to get dove here.
He has flash and ult to try to outplay it, but it's going to be difficult. Finds 2 with the shockwave, now running low on health. But Bodkill not going to drop thanks to his Seraphine, and that is a dead Orianna, unfortunately.
Is Hecarim dead?
Arthur finds it. Wait a minute, that is huge.
Wow, he literally had 4 people on him, and he just kind of walked it off like it was not. Almost died, but basically walked it off like it was nothing. The MF ult was huge to save him. That was crazy, and looks like Olaf might be run down here by the Victor. Victor is stronger than him.
Yeah, he tries to make a name for himself, saying, "Listen, come here, buddy, let me get you," and he might actually do it. Oh my god.
We'll have to wait and see. And Graves is here in the mid lane.
Yeah, they're looking for a play on Perky. They have Lee Sinners there to back him up. Now engaging on this Graves, looking to take him down quickly. Bullet time doing so much damage onto everybody's Seraphine combo.
Close.
Dropping low. Shockwave finds 2. Not enough to do anything meaningful in the fight, though. Argru coming in hot. They're running out. This is their move speed coming into play here. Dodging quality players.
They're going to drop a ward, and they see it now. Or your Orianna's not here. Her ultimate's not up yet, so this is possible for a steal. They're not going to go for it.
It's so difficult. I mean, Orianna was late. They could maybe go for it now, and they are. Shockwave finds 2. That's on a Bodkill. Zonia's in the middle, and Argru dropping so low as well. Bodkill and Mundo can take it down. Graves doing what he can from the back line.
Nice.
It's just not enough. They're steamrolling all over the side.
We start that herself, and here we go. Then we have a fight brewing. Oh, Victor might get caught out here. Oh, no, he's not.
Sivir 6 items, so keep an eye on her in the back. Lee Sanders getting a little too aggressive. TFC not afraid to walk in here. Dragon dropping down. Does go over to the winning formula. That's huge. Shockwave. Soul on the backs now. Hecarim running through the team. Perky in the back. Hitting onto Argru. He drops so fast. Bodkill gets stunned up, and there's the Victor ult. 6 difference coming in big. But we got Jackie Chan standing right behind him. Quality player forced to pop Ghost. Probably just going to run out of this one.
There's 3 people here.
Stop him in his tracks. What can Hecarim do besides get knocked up? Swander coming in too. Maybe Hecarim actually falls instead of quality player. He's so sad about this one. 2 flashes, finds him down. Quality player maybe getting a bit too aggressive. Bodkill popping ult now to walk it forward onto quality player. And there's space, but a Ghost from quality player is going to start off our fight as we have Aatrox in the flank. But he's going to hop over that wall. They've now gained drag pressure, but we got Lee Sanders dropping low to the side of Jackie Chan. Earl King looking to find him, finds a charm, and he will drop. Earl King finds that first kill, starting us off. Sign me up as well, doing so much damage, but if you look at the top side, we got dominance coming from TFC all across the board. Jackie Chan looking to get taken down, will maybe eventually finally do so. Is a bit mixed still, no?
Critically, 2 kills go over to the Jinx. Like, the fight was so split. That's the weird part of this whole thing. Oh, we're flashing onto her.
Holy smokes, Argru flashes in and takes Jinx down in just a second. You blink and you missed it twice now. That's 2 kills he's gotten that quick. Sign me up says it's my turn to blow somebody up, and he's not able to do so. Just Queen actually takes down Argru. Lives, but the do so. Just Queen actually takes down Argru. Lives, but the Renata passive takes him down, and he is going to fall to Bodkill. We're not now the last man standing. Swain looking to take him down. Has flash for the flash, never moved. Not going to need it, though, I imagine, as Final Ninja does not have boots completed. time will tell for this one. We might have a bit of a walk down as we see Hecarim is making his way down. There's that seeing eye,
This
gonna
is
find that
greedy.
slow. Look at Hecarim on the top side.
I go Randy on you from American Idol. Come on, dog. You can't be doing that. And Hecarim also in a weird spot, but they're doing the Baron in the process. They don't know, but they're gonna see this with the Renata. I don't think you even do this unless they get a pick here.
Final Ninja gets caught. Bodkill being the front man, center of attention. Big Renata finds a lot of damage, not enough to kill anybody quite. Final Ninja drops low.
Oh,
Look
there
at that
you go.
old snipe from downtown.
They were like choked on both sides. It's like we either have to fight or run, and they chose to take the fight. Victor came in, unfortunately falls.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. I know it wasn't a very long break. We're chilling. We're here, ready to go into game 4. TWF was looking so good in unison
Yeah.
in that last game. Looking to come into this game 4 as making a name for themselves. Bans their way. Freak, take it away, baby.
Well, bans are looking the exact same so far. Will TWF commit to that Swain ban to keep that going? Yep, they're going to keep that. And last but not least for TFC will be Zillion. So, what do we expect here? I kind of expect the first pick Jinx again. Yep, and just like clockwork. Now, all right, let's see if TFC was listening to me. Are you going to pick the Graves here? For the love of God, just pick something else. Lee Sin, literally anything else. I know, I think your jungle even plays Hecarim. I know I sound like I'm flaming. Okay, I like the Kaisa pick here. Pretty good. I do like the Kaisa pick, and if they decide to lock that in, that's a pretty strong pick to go. I wouldn't say toe to toe with the Jinx, because Jinx obviously gets way better attack speed. Sejuani being open, yeah, I like that as a lock in as well. I imagine TWF will probably answer with a Lulu Aatrox again, so I don't think the draft will be terribly different for TWF this time around. Well, I like to think I'm big braining it. Please let me be right. But they're actually talking about it. Okay, so they're talking about it right now. They're not sure what they're gonna pick, but I would not be shocked for an enchanter to go alongside the Jinx. She's really good with enchanters, and the Renata instead. Okay, making me look like a fool. Good for you guys. So Renata, I'm content with that. And I think with the hostile takeover, that will apply the plasma stacks onto the people that Kaisa hits, and for that big little bit of extra damage. And the Aatrox will round out the first picks of the draft. Now, what do we have in response here? Aatrox, I'm not surprised, PhD, that he's been involved in literally every single every game so far. Like, he's just one of the most broken top laners in the game. So I don't know what you would do into that, since they keep banning the Fiora, but Viego is left open. I like that. Okay, I do like the Viego to go into that.
It's a little interesting to me that they banned Fiora and then let them pick Aatrox. I feel like you could leave the Fiora up because Fiora counters Aatrox, right? His moves are so easy to vary.
Mm-hmm.
The matchup is not bad at all. So it's a little interesting. It's almost like it's a wasted ban, sort of, in my eyes. I think they could swap it out for something like the Jinx, or maybe just ban the Aatrox in the first place. But nonetheless, the Fiddlesticks ban is respected.
So is the cast ban too. So that leaves open potentially. I think this is a Silas angle for Team Fried Chicken here. You have the Renata ultimate you can steal. I mean, the Jinx ultimate, won't really matter. But Aatrox being on there, I really think this is a Silas angle. I personally think you take this. I mean, TWF has been banning it all series. Well, at least the first 2 games they were banning it against them. So I don't see a good reason to not pick it. And we're gonna get the Akali as the last ban. Okay, Blitzcrank the insta-lock. Okay, that is spicy. I right there with you. What the indeed? Then we got the Wu King response. What is going on?
Wukong definitely good in a blitz, right? Blitz Kaisa is a little strange to me. I don't know. Kaisa wants an engage support, I suppose, but Blitzcrank kind of brings. Okay, maybe I don't know my bot lane matchups that well, but seems a little off. Maybe I just don't see Blitz support that frequently. I think Silas, as you mentioned, it can be really good here because Swain is banned as well. Swain is a really good pick into Silas. Excuse me, Silas is a really good pick into Swain. I'm mixing that up. Maybe Silas not.
LeBlanc. Okay.
LeBlanc.
I do love me some LeBlanc, so I will be talking about LeBlanc a lot coming into this game. Now, the answer, I still think TFC could pick Silas here, or they'll pick it with the Ari, who's actually really good. That's also some really good engage to go in. You land the charm, Kaisa can come flying halfway across the river and, be there to assist in the fight. But this was actually a quick draft, I would say. I think this was the fastest draft we've had of the night, and I'm cool with that. So go ahead and we'll talk about it just a little more as we bring in our lovely Mr. Host of Matt. Get up in here and what do you think of this that's going on right now?
I think I agree with PhD. The Kaisa Blitz is very interesting. Um, just out of curiosity, does the Blitz hook because it immobilizes for a second proc a Kaisa stack?
It does.
It
Yes, and
does. Okay. I could see it a bit more with that then, I think. Like I agree it's not common, but at least it's procking a stack. It's doing something.
it's just
um
the problem is Blitzcrank is such a feast or famine champion because his hook is 100 mana, so he misses 2 hooks and he's completely out of mana. It's like at that point, it's like, what do? You have to wait for him to either get mana back or reset, and this could be a very interesting bot lane coming in for fried chicken.
yeah, definitely. I
Yeah.
think as well the Renata in this case, I don't think is as big as in the last game that they played her. I think that like I don't know how I feel about the Renata pick in this case because
Mhm.
your Renata basically you're trying to do it so that you have the ultimate, right? Like
Right.
essentially the ultimate can make or break team fights in a way. And what is it gonna do here? Their auto
I
Yeah,
think
attack
you're
next one's
absolutely
being
right.
Kaisa Viego,
It
if that.
these are
much
pretty
less
much.
value than that other game. You're dead on. It's like you almost kind of have to watch the Viego, and it can stop Kaisa in her tracks really really well. But it's just I don't know. I'm with you there. I don't like it as much as I did the other game. Maybe it's good to get Sejuani off with that E and you kind of throw him away. But
Yeah,
I would have liked to see the Lulu a little bit more. I think I'm with you there.
I would
They,
have
I mean,
also
they
preferred
listened
the
to you to
laser.
take out the Graves, right? So at least they
I'm cool
listened to
with
something
that.
that you wanted.
Yeah, I don't want to see the Graves anymore. Like I don't know if it's really like gotten like a massive vantage point. I think game 2 was the only game, but that was mostly off the back of the Swain. I'd rather prefer the Viego here because he can be more proactive on the map and he has more CC and you can pair that with the Sejuani really well, and that's why I'm kind of happy that they decided to go for that angle instead. You have so you have 3 melees coming in the Sejuani, the Viego, and the Blitz, who can proc that E on Crimson Sejuani, a lot better than, let's say, for example, the other Sonic. But Wukong is also a really fat engage that could easily get to the back line. Especially, let's say, for example, that Blitzcrank hooks him, then he has free access to the back line. So, I'm curious really where, I know I'm doing a weird movement right now, but I'm curious like how this is going to go in terms of this bot lane. I keep going over the draft and like just over and over myself. It's like we'll have to wait and see what happens. This game could go either way. I knew like last time we were like, oh yeah, this could be great, and then the winning formula was like, yeah, your predictions are wrong. We're just gonna roll over this game. And that's exactly what happened. So we'll see.
So now that you've seen draft, you were hesitant about it before, but now that you've seen draft, what do you think? Do you think we're gonna see a game 5, or just based off draft itself?
Based off draft itself, I'm being really biased because Blitzcrank is a feast or famine champion. If this Blitzcrank does not perform how he should, this series will be over actually, and it will go 3-1 in favor of the winning formula, which would be an upset, by the way, because they are the third seed. They are the third seed. Taking down the first seed would be
Ooh.
huge. So
Well, if we're looking at the other side of the bracket too, OE just took down the first seed from Group A, so like at the end of the day, the first seeds could be kicked out here. What do you think, PhD? Before I talk, what do you think?
About the drafts, I like TWFs a lot better. I'm a LeBlanc player in the mid lane. I love LeBlanc Wukong and the skirmishing power they have together.
mhm.
Those two can roam around the map in their early game and just dominate. Yeah, no matter who they face, they pretty much are one of the strongest skirmishing combos in the game. Maybe aside like LeBlanc Lee Sin, but that's beside the point. I like TWFs comp. I think they have a very comfortable pick. Perky on that Jinx performed phenomenally last game, and they're just running that back. I think they can make something beautiful happen here. That's my vote for sure. TWF.
I have to agree. I think that TWF is just gonna do a 3-1 here. I I don't particularly like the Renata, but I think that if I'm thinking outside of draft, I know I made DBZ only talk about in draft, but I think that it goes. I think that is taken here. I think that it goes 3-1.
I think so too. Yeah, I was a believer at first. It was like with the back and forth, like yeah, we could have a banger 5-game series, but if this the way that it's really the blitz pick that's kind of throwing it off for me. I think that could be the one pick that like spoils the game because like let's say it's late game, we're getting ready to go to an Elder Drake fight. Let's say this dude hooks in the Wukong, that's free access to the Kagsa, and she just dies.
Sorry, I was told by chat that I'm an idiot. SDC 3-0'd OE. So I'll take that back. The seed 1 is still in from Group A. My apologies.
Oh
But
wow.
but after all that, I think that it won't be a seed 1 versus seed 1 in the finals.
I like it. I think TWF absolutely has a chance in there. More than just a chance in this game. They got a great chance. I think we are going to see a lot of action around that top side. We know Earl likes to roam a lot. We've seen him on the Rakan the past 2 games, roaming like a madman up in the early games. I think if he does the same on Blitzcrank, it can spell disaster for the side of TWF. And I think that's going to come in crucial because they're looking to make a lot of plays with LeBlanc and Wukong all over the map. Maybe get this Aatrox ahead. Speaking of this Aatrox, the guys had like a 30 to 40 CS lead out of every laning phase so far, despite the matchup being bad. This guy's crazy on Aatrox. They let it through every single game. I think that's a big thing that TFC could change about the draft. Again, I know I talked about the Fiora ban being a little bit questionable, but I don't like what they're doing up in the top side.
I don't either.
Okay.
But Sejuani is a really good pick. She can trade really well. Let's say Aatrox misses everything. She gets a really good like whole combo onto him. She can do a lot of damage. We'll have to see how the two of them like take these trades like back and forth between each other. It should be in favor of the Aatrox, but Sejuani can pull a surprise out of nowhere because she just does so much damage for no reason. Just there's something about tanks and doing 1 billion damage in video games or game developers are like, yeah, this is fine, and then we're like, oh no, it's not fine, and it just keeps happening.
League of Legends in a nutshell, I think, right?
Yeah,
But on that note, Spectator Delay is coming to an end. We'll get, like usual, casters and productions synced up on the Rift, and we'll see you in a few minutes for Game 4 of Pre-Made Dominant Draft, or Pre-Made Dominant League. Wow, I was about to say Draft League. Not Friday.
no. Choked on both sides. It's like we either have to fight or run, and they chose to take the fight. Victor came in, unfortunately falls to the Sivir, which Sivir did a really good flash over the Gravitum.
Yeah.
Really well done for her to avoid getting CC'd there and pick up the first blood for herself. And now they have over a 1k gold lead, especially with all of those assists going to pretty much everyone else. And
Oh my God.
look at some of these gold leads. So we have an 800 gold lead coming in for the 80 carry of Perky. And from there, it's pretty even, more or less across the board. The Mundo being almost 1,000 gold up, which is, naturally, he's just been kind of winning every single trade. Like right now, like Olaf will not win a trade if he takes a fight. Yeah, he might just die here.
I think you might be onto something. He's gonna have to
Give a deal per se. It's just at this point used for breaking towers, which is exactly what it did. Quality is gonna get dove here.
He has flash and ult to try to outplay it, but it's going to be difficult. Finds 2 with the shockwave, now running low on health. But Vodkill not going to drop thanks to his Seraphine, and that is a dead Orianna, unfortunately.
Is Hecarim dead?
Oh. Finds it. Wait a minute, that is huge.
Wow, he literally had 4 people on him, and he just kind of walked it off like it was not. Almost died, but basically walked it off like it was nothing. The MF ult was huge to save him. That was crazy, and looks like Olaf might be run down here by the Victor. Victor is stronger than him.
Yeah, he tries to make a name for himself, saying, "Listen, come here, buddy, let me get you," and he might actually do it. Oh my God.
We'll have to wait and see. And Graves is here in the mid lane.
Yeah, they're looking for a play on Perk. They have Lee Sinners there to back him up. Now engaging on this Graves, looking to take him down quickly. Bullet time doing so much damage onto everybody's Stair Fatal combo.
Close.
Dropping low. Shockwave finds two. Not enough to do anything meaningful in the fight, though. Our group coming in hot. They're running out. This is their move speed coming into play here. Dodging quality players.
They're going to drop a ward, and they see it now. Your Orianna's not here. Her ultimate's not up yet, so this is possible for a steal. They're not going to go for it.
It's so difficult. I mean, Orianna was late. They could maybe go for it now, and they are. Shockwave finds two. That's on a bot kill. Zonia's in the middle, and Ardru dropping so low as well. Bot kill, and Mundo can take it down. Graves doing what he can from the back line.
Nice.
But it's just not enough. They're steamrolling all over the side.
We start that herself, and here we go. Then we have a fight brewing. Oh, Victor might get caught out here. Oh, no, he's not.
Sivir 6. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with Game 4. We got TWF versus TFC still. We got the winning formula up 2-1, looking to close out this series. Something different compared to these last games. Look where these players are. Freak, what are they doing?
Yeah, this is the classic Blitzcrank invade. I'm not even surprised this is happening, but no one is there, which is the funniest part. Both teams were kind of banking on doing a cheeky 5-man invade on either side, and no one's going to get it. But Jinx is not going to head up that way, but everyone else is going to back off. I think they knew. They were like, yeah, no, we're not going to do this. It's a Blitzcrank. We want to avoid getting pulled, and, first blood goes over easy peasy lemon squeezy. So, no information given over. We got some good luck have funs in the chat, and we are on for Game 4. It is match point, as PhD said, for team winning formula. Team win formula. Not right, but team winning formula. That's right. Now, we're going to go back. Looks like the junglers are going to start on opposite sides. And by the opposite, I mean the same sides. Top lane Leasha's coming for the both of them. Viego should realistically be faster if Sejuani started E first, and she did not. So she didn't start anything yet, actually. Huh. Okay. I guess she's saving it for when she has to fight this Aatrox, but those goals will go in. So you know what this tells me, PhD, immediately from the start with where they're starting? It tells me that they're planning on going down to the bot side and getting a lead for either one of their carries. Whichever one is ideal. And we got some trading already happening, and we got both electrocutes procced in the mid lane. I was getting ready to say, too, do you prefer electrocute on LeBlanc?
Yeah, the mid lane matchup is an interesting one. LeBlanc has, it's sort of advantage the whole time, especially levels 2 to 5. She has an advantage, but as soon as Ari hits 6, it makes it so hard for her to play the game. Especially when they added the mechanic that RE interrupts dashes. So, if you're LeBlanc Wing forward, you get charmed and you stop dead in your tracks, no damage. It makes it so hard to play LeBlanc into RE like that. But Ignite being dropped on a bot kill, gonna have to flash out of that one, buddy. And you dropped a quality player, knows his limits on his champion. Bot kill seemingly doesn't.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie, that was very cheeky to come out of there from quality player. Was really well done, utilizing the QW burst damage that comes in with the Electrocute, pops the Ignite, and just kind of autos Ari down to that. She flashes late as well. And we got some weirdness happening here in the bot lane. I think Bliss is going to look for a hook, but my direct-to-camera has decided that the bot lane is not important. And looks like nothing happened. Ooh. Okay.
Hook goes a little narrow there. Nicely done there. From the side of TWF yet again. Yeah, direct-to-camera not been helping us out sometimes this whole series, but that's okay. We'll make do with it anyways. This first scuttle looking to go over to Jackie Chan, who is, to your great pleasure, not on Graves this game.
I know, and I have a beef. Anyone who plays League of Legends with me will know I have a great beef with Viego because I think he is not a very healthy champion for the game. The way his healing is obnoxious when he takes people's bodies, the fact that he can take people's bodies and use all of their abilities, it's just, I don't think it's a very healthy mechanic for the game. It's really broken to me. I don't like it, but I'm so much happier. Hook onto the Jinx here, and a lot of good damage as well. The Wukong will be here to Euchre.
It's going to be huge, but there's a counter engage from Lee Sanders, level 4. Massive double flash from the AD carries. Jincell can't quite reach. W on cooldown, not going to get it. Perky picks up the kill, too. That is actually massive. And some trades in the mid lane. But that bot lane is massive. Jincell still has exhaust available. I'm not sure if that would have made a difference, but that's something to think about that he still has it for the future.
Yeah, oh man, this is actually incredibly unlucky for what happened there. Wukong just being in the right place at the right time. They get a good hook onto the Jinx. She has to burn both sums, but the damage is not there due to the exhaust. And LeBlanc Oh, Ari dies again.
Oh.
Okay.
My goodness, it's so well executed there from TWF. It's just perfect. This is what I was talking about. Olaf, where am I going? Wukong LeBlanc is dominant as hell in the early game. Both of these champions just
yeah.
smack the others around. LeBlanc really needed that kill too. They were able to crash that wave. She was bleeding pretty heavily in CS. I think she's in a great spot now to succeed in the rest of this game.
I'm right there with you. It's just under 2,000 gold coming in for team winning formula, and just yeah. It's like we were saying in draft. If TWF continues to play the way they have been with the really good macro decisions, really good team play, they're gonna take this series. And so far, they're on route to do so. But good hook out of the Renata.
Yeah, Earl lands that nice hook, chunking about half of her health, a little more so, is big for the state of this bot lane. They need to win through this bot because, as we've seen so far, the rest of the map is not doing too hot. Granted, bot isn't doing the greatest, but they've got to win in one of these lanes or else this game is over. Kaisa, while scales pretty well, does not match Jinx, right, DVZ?
Mm-hmm. It's that attack speed diff that Jinx has with her passive. Just Kaisa doesn't get that unless you're building the on-hit build, which no one builds anymore, mind you. The on-hit build is terrible. So it's just you can't really match the power of the Jinx. They both have lethal tempo, but again, Jinx passive makes it immediately, instantly better. Good charm onto the Ahri, and should be just some good trade in the mid lane. I don't expect Ahri should be playing a lot more safely now, and she's about to hit 6. I'm gonna actually tick back up there. She's about a third of the way to 6. LeBlanc is coming down, and so is Wukong. This is gonna be a really nutty fight, but Viego is here as well, and I think they know, which is why this is gonna be really disgusting.
Perky gets chunked out so quick and drops. They need to find a kill to resurrect, but just can't find it. A beautiful hook into a beautiful position by Viego. Honestly, Jackie Chan read that like a book. They knew they were coming down to make some moves, but they were there to catch it before. Super, super well played.
Oh yeah, and I was just looking at the state of the map. Ahri, got pushed in. LeBlanc is like, "Alright, I'm coming." Wukong doing his bot side, like, "I'm also coming." But Viego's like, "Nah. Y'all gonna find out that I'm here." And real quick, instantly gets a kill. They don't get a trade either. I think so. No summoners were burned as far as I know. No, it doesn't look like it. I mean, Jinx had no flash from the previous fight, so they took that in as an advantage. And dead just like that. Missed hook once again, and they're just gonna back off, reset here. Finish that Noon Quiver. I was blanking on the item name for a second. So Noon Quiver will be finished, and once again pull back on the Infernal Chains. Aatrox is just not being gentle to this Sejuani at all. The poor boar is just getting abused. Ooh.
Dude, it's literally every game like this, man. Sign me up on this Aatrox. I'm sure he's not getting sick of it. He looks like he's having so much fun up there. They have the option to counterpick it. They're not banning out the right top laners. They're giving him this Aatrox into an okay matchup every time, I guess, and it is not working for them. They need top lane prio up there.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why you were saying like that Fiora ban is kind of sus. It looks like we got a fight about to break out in the top lane, but no, it looks like that. Oh god, she's just dead. Nothing you can do about that.
Dude, they took the play that Viego just did to them, and they said return to sender. They gave it right back to him. Quality player in a nice spot here on the bot kill. Finds the chain's going to be forcing this Ahri ult out, perhaps. Quality player's cooldowns down for now. Ahri holding ult. Pretty smart play from there. The chains landing from LeBlanc are a key in this matchup for mid.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's the one thing that makes her so threatening. Because yeah, she could W over and like try to get up close, but if she lands it from afar, good charm. Bridge was a good trade. She'll get the level up. But if you land those chains from afar, then you can gap close with the W, so they can't get away from you. And Viego's here.
Viego's here and making a name for himself, looking to do some damage. Ult available with the jump is going to get him out in the jump backs, forcing out the flash from Jackie Chan. Dropping the ignite too, not going to be enough for the kill, but well played there from quality player. I feel like I've been saying that this whole series.
Yeah, the homeboy's been playing well since game 1. Been holding his own, and especially on such a really good carry. And oh goodness, what's going on here? Oh!
Perky, the movement, my man, you are insane with it. That was an absolutely deadly situation.
Charm. I think you kill him here. You are.
Deadly situation.
Oh. Wait a minute. That was so quick. The second he died, direct camera went to top. I needed a minute to process what just happened. I actually thought that bot. I thought bot had that, but dude was like, nah. Flash QW and the electrocute and kills the Ahri.
That was an absolute display of skill right there. That was crazy. The
That was
quality
clean.
player is almost playing at his best 4 games in, not tired whatsoever. Holy smokes! They should have been picking this character earlier.
I definitely agree. Seeds be damned. Just team winning formula. It's just like, yeah, you even though you guys are the first seed, we are absolutely a contender for the dominant league. And if they keep this up, I already forget who they play, but like that's their date for next week. The other team has to be watching and like aware of like how TWF plays. Now, let's assume naturally that they take this game and take the series. But like they have to be aware of like what the game plan is. The game plan is for more of this team fight style. It's kind of less so this game, kind of, because like LeBlanc is more of like for picking people up. Wukong is gonna be over here, and they're definitely gonna fight this.
Definitely indeed. A beautiful flank from Lee Sanders. Look at the damage from this monkey. It is incredible. He's taken 2 members all on his own. Bot lane, Schmott lane. Earl dropping as well to Perky. The rocket is going to be coming in, but it's not enough. Kaisa drops. Jincel, not enough there, buddy. It's so dominant from the winning formula.
Okay. Aatrox might die here. The Ignite? Nice.
Look at that.
I did
This
say
is another team, right? I mean, we see the Sign Me Up 30 CS, but he gets a little overconfident, just what we saw in game 1, and manages to get himself killed. It's not like the worst because he's up so much CS, but it's definitely not great.
No, it's definitely not great. Now, I argue that Wukong goes for the Rift Herald here and then prioritize the bot lane, because that tower is down to less than 2 plates. It's a little less, but still. There's 2 plates left, and I think you just get the Rift Herald, summon that bot lane, take out that turret, and let the Jinx kind of run around the map and do whatever she can. So it's 11 minutes in. They're up 3,000 gold, and here we go again with quality. Just really good trades. Oh, except he actually lost that trade. Interesting.
If the chain hits, he wins it. That chain is everything in this matchup.
I agree.
Just as the chain is everything in the mid matchup, the Blitz hook is everything in the bot matchup. It's not even that Blitz hasn't been in position to hit these hooks so far this game. I feel like Perky the Parrot and Final Ninja have just been bobbing and weaving these hooks.
I'm right there with you. So I gotta give absolute props to quality. I mean, it looked like just over the course of this whole series that he's played out of his mind with some of these picks. First with the Cassiopeia last game, LeBlanc this game. I already do not remember what he even played in game 1. I think it was the Orianna. It was the Orianna he played game 1. And here we go again with Wukong.
The damage from Lee Sinner. Look at, oh my goodness, the rocket from Perky to follow it up, but the hook to try to find something on Lee Sinner is not going to be enough. Lee Sinner takes it as a challenge, says, listen, buddy, you're going to pay your life with this.
Ooh,
but this monkey is so dominant, right? I mean, he's taking control of this bot lane. The damage he's putting out with the Sunderer at just 12 minutes in, phenomenal.
And, didn't even need her. I'll take first tower in the bot lane, kind of keep that gold lead growing a little bit more. They're going to prioritize this next Drake and keep up this really quick dragon pacing. And I'm not really what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not a regular on the dominant league, so I don't know how well this team plays. But based off this showing alone, it's no wonder that like team winning formula has is where they are in the playoffs. I think they're one of those teams that kind of scales like as the season goes on. They start out a little rough, but they get better and better as the season goes on. And in this case, they're looking to upset today. I didn't think I would say that. This could potentially be an upset coming in.
Yeah, it's honestly, you love to see it. The story of the underdogs. Granted, they don't feel like the underdogs in this series. They've been very dominant in every single one of these games. Even in the one, well, I shouldn't say the one. The swing game was that was a game of its own. But they're looking so good. It was, I guess, a fluke looking at this game especially.
I mean, the adaptations that they've also shown, they're sticking. They didn't go for that. Let's scale out. Ooh, good charm and really good sidestep on the hook, but they're gonna go in anyways. But he misses the chain. Okay.
Unfortunate whiff there, forcing out the TP from Sejuani. A bit unfortunate, but now they're here to stay. Dragon is up. Only one dragon has been taken so far. We're only 14 minutes in, no surprise there. But Mountain Dragon is up. Sejuani kind of has to walk back top. They're not really looking for it right now. Some backs, some gold sitting on. Not going to happen for now.
I agree with you. Now, the second Drake. There is going to be a fight over this Drake. They're going to see the Kaisa. Oh, they're not going to see the Kaisa. But I think you know he's there. The way he's playing, oh no.
Oh no, indeed. Quality player gets taken down. Unfortunately, shut down over to Blitzcrank, but Lee Sanders
it doesn't
not afraid of
matter.
anything without his mid laner. Lee Sanders going crazy. Perky in the backline picks up his first kill. Now excited, but so is the monkey. He's going crazy, taking down Blitzcrank as well. And that's going to be Dragon handed over to the winning formula.
Even in a number disadvantage, they still take a 2-for-1 fight. Good lord, Wukong is just so strong. I honestly forgot how strong Wukong is because we haven't really seen him being played since he got gutted in 2018. But just the fact that Lee Sinders is showing that, like, yeah, Wukong is still a really good champion, and we already have objective bounties coming up, and it's a Hex Soul for TWF. You do not want them to have this. 5 minutes time, they have to fight.
Oh my gosh, the Hex Soul's crazy this game, right? I mean, Jinx, LeBlanc, Hex Soul. Oh my god.
I'd argue even Wukong with Hex Soul is pretty stupid. This is going to be ridiculous, especially if they keep up this momentum. This is a really quick momentum. They got those early leads. They're keeping up that pressure that they need to force Team Fried Chicken into them to cause fights that like they don't want to take. But that was the Blitzcrank that we highlighted in draft. Really good pick onto the LeBlanc there. Naturally, they still lose the fight at the end of it because Wukong is Wukong, but it was really good that they got that pick. That's kind of what they're setting up for, mostly for this draft that they have, is to get picks onto those squishy members. Now, the two members you don't want to hook, the Wukong and the Aatrox. The two of them, you definitely do not want to do that, like, at all. Otherwise, you kind of just insta-lose a fight.
Yeah, please don't hook Wukong or Aatrox in your solo queue games, ladies and gentlemen. Not a good idea. Not when the monkey is 4-0, especially. And
no.
it's 11-3 right now. 6,000 gold lead. If you look at the two carries on the side of TFC, it's not looking too well. I won't even say the numbers, but dude, quality player is on his game. So is Earl. The hook barely misses. Thanks for that flash from Perky. Berserk lands onto Earl as well. Rocket takes him down. One auto to go. Perky needs the one, and there it is. Excited but stunned. Jin still taking him down. Needs that revive. Not going to find it. Exhaust drops. Quality player at the top side finds us into a little 1v2. Now bod killed. No ult charges left. Has to run away. Flash and TP available, but there's the World Ender from Aatrox. Pop and Charm lands on quality player. Not able to find the kill though, and he's back. Flashes pop from both Sign Me Up and Bodkill. I think it was just Bodkill actually. My mistake. Actually manages to live that situation. Sejuani now here to listen, buddy. I'm the bodyguard. Back it up. I didn't even notice Sejuani's doing pretty well for herself up there. 2-0 compared to the rest of her team.
I'm just gonna casually point out, quality player BM'd us super hard there. Stood in place, took the charm to the face, is like, I can still kill you. But, unfortunately, the bot kill ends up getting out with his flash. And I think you kind of, they're just having fun at this point. They know they're in a really firm position in this game with how the score is. They're going to Rift Herald the mid lane, take that tower down maybe, and we got a 1v1 in the Aatrox. Oh, doesn't actually end up getting it. Mid lane tower falls.
Goodness, destruction from the Aatrox out there. They do manage to take down that mid tower without really starting too much of a fight. Did cost them the Rift Herald, though. Not bad at all. That Aatrox up there, oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, I also wanted to highlight that he built to the Gore Drinker instead of the Eclipse this game. He is walking into the jungle. He's 3 levels up on the Viego. He's going to take this red buff. What?
Dude. He's got 0 cares in the world, looking to get hooked, and there it is. Pops the World Ender yet again. Engages on 2 of them. Sign Me Up is so destructive. This game, if that chain landed, it would have been a kill. Quality player looking for the highlight plays. Not able to find it, though.
They're picking the Wukong ult. Even he's not even there. I think they're just BBing and probably in voice comms like, bro, where were you with your ult? And he's like, nah, I wasn't even there. But I mean, they're on their side of the map, so it's like there's really no reason for them to be there anyways. Aatrox gonna walk into this RE. Good charm.
A little bit of damage popping. Nothing too crazy here. This Aatrox got solo killed by Sejuani. I mean, I don't know if I've been talking about him nonstop for the last couple minutes, but dude, the guy's up 70 CS. He's looking to flame Horizon Sejuani. Is that one on the bingo? Probably not. That's okay, but
I don't think so.
The CS difference is crazy. They're looking to make something happen down here, bringing 3 members to look for the Aatrox. Has to dodge his hook. Earl, what do you got in you?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, no comment.
That's why I said Blitzcrank is such a feast or famine champion. You go for a play, the second you miss the hook, that's it, it's over. There's nothing else to be done. Now you have the collapse potentially coming in from the other side. They're gonna back off, wait for this dragon to come up in 25 seconds. And this will put them on soul point if they get it. I don't anticipate they won't. Really good damage on the little, oh my goodness, on the little block. I think, oh, okay.
Wow.
Arguably,
Sejuani is a force to be reckoned with. That's kind of crazy.
Oh,
But
no.
yeah, as you touched on, we have this dragon spawning. Lee Sin is looking to stake his claim in the location around dragon, and they do so. Dude, it's like every game, every dragon, the winning formula has positioning on this dragon. They just play around it so well.
yeah, once again, I'm going to do my favorite game. Let's toggle the vision. And right now they have none in that whole area, but they're going to walk in anyways to try to... I guess they're not going to walk in. They're going to give it up. Hexo point going over to the winning formula. I mean, they're just playing the map, just not even arguably. They just are playing the map better than Team Fried Chicken right now, and it's so sad to see. Especially because after the way they put up like such a dominating performance in Game 2, you would think they'd have something coming for Game 4. Like, all right, we can do the same thing we did in Game 2. But it's those little adaptations that the winning formula has made that are just keeping the map paying. They're gonna kill this Kaisa if she walks up any further. Or just gonna go right now.
They don't even near walk up any further. Send in the death rocket while you're at it. Take down that Kaisa, no problem. It's some more battling in these top laners. We don't need to worry about that. Lee Sinner's on the side. Up a little too far, gets dropped low, but the Berserk saves him for now. Already forced to walk back in to her own death, perhaps. Wukong flashing forward, looking to get himself a quadra kill, bot kill, looking to stop it from happening. How hungry will they be for this kill?
They're gonna
Hopefully
go for
not
it.
too hungry, but quality player picks it up, no problem. Dominance pings on the Baron from TWF.
Oh well, that's it. I'm sorry, but this is the series. This is done. The way that they're playing, the way they're team fighting, Wukong being 7-0, Jinx is also super far ahead. I just don't think there's anything you can do. Look at the individual gold leads. Wukong is almost 4,000 gold up on the Viego. Look at it. Look at it.
My
Look at
goodness.
it. When Patrick is screaming, look at it. That's how I feel right now. Good God, that is
Dude,
insane.
he's up 2,000 gold minimum on anybody else on the enemy team. His 80 carry not too far behind him, only 500 gold quality player. My goodness, man. Save the man some CS at least. He's 1-6. He needs all the gold he can get.
I know, but unfortunately, just anywhere he walks anywhere on the map, and there's either a LeBlanc or a Wukong just there. 9,000 gold lead coming in. That's probably going to be 10 if they, could not consider, but if they take out a couple more of these towers. And I just don't know if there's an avenue to come back in the game. Like, you have to turtle at this point. Sejuani is going to get out, or not. They're intending on fighting this, actually.
Watch the minimap to the left of Renata there. They got two members following them up. Argu, the main target, but he's a little bit tanky. Careful there, TWF. Ooh, gets charmed. Ishok's looking like the main target. Stunned as well, but he's not afraid of nothing. He's going to keep marching forward. They've now corralled the four members in the back of the lane. Perky hitting in the back line is too big to be forcefully dealt with. Quality player forces out Kaiser's flag. Well done. They're still fighting. Yes, sir. Rocket takes down bot kill, and they're looking to make this the game ending right now. Berserk finds out a Kaisa as well. That's 3 for 0 as of now. Viego did manage to escape with his life, but quality player is looking to take this kill. Earl, listen, buddy, it's that's all she wrote.
My man's was BMing. Quality player, the second he got his lead, has been BMing the whole game. I honestly respect it, but dear God, they have families. Just break open the base and reset and just get ready for this next dragon in less than 2 minutes. Unless they're going to try to go for the end here. Arguably, they're strong enough to where I think they could just end the game. Oh, yeah.
Dude, they're spending it. They're looking to take down these towers. That's one so far. Looking to take the second. They have to make a move right now. Wukong clone, that's not the real one. Don't waste your abilities on it. Perky, up a little too far. He will drop. Now they have the Jinx on their own team with that Viego. This could be crucial in finding some kills. That does land for that slow. Looking to find the final ninja. Drops. Slows Landy. It will fall to that Kaisa damage. They find Earl on the side as well. That's okay. But pretty big there for TFC. Maybe not game-changing, but good nonetheless.
Yeah, you'll definitely take that. And they're just going to end up killing them here, I bet. Yep. And Kaisa's dead again. All right.
The chain lands. That's all she wrote for Jinzo. A quality player has been so dominant. That vision there being crucial. They're looking to knock down one or 2 inhibs here on top of that first one. They could move to top lane, but for now, Freak,
Oh my God.
it's just dominance. Lee Sinners knows no bounds with
No,
his
he's dead.
aggression.
Oh, the
Zonya's
stopwatch.
into the ult, keeps him alive for now. Will drop. Jackie Chan does not get the resurrect onto the Wukong ult. Sign me up drops. I shouldn't speak too
No
soon.
way!
Finds the kill.
Jinx rocket!
I'm sorry. Sign me up. One play. They're looking to make it onto the Sejuani now. She's low, no mana, alone, and afraid in her own base, and she will drop. Oh my goodness, they're looking to take this inhib. Jinsel has also respawned. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything. Quality player looking to make a name. Pops the exhaust, sign me up, walks straight into the belly of the beast and takes it down. That's all she wrote, Freak.
That's it. That's the end of the game. Team winning formula will upset the #1 seed and take the series 3-1. That was insanity. That was so good. They ended the game with a 15,000 gold lead.
That game
insane.
was crazy, dude. We talked about how the game was going to be close. The series looked like it was going to be really close from the start, but TWF looked so solid throughout those last couple games. They knew what they wanted to do. It's almost as if they got better throughout that series. Honestly, what a game. Matt, what did you think, man?
It was a very good game. Once again, so one-sided, I think. It started off okay and then just kept going. I think that TWF definitely earned their spot in the finals going up against STC next week.
I agree. STC. Because earlier I was like, I don't know who they play, but now we know STC. You hear that, STC? If you're watching this game, did you see that? That was disgusting. Disgusting. You better be ready for that, because if they bring that same A game that they brought tonight, it is gonna be a very, very fun series. That was amazing coming in.
Yeah, no, and I think it was interesting too because TWF dropped 2-1 to TFC during the weekly, so they obviously made a lot of changes. Yeah, because they played each other in week 4, so in the last 4 or 5 weeks they made a lot of changes in order to sweep that 3-1.
It's insane, and it's like the #1 seed. They took out the #1 seed. Can they do it again? We'll find out. Well,
We'll find out if they take out the #1 seed from Group A. I do want to cut to a really quick break. We are going to have an interview coming in just a few seconds. So let's take it to a minute and a half break, get our interviewee in, and we'll be right back.
Cool. Choked on both sides. It's like we either have to fight or run, and they chose to take the fight. Victor came in, unfortunately falls to the Sivir, which Sivir did a really good flash over the Gravitum.
Yeah.
Really well done for her to avoid getting CC'd there and pick up the first blood for herself. And now they have over a 1k gold lead, especially with all of those assists going to pretty much everyone else. And
oh my god.
Look at some of these gold leads. So we have an 800 gold lead coming in for the 80 carry of Perky. And from there, it's pretty even, more or less across the board. The Mundo being almost 1,000 gold up, which is, naturally, he's just been kind of winning every single trade. Like right now, like Olaf will not win a trade if he takes a fight. Yeah, he might just die here.
I think you might be onto something. He's gonna have to
give a deal per se. It's just at this point used for breaking towers, which is exactly what it did. Quality is gonna get dove here.
He has flash and ult to try to outplay it, but it's going to be difficult. Finds 2 with the shockwave, now running low on health. But Vodkill not going to drop thanks to his Seraphine, and that is a dead Orianna, unfortunately.
Is Hecarim dead?
Finds it. Wait a minute, that is huge.
Wow, he literally had 4 people on him, and he just kind of walked it off like it was not. Almost died, but basically walked it off like it was nothing. The MF ult was huge to save him. That was crazy, and looks like Olaf might be run down here by the Victor. Victor is stronger than him.
Yeah, he tries to make a name for himself, saying, "Come here, buddy, let me get you," and he might actually do it. Oh my god.
We'll have to wait and see, and Graves is here in the mid lane.
Yeah, they're looking for a play on Perk. They have Lee Sinners there to back him up. Now engaging on this Graves, looking to take him down quickly. Bullet time doing so much damage onto everybody's Seraphine combo.
Close.
Dropping low. Shockwave finds 2. Not enough to do anything meaningful in the fight, though. Our group coming in hot. They're running out. This is their move speed coming into play here. Dodging quality players.
They're going to drop a ward, and they see it now. Your Orianna's not here. Her ultimate's not up.
Welcome back to Risen Pre-Made Dominant. We just saw the winning formula go 3-1 against Team Fried Chicken. We have the ADC from the winning formula in with us, Perky. How you doing?
Good.
How are
Happy
you
to
feeling?
win.
How you feeling after that 3-1?
Yeah, no, happy. Last week we were pretty shaky, so I'm happy that we were able to be pretty clean this week.
I was gonna say, like we were mentioning a little bit, you guys dropped week 4, I think, to TFC, and you brought it right back in the semifinals to mark your ticket. How do you? Were you guys worried about it going in, knowing that you lost to TFC in the regular season, or how are we feeling before getting into this game?
I mean they're all friends, so I mean it's always fun playing friends, so you're not really nervous. Like you just want to play them and have fun and hopefully win. We also lost to them in scrims, though we don't talk about those scrims. But I think we definitely thought we were the better team, so it wasn't like necessarily we were scared, but they did beat us, so we had to give them a lot of respect.
Well
Okay,
done.
and you definitely brought it around. Freak or PhD, do you have any questions for him?
You can start first, PhD.
Yeah, I got one. I just maybe poke a little fun. Perky, we go way back. What I want to in on your mind a little bit. What happened in the swing game? Game
Swain's
3, I
OP.
believe, when Bodkill went crazy. All right, there
Game
that
2.
works.
Yeah, no, I
Game
think
2.
we had a little bit of. I think we had a miscue. We didn't call support roam, and then I think we also like walked back in and gave them a double kill. I think our top lane kind of didn't go as planned as much as we hoped to win that. So then it's just hard when you're having both your solo laners losing that you just kind of the jungler just started to get invaded, and I don't know, it just kind of snowballed. And we're a really like fight heavy team, so we're just going to take every fight, and if it snowballs against us then it snowballs against us, and if we end up snowballing the game then that's how we're going to win.
Gotcha. I like it. Well, you guys bounced back super well from that game, so congrats on that for sure.
Yeah. Two things I really like to ask when I do these interviews. First one being is, what were the comms like after that second game loss? Was it kind of like the atmosphere was like, oh, okay, well, we just know what to do for game 3. We can just take these champs off of them, ban them, easy peasy, and then just take the rest of the series. But like, what was like going on in the comms after that loss?
Pure chaos, because that's just how our team is. We're memeing. uh you should have saw like last week we were, I think, down, they had elder or some shit, and then like we're like just deny vision, so we're just screaming deny vision, and then we somehow get a pick and get the dragon or whatever. So that is you we're like the biggest tilters, but somehow like we never tilt. Actually, it's like we tilt so hard that we land face off.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And then the second thing I really like to ask, so next week you have a date with the first seed of Group A, SDC. How are you feeling about them as your opponents for next week?
They look really strong. I think on paper they're the like highest rated team. So I mean, obviously they'll probably be our hardest matchup. Our support knows all of them, so obviously it's going to be a grudge match for us, and we'll just have to win for them.
Nice. And then I know I said two things, but three. What do you think the score of that series will be?
It'll probably be 3-2 us.
Okay.
Ooh.
Full 5 games. I like that.
Oh
I
yeah,
like
we're entertainers for sure.
I was gonna say, going into it, SDC has only lost 1 game as well against one of the top seeds in Group A. I know that you guys dropped 2 this season. You think that on paper record is gonna fly through? Or you think it's just gonna be completely irrelevant?
I think they're strong, but I mean, last season in the spring we were third seed too, and we were 0-2 in the finals, and then we came back and ended up reverse sweeping them for the win. So I mean, I don't know why we can't win again.
Fair enough. Do you guys have any more questions, PhD or Freak? Or are we gonna head over to Risen 1 to raid the grand finals of Rampage?
Sorry, did you
I'm good to
say
go.
grand finals of Rampage? We should
Grand
go
finals
over
of
there.
Rampage. We should, but be sure to tune in next Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern, for the grand finals of Dominant. You'll see SDC Death Cards versus the winning formula with Perky. Oh my god, I forgot your name already. With Perky there as
Perky
well.
the Parrot.
I'm not sure who exactly is going to be casting because it's a little bit of a weird week next week, but I think maybe PhD might be around. No, he's not. He's out of the city.
No,
Never
yeah,
mind.
no.
I lied.
Oh,
So
I
we'll find
will
out.
be.
You will be interesting. So we'll see. We'll see what happens next week, 4 p.m. on Sunday. Tune in for Dominant League Grand Finals. We're gonna raid Rampage in 1 second. Next weekend as well on Saturday night, we have pre-made Unstoppable Finals as well as Draft League Finals, both next Saturday. So be sure to tune in on that. I'm not sure which one will be on Risen 2 yet. I haven't decided that, but definitely both actions will be coming through. Anything else to say before we head on out, PhD or Freak?
I won't be on.
Congrats
draft.
again, Perky, on the win. Beautiful series, man. Yeah, super well. Loved watching you pop off on Jinx.
Thank you.
Yeah, all of you played really, really well. We're not going to talk about game 2. If game 2 didn't happen, it would have been a 3-0. So it's going to pretend that one didn't happen at all. But yeah, well done. I look forward to seeing you guys play next week, whether that's casting or being a spectator. Either way, I am hype. I'm sad I don't get to do Draft League because I have family things to do. But it is what it is.
All right, well, on that note, have a great week, everybody. Stay safe. We're going to head on over to Risen 1 right now in order to watch the finals of the pre-made Rampage.